You ever follow every rule in the book, do everything right, and still get absolutely bodied? Yeah. Meet our guy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our MC, the big bad demon king, Deus. Currently dying, not great. His signature move did less damage than a strongly worded letter. The hero didn't even break a sweat, just walked up and put a sword through his armor like it was wet paper. He, Deus, was best student of all time at the Demon King Academy. He followed the Demon King's playbook like it was gospel. He did everything it said. Build a tower, kidnap princesses, then nurture the heroes who showed up to rescue them. Yes, you heard that right. Nurture. Killing heroes too early was a waste, the book said. They had to marinate for a bit. The stronger the hero, the tastier the snack. Evil master plan. Very efficient. He followed it perfectly to the letter. Conquering this world was going to be a no-brainer. So why is he here? Defeated, bleeding out, a literal demon shish kebab. How did this go so wrong? Then a smug voice cuts through his existential crisis. You demon kings are all the same. You caused this yourselves, then make that shocked Pikachu face. I genuinely don't get it. What nonsense was this guy spewing? You demon kings always kidnap the most famous princess. It's like a neon sign saying, Demon King here, come stop me. You an idiot? If it were me, I'd kill the king. Total chaos for the kingdom. But that's exactly what the playbook warned against. Kidnapping the king causes civil war and takes attention away from you. And without enough attention, you can't power up properly. Like an influencer with 0 likes. The hero laughs, and if we don't come to you, you very kindly send monsters to our villages for training. And at the tower, it gets even better. You put the weakest monsters on the first floor. It's literally an XP farm, perfect for hero training. Birza thinks, duh, that's because you never let the heroes die early. You need them strong to harvest more energy at the end. That's literally what the Demon King's playbook says. The hero pulls out the blade. Blood sprays. The final horrifying truth is laid bare. When the tower gets boring, we just kill the Demon King. Then a new one pops up with a new tower. A perfect hunting ground, tailor-made for heroes. Designed, maintained, and sponsored by him. The other heroes cheer. Thanks, Demon King. You're the best. You're our demon godfather. Thanks for the perfect training ground. Me, your godfather, and my tower, your training ground? The audacity. The hero chuckles. You were strong, though. More heroes died this time. But that's fine. More fame for me. Anyway, goodbye, Demon King. He raises his blade. Something in Birze snaps. He powers up on whatever's left. I am the Demon King, he rages. But before anything can happen, the hero swings and sends his head flying. The whole hall spins. Then, thud, he hits the floor. Those lowlifes who dared insult him will pay the ultimate price. He stares at his own body from across the room, which is a sentence he never thought he'd think. As the head hero is calling dibs on his head, the body starts glowing. In his last act, the Demon King vows to take every single one of them down with him. The hero's eyes go wide. The explosion rips through the throne room, wipes out everyone inside. Good riddance, you freeloading scrubs. As consciousness fades, Birze understands. The playbook was a lie. The heroes were just toying with us. If I'd known, I never would have followed it. If he could just have one more chance, he'd toss that stupid playbook in the toilet. And, you probably already guessed it, folks, he got his wish. From the darkness, someone calls his name. Hey, quick, before he wakes up, give us a like and subscribe. Suddenly, his eyes snap open. He's in a grand hall surrounded by students. Total confusion. Is this the afterlife? What is this place? Am I actually alive? A small figure on stage calls out, Birze Deus, step forward. He slowly walks forward as the impatient figure urges him on. He's still in a daze when another voice calls him. An older, vampiric dude asks, Birze Deus, why the antics on graduation day? He pins a red badge on Birze, symbol of the Demon King Officer Academy. This means he's at the Demon King Officer Academy's graduation. 15 years ago. He's back in the past. No idea how, but one thing's clear. This is his freaking chance. The announcer pipes up, time for the new Demon King's oath. Top grad Birze Deus will read it. He turns to the crowd. A holographic screen appears, displaying the oath, the Demon King's playbook. He stares at the words, the very rules that caused his humiliating death. That damned playbook? He remembers. He dedicated his life to this playbook. What a joke. It was trash, he scoffs. Just a hero's toy, leading him to his death. Now, in front of everyone, he's supposed to read it all again. He's supposed to swear publicly to follow this garbage for life. Faculty look proud. Birze, however, grits his teeth, 15 years of rage burning. Cheerful announcer calls his name, urging him to start reading. But try as he might, he can't force himself to do it. I refuse, his voice echoes. The entire student body is absolutely stunned into confused silence. Birze finally erupts, voice raw with fury. I refuse such a stupid brain-dead vow. Following that playbook is pathetic and idiotic. It's nothing but garbage. The crowd absolutely loses it. Shock, outrage, and shattered glasses fill the hall. Berzedeus, the Academy's greatest student of all time, has now become their greatest headache. A few moments later, the Grand Duke Alkane Blamif slams his fist down, like a man who just found out the Wi-Fi is down. Insulting the Demon King's playbook is a death sentence, he roars. Ordinarily, this would be unforgivable. But your record has earned you an opportunity to make amends, the Grand Duke says. Blamif gives Berze one last chance, apologize, or his first assignment will be the cursed dimension of Arene. The crowd gasps. Arene? That's the Demon King graveyard, folks, where rulers go to die. They're shocked. This blasphemy deserves instant death, not a second chance. Blamif warns him again. Arene is hell on earth, a literal cemetery for demon kings. Berze does not blink. He looks up with the energy of a man who has already done the math and doesn't like his odds but doesn't care. Send me there, he demands. I'll prove that playbook is trash. That's it, Blamif snaps. Banishment to Arene, effective immediately. Berze had one job, say sorry. He did the opposite. No benefits, no companions, nothing. He's forbidden from returning until he conquers Arene. As he plummets through the sky, Berze is weirdly at peace. Well, that was a scene, he thinks. Still, I'm back here again. He's falling straight into Arene, the very dimension he went to in his past life. In the past, he arrogantly chose Arene, thinking its difficulty matched his skill. That arrogance killed him. The heroes here had already had the cheat codes. He crash lands in the snowy northern Ergasti Mountains. Standing amidst the crater, Berze is resolute. I won't fall for it twice, he vows. This time, I'll use it instead. The hero's playbook. But let's rewind, because before all this chaos, there was a very well-dressed demon having the best day of his life. Meet Gordon Derrick, top graduate of the Demon Retainer Academy. Sharp suit, sharper smile, currently convinced he's about to be famous. This academy trains elite butlers to assist the Demon Kings. The other graduates watch Gordon with barely concealed envy. He gets to serve the legendary Lord Berze. Gordon offers a polite smile, saying their Demon Kings will be great too. Inside, he is smug beyond description. Nobody compares to Berze, the gap is simply enormous. He's ecstatic, serving an eternal genius from the great Demon Dragon clan. He daydreams of them conquering worlds, immortalized in statues. He looks toward the stage, heart full, ready to begin their legendary partnership. And then he hears it. From the stage, Berze roars, the Demon King's playbook is nothing but garbage. Gordon's brain buffers for a moment, then his beautiful fantasy shatters into a million pieces like his glasses. Back in the present, Gordon stands in the frozen Ergasti Mountains, staring into the distance like a man reconsidering his career path. He was the top retainer. Berze was the top Demon King. This was supposed to be different. Berze walks over. Good to see you, Gordon, he says, extending a hand. Gordon immediately demands answers. Berze just plays dumb. Something in Gordon snaps. He grabs his own hair, cycling through the playbook, Arene, and a detailed projection of his own death. Berze tries to calm him. Dude, you're gonna rip all your hair out. Gordon shrieks. Who cares about hair right now? Berze is surprised. The Gordon he knew was cool and confident. This Gordon is different. Better not mention his whole regression thing, it might freak him out more. Gordon finally calms down, tearfully apologizing. He starts discussing rule number 1 of the playbook. Build a tower. It can't be hidden, so heroes can find it. Gordon explains this location is terrible. Harsh, hard to reach, full of monsters. They should move. Berze gets into a ready stance. No, I'm building a tower right here. Gordon's eye twitches. He plants the seed of the tower. It will grow into a fortress when planted with a Demon King's blood. Gordon is horrified. This violates the playbook. Have you no pride as a Demon King? Berze sees Gordon's disgust. It's hard to deny a faith so deeply ingrained. It takes death to break that conditioning. He knows he was once exactly the same. Without a word, Berze slices open his palm. Listen, Gordon, he says, dripping blood onto the seed. The playbook is garbage, especially in Arene. Gordon watches stunned as the seed of the tower glows with an overwhelming red light and starts expanding. The Demon King explains why the book is useless. Arene has too many heroes, a whole darn lot of them. The tower system activates, scanning Berze's race and name. Recognition complete. The summoning begins, and a massive structure erupts from the ground. This is why Demon Kings die here, Berze explains. Their towers get swarmed endlessly, and one day a human reverse-engineered the whole system. Gordon finally puts it together. The sacred, holy, ancient playbook is a hero's manual. The irony is nuclear. The last stones click into place, the tower looms over the landscape, dark, massive, and deeply committed to its aesthetic. Gordon stares in awe and horror. The Demon King built it right in enemy territory. Let's go inside, Berze calls out to him. They step onto the first floor to find a colossal, completely empty hall. No monsters, no traps, just vibes and cold air. Normally, a Demon King's tower should be a monster-filled maze, but it's barren. That's what you get for having a very public meltdown at your graduation ceremony. Gordon decides he can't change the tower. He insists they follow Playbook Rule 2 properly. The rule: Kidnap a high-ranking prince or princess to maximize magic energy. In the throne room, Gordon formally offers his advice as lieutenant. The closest kingdom is Kordzin. Target a princess from there, absorb their rage, grow stronger. Gordon expects debate. Instead, Burzay just goes, "Good, let's do that." Gordon blinks. Progress? Then Burzay adds, "I already have someone in mind." Gordon offers to help. Burzay shuts him down. "Stay here, guard the tower." Gordon is not leaving the building. Gordon is relieved. Burzay is finally acting like a proper demon king. This is the real beginning. As Burzay prepares to leave through a portal, Gordon asks who he's targeting. Burzay's target isn't the closest. It's the furthest nation at the continent's southernmost tip. Destination, the Kingdom of Hilderan, which is, to be clear, as far away from the logical choice as physically possible. He flies up to a balcony window, peering into a lavish room. His target, the one with the least influence, the 13th princess. Appearing against the full moon, Burzay announces, "I came to get you, princess." Back at the tower, Gordon is in complete freefall. The wrong kingdom, the wrong princess. This man is going to age 20 years by chapter 3. So anyway, the princess is looking at this tall, imposing dude. She asks who he was. Burzay states plainly, "I'm a demon king, and I came to kidnap you." But here's the kicker. Instead of screaming for help, the princess giggles. With a disturbingly cheerful smile, she asks, "Will you be able to handle me?" Bro is completely baffled. He wonders for a moment if this was a trick question before replying, "Of course I can." Then she does something even weirder. She holds out her hands, beaming, and says, "Then just capture me. I won't resist." Burzay's confusion officially maxes out. Burzay is convinced she's plotting something. She, however, calmly explains that as a princess, she always figured a day like this might come. Burzay isn't buying it. He tells her he's not falling for any cheap tricks. She denies it. She didn't even know he was coming tonight. She's got a point. But still, this whole situation feels seriously off. The princess extends her hand. "Shall we go then?" With a whoosh of demonic wings, Burzay flies back to his tower in the snowy Urgesta Mountains. He lands inside his barren tower, princess in arms. Burzay tells him to find a suitable area for her on the 4th floor. Gordon's like, "Not a cell?" Well, she did come without a fuss, so Bears is inclined to cut her some slack. "Understood," Gordon replies. Meanwhile, the princess is left all alone in a massive empty hall on the 4th floor. She collapses to the ground, feeling the cold, hard floor, reality finally sinking in. She thinks about everything she's lost. No pillow, no blankets, no handmaidens, no beautiful gardens, nothing at all from her kingdom. Girly is speedrunning luxury withdrawal. An unreadable look flickers across her violet eyes. "It's not bad," she declares. "Yeah, you heard that right." Back with Burzay, Gordon informs him an invitation has arrived from the Tower of Beasts. It's supposedly a welcoming party, but Burzay scoffs. He knows it's just a pathetic excuse to haze the newcomer. Demon kings are usually prideful and don't work together, but the unique nature of Arene forces them to band together. In his past life, he just dismissed them all as weaklings. Simple as that. But this time, he figures a little light interaction might be in order. Growth, people, growth. They arrive at the Tower of Beasts, a massive vine-covered structure deep within a jungle. On a throne, licking a massive slab of meat, sits Draxon. "My name is Draxon, the Beast Demon King," he growls. He tells Burzay he's been ruling this place for 70 years. Big shot, right? Draxon sneers, claiming he heard Burzay was a playbook-insulting troublemaker, but he doesn't look like much. Burzay is completely unimpressed. "Did you call me here just to pick a fight? Get to the point," he demands. Draxon reveals that Grand Duke Alkane himself told him to keep a close eye on him. Burzay, unfazed, casually refers to the Grand Duke as that noisy old vampire. This enrages Draxon. "How dare you refer to Grand Duke Alkane that way? You must have a death wish." He smashes the half-eaten meat onto the ground right in front of Burzay's feet. "I'll lick it," Draxon growls. "Then I'll forgive your rudeness." Classy. Burzay remains completely calm. He asks if Draxon knows why he was sent here. Draxon scoffs, "I know, you fool, because you insulted the Demon King's playbook. According to that playbook, Demon Kings must not kill each other," he says. He stomps on the meat and unleashes a sliver of his power. Do you think I'd follow such a petty rule?" Burzay glares. Chad energy right there. Draxon is terrified. This dude's got incredible guts. He reveals that Alkane ordered him to watch if Burzay kidnaps a princess, and if he doesn't, well, he gets cut off. As Burzay casually walks away, he drops a bombshell. He already kidnapped a princess. "However, it's a woman of my own choosing," Burzay adds. Back at his own tower, Gordon praises Burzay for magnificently showing the dignity of a demon king. Burzay brushes it off, saying Draxon can't do much for now. He then orders Gordon to check on the princess was up to. Left alone, Burzay sighs. This whole situation is turning into a massive headache. Fallout from insulting the playbook is bigger than he thought. Still, he has zero regrets. He'd rather die than bow down to that garbage. Our guy is dedicated. He won't repeat his past mistakes. He checks his magic points. He's expecting a few hundred magic points from kidnapping a low-level princess. The number displayed is 13,000 points. He can't understand it. Why did so much accumulate? What did he even do? Suddenly, a notification pops up. A video message from the Tower of Beasts. Oh boy. It's Draxon congratulating the new Demon King. He says their first meeting was unpleasant, but he has to praise him now. He's impressed, admitting that pulling off something so amazing in Arin is difficult. A cold dread washes over Berze. He realizes something has gone horribly, terribly wrong. Just then, Gordon bursts in, panicking. My lord, we have a big problem. The fourth floor is completely transformed. Once barren hall was full of life, like overnight magic garden. This is impossible. The cold, hard stone floor has been replaced by a vibrant, living paradise. A status screen reads, Naturalization in progress. In the center of it all stands the princess, surrounded by tiny elemental spirits. She created nature inside the magic tower. This can only be achieved by mastering all 4 elements. There's only one genius spirit mage on the continent capable of that. Uh-oh. He stares at her and says, You're not the 13th princess. The girl replies, So you did mistake me for Elena, after all. Then, don't tell me your Berze trails off, dread filling him. The triumphant, almost wicked grin she announces, My name is Ernyan Hilderen. I'm the first princess of the Hilderen kingdom. Oh, Berze, you done messed up. Meanwhile, back in the Hilderen kingdom, panic erupts. The crown princess has been kidnapped by a demon king. The king roars, his eyes glowing red. How dare they take my most beloved crown princess, Ernyan? Behead that foolish demon king, he commands, and bring back my princess. Ernyan just grins, twisting the knife. That's why I asked if you could handle me, you know. Berze is absolutely floored. Spirit geniuses radiate mana, so how do you miss this? She flashes a glowing ring. It's a royal treasure, she explains, that completely masks the wearer's mana signature. The cheeky look, she asks if he's going to send her home now. Berze is utterly speechless. If he sends her back, he's a total joke. No kingdom will ever fear him, and his magic points will vanish. Welp, guess he's got to see this through to the end. Suddenly, a system notification. His magic points have exploded to over 19,000 and multiple sources of anger detected. Looks like his cover is blown. They know about him now. No backing down now. She will remain his hostage, he declares. Meanwhile, back in the Hilderen kingdom, the king is absolutely losing it. From his throne, he yells at his court, Behead that foolish demon king and bring back my princess. The aide nervously explains they still don't know which demon king did it. Scouts are out, but no leads. The king absolutely explodes. How dare they dawdle while his crown princess is kidnapped? An advisor steps up, pointing out something strange. Remember the Lust Demon King who kidnapped another country's crown prince recently? That guy got bodied instantly by heroes, so why would a new Demon King pull the exact same stunt? The other advisors gasp, the implications sinking in. The king grips his throne, trembling with pure rage. He snarls, finally getting it. It's a new guy. Just then, a scout bursts in. They found a teleportation circle trace heading north, to the Ergesta Mountains. The king's eyes go wide. The Ergesta Mountains? Meanwhile, back at the tower, Gordon approaches with a warning. Hilderen's army will arrive soon, he tells Berze. Can a freshly spawned demon king with no resources handle that kind of heat? Berze just grins slyly. It's fine, he says. Hilderen can't actually send its troops. His tower is way up north, while Hilderen's way down south. There's no way in hell those countries in between will open their borders for Hilderen's army. With their army stuck, they'll have to call the Hero Guild. And that's exactly what happens. The king, out of options, gives the order to contact the guild. But, surprise? No hero wants to take the job either. No one signs up to be hero just to die. Berze grins. He knows heroes are just greedy scrubs who won't risk it for a dangerous job. That's exactly why he set up shop in Ergeste. Gordon is legitimately floored. Berze's not following any playbook, but he knows Arian too well, almost like he's been here before. King of Hilderen is absolutely losing his mind again. Not a single spineless hero is stepping up. What a facepalm moment. So many heroes, but no one won't move a muscle unless the payout is massive. All right. He's got some time now. He scrolls through his tower's upgrade menu. He knows his current points can't handle a full hero army once they attack. He remembers just how terrifying their overwhelming numbers can be. He turns to Gordon. Contact Draxon. I'm selling my magic energy for human cash. Gordon's brain absolutely short-circuits. What do you mean, sell magic energy? He totally loses it. Magic is dream currency used for everything from towers to summoning demons. Selling it for human cash is insane. Berze remains chill. He can't stop the heroes with what he's got, but with human cash, he can do something. A while later, he heads to Horton Work, a fortress city just outside the Ergesta Mountains. Cloaked and hooded, he approaches the city gate. Guards stop him for being sus. With a simple flick, he tosses a gold coin. Problem solved. But he knows he still can't just move around the city freely. Time to find a guide. The scene shifts to the rowdy Red Hawk mercenary headquarters. Someone mentions rumors of a new Demon King tower in the mountains. The chief laughs it off. Demon Kings always build where heroes can find them, duh. But the Demon King also kidnapped Hilderan's crown princess? The chief laughs even harder. Who'd go to the edge of the continent just to kidnap someone? Another guy jumps in, adding that the Hero Guild refused the job even for a mountain of cash. The room booms with laughter. The chief says the heroes are just milking the payment because the princess is so valuable. You all know how obsessed heroes are with cash, right? He roars. His men enthusiastically agree. A sinister voice cuts through the laughter, right behind him. So that's how things are going. The chief screams in terror. Who are you? Berzé gives a menacing grin. You guys seem pretty well informed, perfect as a guide. 3 enraged mercenaries charge forward, blades drawn. In a blur, Berzé brutally takes them all down, sending them flying. A huge goon swings a massive club, but Berzé blocks it with one hand, grinning. The mercenaries' eyes widen in terror. The rest of the guild charges, but they're dispatched just as easily, sent flying and crashing into walls. Outside, passers-by hear the commotion and think it's just another day at the mercenary guild. Back inside, the tavern is trashed, unconscious mercenaries littering the floor. Berzé looms over the terrified chief. Answer me, and you live. The chief desperately agrees to anything. Berzé's question is simple and chilling. Where's the slave market? Following the chief's directions, the 2 cloaked figures arrive at an opulent mansion with a huge fountain out front. Berzé scans the caged humans, completely unimpressed. The chief notices his look, nervously asking if something's wrong. He's not here for low-grade stock. Berzé asks for more valuable goods and flashes a bag of gold. Berzé just smiles. This guy watched his subordinates get bodied without flinching. Humans and demons, equally greedy it seems. Right through here, the chief eagerly says, leading him deeper into the mansion. This was all part of the plan. In a flashback, he told a confused Gordon he was buying slaves with the human cash, specifically allied race prisoners. An elf known for their purity would be perfect. And just like that, they find exactly who he's looking for. The guide presents the prize, a defiant, muzzled elf. Perfect. The Demon King plans to use him as a spy, throwing the heroes into utter chaos. Meanwhile, back in Helderan, a grand announcement rings out. Hero Hillen Cargill has arrived. The king is relieved at least one hero answered the call. The hero kneels, swearing to rescue the princess and take the Demon King's head, all in the name of justice, naturally. Meanwhile, the slave trader asks what our guy wants. An elf slave, and this guy's paying, Berzé replies, pointing to the merc. One terrifying glare later, the chief's wallet is out. Smart man. Berzé kicks them out, wanting alone time with his new pet. Oh, and if the elf acts up, guess who's paying extra? He steps to the cage and with a few waves, he removes the shackles. The elf instantly clocks the magic. A demon? He snarls. What could you possibly want with an elf? Berzé's offer, revenge on the humans who enslaved him. The elf scoffs. Demons are just as sketchy as humans, he spits. Berzé insists he's different, offering a 50-year loyalty contract. Safety guaranteed, then freedom. Quite the package. But you know, elves serve the world tree, and demons are hell-bent on destroying it. Hard pass on trusting him. He calls it weird for a demon to even want an elf. Touché. Berzé, proving his sincerity, pulls out the sacred Demon King's playbook. He swears on it, no world tree shenanigans. The elf is shook. This book is that holy to demons. Berzé then demands a counter oath. 50 years of loyal service, sworn on the world tree. Impressed, the elf agrees. I am Granada of the Maple Tribe, he says. I'll commit after meeting the Demon King who sent you. Berzé just smiles. Bro, I am the Demon King. Granada bursts out laughing. Ridiculous, he cries. If you're the Demon King, I'll serve for 100 years, not 50. Well, guess the joke's on him. They're now on the 5th floor of Berzé's tower with Berzé on the throne. He grins. 100-year contract. Your words, not mine. Granada loses it, screaming, this is all a scam. Wives ain't that a wives do. Fixed you meme. I think the farm style do go for 12 years. The standing doctor then mentions that it seems he has suffered some hearing loss. She sighs and then writes on a piece of paper asking his name and whether he can speak out loud. And what kind of Demon King are you? The tower is totally empty. Barren floors and 0 monsters, you've got 0 defense. At this rate, we won't last a year against the heroes. I can't work in this dump, he screams. Berzé calmly reminds him of the contract, unleashing a crushing wave of magic. Granada finally gets it. This dude is actually the Demon King. Oops. That's probably why all the monsters of Ergesta Mountain steered clear on their way back. Talk about street cred. Realizing his revenge might actually happen, Granada kneels. He swears on the world tree to serve for 100 years. Finally, some commitment. Granada, hyped for his epic first task, is sure he's vital to some wicked grand master plan. Berzé's first order? Great. Now, go make us some food. Granada's brain just broke. So now he's in a kitchen. apron on, chopping veggies, trying to convince himself this is all part of the plan. Then Princess Ernian bounces in, offering to help. Soon the gang of four is chilling at a long, candlelit dining table on the 5th floor. Granada whispers, "Is that woman from Hilderin?" Berze casually confirms, "Yep, Ernian Hilderin." Granada leaps up, screaming, "Are you insane? You kidnapped the crown princess with no tower defenses? How will you stop the heroes?" Berze calmly eats, "That's why I bought you." Granada just stares, utterly bewildered. None of this is making sense for him at all. Later, on the nature-filled 4th floor, the Demon King reveals the real mission. If a hero ever gets inside this tower, they've already lost. So Granada's job isn't defense, it's to plunge the human world into chaos. In short, he's Berze's new secret agent. But first, Berze needs to test his skills. "Come at me," he says. "Time for a little spar." Berze sweetens the deal. He'll use only one hand with no magic. If Granada wins, the contract drops back to 50 years. "That's all Granada needs. I'll blow your head off," he roars, powering up like a boss. The spar begins. Furious blows, high-speed action across the field. This ain't no tea party. The Demon King easily blocks, impressed by his moves. He instantly recognizes that elf style, absorbing mana for physical boosts. Smart. Granada yells, "I'm no ordinary elf. You just picked the wrong opponent and the wrong place to fight." Suddenly, glowing vines shoot up, binding Berze's leg. "Opening found," Granada roars, charging in. 50 years, here I come." Berze just smiles. "Useful, yes. But did you forget who you're fighting?" With a terrifying grin, he clarifies, "I'm not using any magic energy, don't worry. And I promise I'll control my strength so you don't actually die." Granada watches in pure horror. Boom, a massive shockwave explodes from the tower. Cut to the Red Hawk Mercenary HQ, where the chief is practically saluting Berze. Berze gets straight to it. He wants a 1-year contract. The chief is ecstatic. His men, however, are whispering nervously. Why make a deal with a dude who just beat them to a pulp? Berze tosses them a massive bag of gold. Just like that, their injuries vanish, and undying loyalty is pledged. Money talks, folks. Berze says he's brought someone to relay orders. The mercenaries naturally are wary of a stranger joining their ranks. Then, a completely battered and bruised Granada steps forward. "Hey, I'm Granada." The mercenaries are absolutely speechless. Suddenly, a wave of total sympathy. They rush in for a big, tearful group hug, welcoming their even more beat-up new comrade. Wholesome. Berze watches, satisfied. Ragtag, sure, but skilled, perfectly located, and most importantly, easy to control. He knows only one hero is crazy enough for this job, Hillen Cargill, the Lust Demon King Slayer. Bro is cooking indeed. Standing before his newly formed team, Berze announces their first mission: investigate the hero hired by Hilderin. The Demon King names their target, Hillen Cargill. The Red Hawk mercenaries, now fully assimilated, roar back with a thunderous "Yes, sir." While his new team geared up, Berze was back at his tower, already plotting his next big power move. He'd handed off the hero problem to Granada and his newly recruited Red Hawks. Time for the Demon King himself to level up. Normally, you need magic points to upgrade the tower, but Berze, he'd sold all his, so he needs to find Spirit Herb's stat. These crystallized mana nuggets were plentiful in the monster-ridden Ergesta Mountains. Basically, a treasure hunt for the brave or foolish. Not as potent as pure magic for a Demon King, but hey, better than nothing. Berze decides it was go time, but Gordon calls it reckless. It's almost impossible to find these herbs, and the monsters would overwhelm him by sheer numbers. Berze wasn't worried about the monsters, but finding the herbs, though? Yeah, that'd be tough, unless they had a mana sensing detector. Suddenly, a knock at the door. Princess Ernian peeks in, shyly asking if they were busy. You can almost see the light bulbs on top of their heads. Next thing you know, Ernian was gleefully skipping through the snow with Berze. She was getting bored of staying indoors. "You can't break your promise, okay?" She grins. The deal was, she gets to redecorate her floor however she wants, if she helps him find the herb. Priorities, folks. Berze internally groans. This girl already had free reign on her floor. How much more was she planning to do? Suddenly, Berze scoops her up, unfurls his massive wings, and launches them into the sky. "Hold tight, kiddo." Clinging on, she's struck with pure awe. The world stretching beneath them was so much bigger than she'd ever known. She thought back to her old life. Endless magic training, royal studies, same old grind, day in, day out. She just accepted it. She's gushing about the mountains, but Berze cuts her off. "Princes, focus on the job." "Ernian, please," she smiles. "Since they're gonna be buddies for a while, might as well be on a first-name basis, right?" "Wrong. Want me to move you to the underground dungeon?" Berze threatens. "Now go find those herbs." Ernian sends her spirits off. Their pure mana essence meant they'd find the herbs way faster than he ever would. It doesn't take long for them to return. "We found one," Ernian yells excitedly. Of course, there was a problem. A giant pack of monsters was already chilling around their prize. Yeah, nothing says easy mission like a giant monster convention. Berza commands them to peace out. The monsters are like, nah, we'll kill you first. Birdsey laughs. Gordon was right. Reasoning was dumb. He'll just have to burn them all to cinders then. Monsters roar and charge forward. Berza unleashes a colossal wave of dark magic. And poof, no more monster horde. But wait, two sneaky monsters, spotting an opening, go for the weaker target, Ernyan. Bersay, however, was faster. He whips around and stops them cold. Ernyan watches in awe. These ogre-devouring monsters couldn't even get close. This, she realized, was Demon King power. When the chaos settles, the snowy landscape was littered with, well, monster bits. A picturesque scene, really. Ernyan marvels at the hyacinth, noting its insane mana purity. He offers her the next one if she finds another. Instant motivation, Burz muses. These humans only move when there's a carrot in front of them. But after searching till exhaustion, no second herb. So, back to the tower they went. Examining the herb, Berzy is pleased. Maybe kidnapping Princess Ernyan wasn't a bad move at all. Just then, Gordon arrives with an update. A message from Granada already? That was fast. Granada reports that the hero Hillen Cargill, with 32 other heroes, left the capital for Ergeste. Standard hero playbook, forming parties, gaining strength, you know the drill. Gordon, diligent as ever, whips out a full list of countermeasures ready. All rejected, Bersay declares. Ouch. Bersay explains he won't send weak monsters, it just makes the heroes stronger. Instead, he'll have Granada destroy the party from within. Gordon is speechless. This goes against the playbook, but admits it makes sense since they can't even defend the tower now. Don't worry, Gordon. I've got plans to strengthen the tower. With dwarves. Cue Gordon meltdown number 54 since arriving here. Humans, elves, and now those stubby creatures. The tower would be a laughingstock. Bersay hand crackles, and he gives Gordon a look that shuts him up real fast. They don't need the dwarves themselves, but they're magical tools. Imagine this. Heroes expect weak monsters on floor 1. Instead, dozens of massive cannons firing at once. The heroes would be utterly unprepared. Boom. But the playbook indoctrination was strong. Gordon shakes his head. He's still against it. Talk to the throne, Gordon, because you're all alone. My crazy demon king is planning another kidnapping, he shrieks. Meanwhile, deep underground in the dwarf city of Wolfner, Hammer's Ring, a master blacksmith is hard at work at his forge. Meet Roger Friedrich, the greatest dwarf blacksmith in area. He's deep in his element, hammering away, oblivious to the fact that he's about to be kidnapped by our favorite troublemaker Demon King. Bersay wastes no time. He's at Wolfner, city of the dwarves. He's messed with them before, but this is his first time actually stepping foot in their turf. Straight to the Midnight Inn. He drops some gold, getting right to the point with a local dwarf. Classic Bersay efficiency. The dwarf is impressed, says Berz knows how to talk to them for a human. Yep, that's because he knows that dwarves love cash as much as any hero. Easy game. Directions secured. A high-security elevator, deep down. But Bersay, he's not waiting for an invitation. Over the gate he goes. Efficiency, people. He's past all the security. He finds the deepest, most secure room in the whole dang city. There he is, Roger Friedrich, the master blacksmith, absolutely hammering it out at his forge. Bersay actually pauses, genuinely impressed. This guy's skill? Off the charts. Mana just dancing around his hammer. Okay, that's enough admiring. Time for our Demon King to do what he does best, a good old-fashioned kidnapping. But wait, Roger is no slouch. He senses a tiny flicker of magic. He whips around, hammer already swinging like a boss. The dwarf leaps, hammer ablaze, but Bersay just catches it, one hand, effortless. You're a hero, he realizes. You ain't leaving this city alive, demon, Roger yells. Bersay just laughs. He calls Roger weak. I'm not just any demon, buddy. I'm the Demon King. What a power flex. Dwarf guards burst in to check the commotion. Too late. The workshop? It's empty now. Poof! The city is on lockdown, alarms blaring. The terrified dwarf is convinced he's after the princess. Typical Demon King move, right? Wrong. Bersay doesn't care about princesses. He wants Roger's secret escape tunnel. This guy always thinking 3 steps ahead. Bersay pitches a devious plan. He'll let Roger go and kidnap the princess instead. The rumors of a hero selling out his princess, his reputation will get destroyed. Roger utterly loses it. He knows he's a weak here. Everyone would buy it. A lifetime of shame. Dude's spiraling. Final choice. Sell out the princess or follow Bersay. To seal the deal, Bersay swears on the Demon King's playbook itself to keep Roger safe. Roger knows that playbook oath is ironclad. He folds instantly. This is the way to the tunnel, boss, he offers with sparkly eyes. Meanwhile, back at the forge, the princess of the dwarf kingdom, Louise Burpf, arrives. Her blacksmith? Gone. Kidnapped. Louise explodes. How could a hero get kidnapped? She sends her guards scrambling, threatening to personally dehair them if they screw up. Yikes. Deep in Roger's secret tunnel, Bersay is bored of the view. He hurries the terrified dwarf along. Come on, pace it up. They finally exit. Roger, thinking he's safe, tries to bail, reminding Berzé of their agreement. Big mistake, buddy. Berzé goes full Demon King. That trashy playbook oath? Yeah, I don't care about it. Absolute savage move. Cornered, betrayed, Roger goes full grovel. I'll forge anything. I'll be your spy. Just don't kill me. Berzé, seeing the utter desperation, agrees to show mercy. Roger thanks him profusely, totally relieved. Plot twist, it's all an act. Roger, the second he thinks he's safe, is already plotting revenge. Stupid Demon King won't know what hit him. Too bad for Roger, his revenge plans are deleted. He's now in Berzé's tower, a lush, spirit-filled place. Surprise! Gordon is, as usual, having a meltdown over Berzé's methods. Granada interrupts his rant with a call. You've got a dwarf now, boss? It's just chaos. Princess Ernion strolls up to the dazed dwarf. She innocently asks, are you the hero who's come to rescue me? Oh, Roger. Still in shock, he confronts Berzé about his promise. Berzé's reply, mercy just means I didn't kill you. But how did he get here? Well, Berzé knocked him out in case he tried anything. And that's it. Roger just breaks. Maniacal, unhinged cackling. Berzé, ever the diplomat, asks, really that happy to join the team? Still laughing like a madman, Roger agrees. So happy. Berzé loves the enthusiasm. First job, fill the first floor with cannons. Time to blast some heroes. Meanwhile, far from the Demon King's tower, Granada's at the hero party's base, sending a status report. He reports that rumors of a new Demon King with black flames have the heroes in a panic, scrambling for flame-resistant gear. And get this, the heroes are convinced the Demon King isn't sending monsters because he's terrified of them. Bless their hearts. Berzé, appearing as a hologram, reveals his true strategy. No monsters mean no glory, no loot, no experience for the heroes. It's a war of attrition, folks. He simply tells Granada to keep monitoring. Granada gives a quick understood and the call disconnects. Granada is absolutely stunned. This Demon King's grasp of human nature? Off the charts. As he heads back into the bustling hall, he mentally notes how lucky he is that this terrifying mastermind is on his side. Back at the tower, Berzé gives Roger his next big job, fortify the first floor with traps. But here's the kicker, no mana stones. Roger instantly panics, claiming old-school traps won't cut it. Berzé interrupts, explaining heroes sense mana-powered traps a mile away. They'd be instantly busted. Roger still hesitates. Berzé's eyes flash purple. He threatens to find a better blacksmith if Roger can't handle this. Roger, scared stiff, blurts out that there is a way. Berzé, looking totally unimpressed, tells him to elaborate. Roger excitedly reveals he made a tool that hides mana traces. Only problem, it took 3 years to build, and it's back in his old workshop. Berzé sees right through it. He asks if that's the best escape plan Roger could muster, a knowing look on his face. Berzé trusts him, then casually snaps a strange collar around the dwarf's neck. Uh-oh. With a glint in his eye, he explains it's a handy tool that separates head from body with a simple hand gesture. He warns Roger, remove it, and it's an escape attempt. The terrified dwarf swears he'll never touch it and scrambles off. Over the next month, Berzé and Roger travel across kingdoms, gathering every last supply for the tower's defenses. Berzé, cloaked and masked, buys everything they need, effortlessly stashing it all in his subspace pocket. Supplies gathered, they finally return to the dwarven city of Wolfner. Roger, trembling, opens a secret entrance. Inside, the atmosphere is electric. Louise is absolutely yelling at her guards. A guard timidly reports they've searched tunnels for a month and a half. The kidnapper, he suggests, is long gone. Of course he escaped, she shrieks. If he were still here, he'd be an idiot, not a kidnapper. She grabs the guard captain, delivering an ultimatum. Find the kidnapper in 2 weeks, or everyone dies. No pressure. The panicked guards immediately scramble, ordered to seal off every tunnel the blacksmiths created. Alone, she stares at an unfinished blade. This, she laments, was supposed to be her weapon. She clenches her gauntlet, seething. Roger, please stay alive. You can't die until you finish my weapon. Suddenly, she senses a presence behind her. She spins around, eyes wide with shock. It's Roger, rocking a high-tech mask to hide his face. But this princess? She's sharp. She deduces that only the blacksmith would know this secret tunnel. Then, she calls him out by name. Roger freezes, stammering. The princess cracks her knuckles with a sadistic grin, thrilled he's walking around just fine. She accuses him of hiding just to ditch making her weapon. Is that it, Roger? She skipped the small talk and went straight for the allegations. She declares him her slave for life. His sole purpose? Making weapons for her. First, he needs punishment for running away. Roger can only beg for his life. Before she can strike, a blast of dark purple energy slams into the ground, blocking her path. Who's there? She demands as a figure lands between her and the dwarf. Berza calmly tells Roger to grab his gear. The dwarf doesn't hesitate, scrambling to obey. Furious, the princess demands to know why he's helping this despicable dwarf. Berza coolly responds, "I'm the master of this poor blacksmith you've been oppressing. Burn." She calls his claim nonsense, screaming that Roger is her slave. She lunges, fists blazing. A flurry of blows erupts as she unleashes a rapid-fire assault. Berza effortlessly blocks it all with his dark magic. The calm face Berza counters with a swift kick. She grabs a hold of his leg, aiming to throw another punch. Berza looks genuinely surprised. "You are strong," he thinks. She capitalizes on his surprise, landing a powerful punch that sends him sliding back, then refocuses on the fleeing Roger. But Berza is instantly back, grabbing the princess by her hair. He easily parries her follow-up attacks, a look of recognition dawning on his face. He knows her from his past life, Louise Berpth, second princess of the Dwarf Kingdom, a non-hero with overwhelming strength. Before his regression, she was one of the strongest people alive, way stronger than she is right now. He considers ending her now, before she reaches her full potential. But that would need his true power, and he's not quite there yet. Using that much energy would expose him as the Demon King to the swarming guards. This is tricky, he thinks. Meanwhile, Roger is frantically tearing apart the massive mana phantom device with a flurry of wrenches. Berza asks the blacksmith, "Did you get it?" Roger nervously replies, "He's still working." The device is an extra-large mana phantom, a tool Roger built to conceal mana traces. Berza's patience snaps. Surrounded by dark aura, he gives Roger a deadline. Want to die? Solve it in 1 minute. As Louise powers up for another devastating attack, Berz warns Roger, "If it comes to it, I'll leave you behind too." "Yes, I'm almost done," Roger cries as he works. Berz steels himself. Without his full power, he's unsure how long he can last. But he has to try. He meets Louise's charge head-on, their energies clashing in a massive explosion. She snarls, "You're not leaving. I'll make sure Roger never runs again by crushing both your legs." Berza just grins. "Honestly, you sound more like a demon king. Give it up, princess. I'm taking your blacksmith and his gear." Right on cue, the mana phantom finishes disassembling with a hiss of steam. Roger yells, "Disassembly complete," as Louise's attack connects with Berza's. She roars in fury, "Roger, you absolute jerk. You came back for that? Did I look that easy to you?" Her emotional outburst gives Berza the exact opening he needs. He spins, landing a powerful kick right in her guts, sending her flying. She crashes into the ground, creating a small crater. Ignoring her, Berza opens his subspace. "Roger, get out of the way," he yells. As Louise staggers from the attack, she looks up, and the two men are already gone, just like that. Her guards finally show up. She immediately shrieks, "You slow fools! Were you planning to show up after I died?" She screams at them to chase Berza and Roger through the tunnel, but it's too late. The tunnel is completely blocked. She mutters in disbelief. Roger must have really hated making her weapon. Her shock twists into a sinister grin. "Interesting. Very interesting, Roger." Her face darkens with pure rage. She vows to find him, even if she has to scour the entire continent. She promises to make him regret everything as she screams his name. Bro just got promoted as the princess's public enemy #1. Meanwhile, back at the tower, Roger finishes installing his massive mana phantom device. Even Ernyan and Gordon are wide-eyed at its sheer size. But Berza just casually drops that it's their ticket to stopping the heroes. Roger confirms installation complete. Berza, without missing a beat, orders him to fire that bad boy up. Berza stares him down, reminding him this better be worth his time. A terrified Roger nervously hits the activation switch. The mana phantom whirs to life, its core swirling with brilliant blue energy. A blinding light erupts, filling the entire first floor and stunning everyone nearby. Suddenly, a system message pops up. The tower has detected the mana phantom. Synchronization will cost 10,000 points. Berza is totally blindsided. He wonders when the tower ever had this feature. Only one way to find out, right? He confirms the synchronization, consuming a massive chunk of his points. The device's power source shifts from mana to magic energy, fully recognizing Berza as its master. Roger completely freaks out, yelling he never imagined it would fuse with the tower. This, apparently, is the discovery of the century. Time for a test run. Berza tells Ernyan to unleash any spell she wants. Given free reign, Ernyan unleashes an insane vortex of fire, water, and wind spirits. Gordon, naturally, has an instant meltdown, screaming about his neatly organized tower being destroyed. From the entrance, Berza watches the chaos. He figures an attack this powerful should be easily detectable outside. He steps out into the snow, but when he turns around, he can't see inside the tower or sense any energy at all. Wild. Channels his magic, testing the full power of the synchronized tower. And to his absolute shock, the entire tower completely disappears. With a flick of his hand, he brings it back. He can now hide it whenever he wants. Talk about a magic trick! Only catch? This ability devours an absurd amount of magic points. Too costly for now, but Berze grins, knowing this power will definitely be useful later. Back inside, Roger is practically begging to study this historic discovery. He'd take the whole tower apart if he could. Berze agrees, but first, Roger needs to fill the first floor with traps. Fired up, Roger swears he'll wipe out every last hero. Dwarf practically flies away, cheering like a kid on Christmas as he gets to work. Berze then turns to Ernian with his next brilliant idea: deal with the heroes who reach the 4th floor. He's taken aback, reminding him she's a princess, not some bodyguard. Berze counters that she's also a genius spirit mage who definitely doesn't want to go home. He then perfectly executes the reverse psychology play, musing that asking a sheltered princess to betray her own people might be too much. And guess what? It works perfectly. Ernian immediately starts pondering which element to fight with, casually agreeing to betray them. Bro is too good at this. He clarifies she just needs to throw the heroes off and make it clear she's an enemy. Success means she gets a wish. Ernian agrees, but with one condition. When she's introduced, it won't be as a princess. She wants to be his subordinate. Surprised but seeing no issue, Berze agrees to her terms. Easy. Nyan gets a little too excited, wondering if she should use her charms to fight. Berze immediately shuts that down with a swift nope. With his key players now in position, Berze sits on his throne, finalizing his master strategy. The plan: Roger's cannons on the 1st floor to thin the heroes' numbers, then Princess Ernian as bait on the 4th floor to finish them off. He knows it's not enough. At this rate, they won't even take out half of the 200-strong hero force. Ultimately, he needs to get stronger himself. He eyes the spirit herb he acquired, knowing he'll have to find more. So, time for another field trip. He calls Ernian, and she happily agrees to go out. Out in the snowy plains, Ernian's spirits search for more herbs, but they come up empty-handed. Berze gets annoyed, calling her spirits useless. Ernian finds the whole situation strange, especially since they were so lucky last time. Suddenly, a massive fur-covered figure steps right into view. It's a large blue-skinned orc with white braided hair, staring them down like a hungry landlord. Berze sighs, clearly annoyed. Feral orcs again. I'm getting tired of that race. Plot twist. Instead of attacking, the orc chieftain kneels. I greet the Demon King, he declares, practically begging Berze to accept his tribe as vassals. Talk about a warm welcome. The rest of his tribe appears, all kneeling and pleading to serve him. This is a whole thing, folks. Berze is completely baffled by this bizarre request. The chieftain explains their ancestors were demons who betrayed the demon realm. Now, they wish to atone by serving him. Berze cuts right through the fluff. He knows they just want to become his vassals to grow stronger. Magic energy suits them better than spirit herbs after all. Caught red-handed, the chieftain admits there's no point hiding it. He offers up what he was keeping secret. He opens a chest to reveal 3 glowing spirit herbs. So that's why Ernian's spirits found nothing. Berze is genuinely impressed, noting the orc is quite smart for his kind. Chieftain explains his tribe values wisdom over strength. That's why they seek Berze's power. Berze thinks about it. Wisdom over strength, huh? I like it. I'll take you as a vassal. But only you, Krutu. He presses a glowing red crest onto Krutu's chest. The deal is sealed. He orders him to roam the fields, grow his tribe, and wait for orders. He promises Krutu's tribe will endure forever. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Krutu swears his eternal loyalty. Another one joins the team. With his new vassal secured, Berze and Ernian watch as the orc tribe departs. With this, Berze's forces are officially assembled. Outside the tower, he now has the feral orc legion. On the 1st floor, Roger stands ready with his mana cannons, probably still humming with excitement. And on the 4th floor, a cloaked Ernian waits with her spirits, ready to show off her skills. Watching over them all from his throne, Berze confirms every piece is perfectly in place. Come, heroes, he declares, and let me repay the humiliation of my past life. Meanwhile, deep in the snowy forests, the heroes have finally arrived. Ilankar Gil, with Granada right behind him, announces their arrival at the Ergesta Mountains. Let the games begin! The large party of heroes stands at the edge of the forest, gazing out at the vast, snowy mountain range. The Demon King awaits them. It's go time, y'all. The heroes set up their preparation base in Horton Work, where a massive pre-battle banquet kicks off. Local lord, probably high on the free food, thanks Sir Hillen Cargill for gracing them with his presence. It's an honor, apparently, to be part of this historic moment. Naturally, the lord then insists Hillen give a rousing speech. Gotta pump up the troops before they face certain doom, right? Without warning, he bellows to the entire hall, getting everyone's attention. Sir Hillen is about to drop some wisdom. Every single eye in the room snaps to Hillen. Hillen clears his throat, ready to play the part. He addresses the whole motley crew, heroes, nobles, mages, mercenaries, declaring this long expedition is finally, thankfully, at its end. Apparently, the Demon King must be absolutely terrified. Dude couldn't even send a single monster. Hillen raises his glass, rallying the crowd. Tomorrow, we behead this foolish demon king who dared kidnap Princess Ernian. He shouts, reminding everyone to show the world who the real bosses are. The entire hall erupts in a deafening roar. For justice! From the back, Granada, our favorite double agent, observes the whole scene. Just as the Demon King predicted, the hero party is holding steady. Not growing, but not shrinking either. Sir Hillen's reputation alone is enough to keep everyone on board and all those wavering mercs in line. Classic hero move. Granada thinks back to that completely empty tower. At this rate, he wonders, won't it just fall over? Should he become a traitor? He immediately shakes that thought. If they succeed, he's free from Burze's contract anyway. That's a much better outcome, for him at least. Getting a grip, he decides to step out for some air and send a quick report to the Demon King. Using some fancy comm device, he reports to Burze that they've arrived at Horton Work and are climbing that mountain tomorrow. Burze tells him no more contact once they leave the city. Then, some strange warnings. Watch out for the snow, and don't let his guard down at night. His final and frankly weirdest warning, when you open the tower door, stay far, far away. Granada is understandably baffled. Suddenly Hillen pops up, asking why he's out here all alone. Startled, Granada stammers that he was just getting some fresh air. Hillen offers him a drink, some fruit wine elves apparently love. Granada hesitantly accepts. Awkward much? Noticing Granada's worried face, Hillen asks if he's nervous. Granada admits he's unsure if they can actually defeat the Demon King. Hillen's charming smile fades. He looks into his wine, then confesses, to be honest, I'm not sure either. Explains that despite people trusting him, taking on a Demon King's tower is always pure hell. It never goes smoothly. Granada tries to sound confident, reminding Hillen he defeated the Lust Demon King. A new one should be no big deal, right? He slyly adds that not much is known about that legendary battle. He asks Hillen to spill the heroic tea. Hillen goes dead silent, his expression completely unreadable. Uh-oh. He finally forces a smile, deflecting the question. He says it was only possible thanks to brave companions, like Granada. He places a hand on Granada's shoulder, promising the front lines are his. He just needs Granada to guard his side. Combine our strength, he says, and we'll totally win. Caught up in the hero's classic charisma, Granada agrees. Gotta admit, the man's got game. Hillen then leads him back inside. The Lord apparently wants to hear all about his adventures. But as they walk away, Hillen's charming smile completely vanishes. It's replaced by a cold, calculating expression. He brings a small, glowing ring to his lips, thinking, of course, I joined forces with brave companions. I'm counting on you again, Granada. The next morning, it's crunch time. The hero party prepares to depart. The citizens cheer wildly for their heroes, shouting as they march out of the city. Talk about a hype squad. The massive party then makes its way through a vast, snowy canyon deep in the Ergesta Mountains. Some soldiers idly chat, surprised the weather is so clear and there isn't much snow. They figure the goddess of victory is totally on their side. Foreshadowing much? Others joke about the total lack of catastrophic monsters, guessing they're all hibernating or just utterly terrified by Sir Hillen's legendary presence. Suddenly, a nasty drop of purple goo lands right on one rogue's head. He touches it, totally confused about what this gross stuff is. Then, a scream rips through the air. The canyon cliffs are absolutely crawling with monstrous ghouls. Surprise! Hillen immediately draws his sword, barking orders. All forces, battle stations. He commands them not to panic, but to push through the canyon, with knights covering the mages. My man is running on pure commander aura right now. But just as they start moving, a soldier yells a terrifying warning. A frost giant has appeared at the front. Hillen is stunned. He immediately shouts for everyone to fall back. A colossal skeletal monster, all ice and bone, looms over them, blocking their entire path forward. Game over, man. Hillen makes a snap decision. He'll hold off the giant alone, while everyone else escapes the canyon. Talk about a hero complex. The burst of blue energy, he charges forward like a madman. He leaps into the air, meeting the colossal frost giant head-on. Absolute Chad energy. The giant's menacing red eyes glow, preparing to attack. Hillen, brimming with confidence, thinks this creature can't possibly be stronger than the Lust Demon King he's already slain. Famous last words, maybe? He nimbly dodges the giant's massive swipe, his body practically glowing with raw power. Perched atop the giant, he steadies himself, sparks moving wildly around him. Energy spirals out of control as the giant tears through the boulder at its side. Hillen continues, zipping around the beast and aiming for precise strikes. He finds his opening, his eyes gleaming with pure intensity. This is it. Unleashing a ridiculously powerful skill, he shouts for everyone to run while they still have the chance. As the party flees for their lives, a massive explosion rocks the canyon behind them. Hillen's attack tears right through the frost giant's massive skull. The colossal monster then explodes in a shower of ice and dark, menacing energy. Further down the path, the surviving heroes finally catch their breath, utterly exhausted from that insane battle. They can't believe the sheer danger they just faced. Not even other Demon King towers were this bad, they exclaim. One hero mentions the rumor that Hillen killed the Lust Demon King and absorbed his power. He might rival a Demon King himself, apparently. Bro is cooking. With their faith in Sir Hillen totally reaffirmed, they feel there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, you sweet summer children. Even Granada starts to believe it. With Hillen leading them, maybe they actually can defeat that Demon King after all. But as they continue their march, of course, their path is blocked by a formidable line of feral orcs. Never easy, is it? Hillen senses their dark magic energy, immediately identifying them as the Demon King's personal subordinates. The chieftain Krutu stares them down. You foolish heroes, welcome to Urgesta. As Hillen prepares to attack, Granada suddenly stops him. He hears a strange, unsettling rumbling sound. He suddenly remembers Burze's cryptic first warning, watch out for the snow. The terrifying meaning finally clicks into place, and Granada's face drains of all color. Oh no. Krutu grins a nasty grin, relaying his master's message. Not one of you will reach the tower. Rumbling grows louder, and then the entire mountain begins to shake violently. An impossibly huge avalanche crashes down, aiming to bury the entire hero party. How are they even supposed to watch out for the snow when it's this? As a literal wall of snow crashes down, Granada can only curse that crazy Demon King idiot for orchestrating this massive avalanche. Well played, Berze. Well played. In blind panic, he screams at the top of his lungs. Everyone run, but it's far too late for our heroes. Miles away, safe in his luxurious throne room, Berze just watches the chaos unfold on his magic monitors. Popcorn, anyone? A sinister grin spreads across his face. Heroes, he says, welcome once again. Now the tables have truly turned. He declares, this time, I will be the one hunting you. Berze, ever the planner, had already laid out his playbook for this little hunt. His first warning to his spy, Granada, watch out for the snow. And just as planned, the feral orc-triggered avalanche shattered the hero party, scattering them across the mountains. What else to do but make camp and desperately search for their missing comrades? Berze's second subtle hint, don't let your guard down at night. To the night raid, frost giants, ghouls, and more feral orcs crashed the party, turning the camp into a desperate battleground. Poor Granada, caught in the chaos, couldn't help but curse his master's relentless, effective tactics. Berze, of course, watched from his comfy throne, a satisfied smile on his face. This pattern, daytime avalanches, nighttime raids, rinse and repeat, 3 grueling days into their trek through the Urgest Mountains, the hero party was decimated, from over 500 strong to a mere 256. And after all that, they finally reached the tower's supposed location, to find absolutely nothing. Hillen completely lost his mind. Common sense says towers should be easy to find, he shrieked. Why isn't it here? Unsurprisingly, the relentless pressure and zero progress shattered morale. The party started to split. Even his own knight apologized, admitting the expedition was a bust and their lives came first. Ouch. With barely any forces left, Hillen could only grind his teeth in pure, unadulterated frustration. A day later, the remaining 52 heroes finally caught a glimpse of their prize, the Demon King's tower, cleverly tucked away in a mountain basin. Overconfident, they charged the entrance, shouting about how easy the first floor always was. You just know this is going to end well. This, folks, brings us to Berze's third and final warning. When opening the door, absolutely do not be anywhere near it. Instead of weaklings, they were met with a solid wall of glowing, charged dwarven cannons, all aimed right at them. Hillen could only stare in stunned disbelief before the cannons unleashed pure, unadulterated hell. In a blink, the remaining 52 heroes dropped to 1. Watching the carnage remotely, Berze mused. As expected, this much doesn't faze him. Smoke cleared, revealing the sole survivor, Hillen Cargill, kneeling amidst the smoldering wreckage. Unscathed, somehow, Bro is surviving out of pure plot armor. He snapped, screaming in fury at the Demon King. What even is this? There's nothing proper about this place. He rushed over to Granada, who by some miracle had also survived. Hillen asked if he was okay, and Granada confirmed he dodged it. Hillen, ever the optimist, urged them to the next floor. Granada, utterly shocked, could only ask, just the 2 of us? Hillen, brimming with false confidence, boasted that he killed the Lust Demon King and absorbed his power. This new guy? No match for him, obviously. He even added that with Lady Granada by his side, they were more than enough. A hesitant Granada, seeing no other choice, agreed. They proceeded through the tower, only to find the 2nd and 3rd floors completely, eerily empty. Hillen found it all incredibly strange, warning Granada to be ready for anything. Because, well, things were about to get weird. Their climb led them to the 4th floor, which wasn't some dark corridor. Instead, it was a beautiful, sunlit forest. What? Whose Pinterest board is this? Hillen was utterly baffled. Nothing on the second and third floors, but a forest on the fourth, he wondered. Are we really in a Demon King's tower? Suddenly, a female voice welcomed them, startling our confused hero. A figure appeared, flanked by elemental spirits, declaring, I'm one of the 4 heavenly kings protecting the Demon King. I, the Dark Spirit Mage, will be your opponent, she announced dramatically. Hillen and Granada were left absolutely speechless by this bizarre, out-of-place confrontation. Despite the costume, Hillen instantly recognized her. Princess Ernion? He exclaimed in utter disbelief. Flustered, she screamed, I'm not a princess. I'm the Dark Spirit Mage, and promptly unleashed a massive elemental attack. Hillen realized this was the highest level of spirit magic, something only Lady Ernion could use, and definitely not if she was mind-controlled. His mind raced, connecting all the ridiculous dots. The feral orcs, the avalanches, the night raids, the hidden tower with cannons and empty floors, and now, a crazy princess. The sheer absurdity of it all made him snap. Laughing maniacally, he declared, I don't understand any of this. Who cares? I'll destroy everything. Just as he was about to attack, a mocking voice echoed from above, followed by a massive sphere of dark magic descending upon them. Burza Deus, the Demon King, finally made his grand entrance, saying, Finally showing your face, Hillen Cargill. Hillen called him a coward, then muttered to himself, I'll need more power. Lady Granada is over there. With blue power swirling around, Hillen, Burze, and Granada brace for the impending clash. Hillen grabbed Granada, holding up a glowing ring, and chillingly declared, Lady Granada, let's combine our strength. Granada's eyes widened in horror as he felt his very life force being viciously drained from his body. Hillen stood triumphantly over the now collapsed elf, enveloped in a swirling green aura of stolen energy. Burze calmly identified the artifact, a forbidden item called the Elf Eater, which converts an elf's infinite vitality into pure mana. Hillen mockingly told the dying Granada that it was all for the greater good. Classic hero hypocrisy, am I right? In his last breaths, Granada could only curse the hero as the fraud and hypocrite he truly was. Burza, finding Hillen's vileness amusing, grinned, So if I just remove that ring, you'll become weak again? Hillen scoffed, daring him to try. Even the Lust Demon King couldn't take this ring. Burze didn't move. He simply uttered one name, Gordon. Hillen was still laughing when he felt nothing. His hand was just gone. He screamed in agony, staring at the bloody stump where his hand used to be. How did that happen without a single warning? Gordon Derrick appeared behind him, his blade stained crimson and Hillen's bloody hand still fresh from the strike. Human, you're rather rude and far too loud, he said coolly. Suddenly, Hillen puts a massive distance between them. Ignoring the blood streaming from his stump, Hillen readies his blade, his face twisted with sheer resolve. He couldn't believe it. How could he, with his powerful artifact, be defeated by a mere high-ranking demon? But before he could even recover, a heavy hand clamped down hard on his shoulder. It was Burze appearing from the shadows with a terrifying grin. Where do you think you're running? Hillen's mind went blank with pure fear. His only thought was to dodge, to get away from this absolute monster. But it was too late. Burze unleashed his true, overwhelming demonic aura, a terrifying purple dragon of energy that completely dwarfed the hero. The sheer pressure was suffocating. Hillen realized with dawning horror, I can't dodge this. As the energy converged, his mind reeled. Just what is this Demon King? Burze grinned, deciding to toy with him. I'll just take one hit, Hillen Cargill. With that, a devastating slash of pure demonic energy envelopes the whole tower. Game over. The dust settles and Burze is standing over Hillen Cargill's smoldering body. The Demon King is clearly surprised the hero is somehow still clinging to life. Burze, ever the diplomat, calmly orders his subordinates to reattach Hillen's hand and toss him and any other survivors into the dungeon. Granada, looking like he just ran a marathon uphill, remarks, He's strong, I can see it. Burza, surprisingly, decides to reward his spy for the hard work, offering him a glowing red spirit herb. And just like that, Granada's vitality returns, youth and strength completely restored, just like new. He is in total disbelief. Did the Demon King really just use such a precious spirit herb on him? Not wanting to leave anyone out, Burze also praises Roger the dwarf, giving him permission to examine the tower. Roger naturally goes wild with joy. Post-battle cleanup handled, Burze dismisses everyone to their assigned floors. As Burze walks away, Granada remarks how perfectly fine he seems even after such an intense battle. A Demon King is a Demon King after all. But Ernion, ever perceptive, notices something is off. She looks seriously concerned. She was right. The moment he is out of sight, Burze's hand drops and he begins to stumble. Total facade. He collapses onto the floor, barely catching himself. That was close, he thinks. A Demon King cannot show weakness. He admits Hillen Cargill was no pushover. Expected for a 10-star hero. The 10 stars are the continent's strongest heroes, and Hillen, even as the weakest, is still in a league of his own. Burza reflects he barely used magic, mostly because he had none to spare. If Helen was at full power, he never would have won. His victory came from a careful strategy. Exhaust the hero party, agitate Helen's mind, and fluster him until he messed up. Thanks to that, Helen's vision narrowed, he showed an opening, and Burz's full power strike landed perfectly. For the first time, he achieved a complete victory without that trashy playbook. Something that never happened in his past life. He was able to change fate. He realizes he can do it. He can change the future and finally get his revenge on those heroes. Meanwhile, the other Demon Kings get news of the failed hero expedition. Droxin, the Beast Demon King, is absolutely furious. What kind of nonsense is that? He rants, pointing out he even spread a rumor about the Demon King's magic to help them. One of his underlings reports that Hero Watankolo announced no tower existed on the mountain at all. Droxin is speechless. This crazy troublemaker, Burza, really did just completely ignore the playbook. At a press conference in Horton Work, Hero Watankolo confirms it. This new Demon King is completely different from all the previous ones. The press erupts into chaos. A Demon King acting differently? Was the expedition a failure? Investors are demanding to know who is responsible. Watan nervously tries to calm them, insisting it is not a failure yet. He claims Sir Hillen and the others are still searching for the tower. The story spreads like wildfire. The King of Hilderin threatens death if his daughter is not rescued, while Princess Louise just wants her blacksmith back. As the news gets distorted, rumors begin to circulate that Sir Hillen Cargill is already dead. Ouch. With the world falling into sorrow and fear, Burza's magic points accumulate at an insane rate, rocketing up to 290,000. Back at Hero headquarters, a high-ranking official confirms Hero Watankolo's statement contained no lies. Watan swears on his name that he spoke only the truth. Gotta respect the hustle. The shadowy leader declares this a grave matter. However, since Hillen is a 10-star hero, they cannot afford to underestimate him. The plan is set. If there is no news after 10 days, all 4,728 heroes on the continent will launch a total assault and kill the Demon King. Deep in Burza's tower, he visits the underground prison. Awake, he asks, impressed by Hillen's exceptional recovery. Bro is built different. Hillen glares up. Since you kept me alive, you must want something. Get to the point. Burzi smiles. Good, we speak the same language, Hillen Cargill. Become my vassal. Hillen is completely stunned. He cannot believe what he has just heard. Burze then lectures him on the high cost of hero expeditions. Food, lodging, weapons, all funded by nobles. If you defeat the Demon King, your life is set. But if you fail, the hero who received the investment is buried in debt. With a wicked smile, Burze points out that for this particular expedition, all the investment was concentrated on just one person. Hero Party's leader, Hillen Cargill. Only him. Bro is in deep. Hillen realizes his fate is sealed. Even if he escapes, he will be a failed hero, spending his life hiding from debt collectors. How did you know that? I informed him, Granada says, stepping into view. Hillen explodes in rage, screaming, Lady Granada betrayed us. Granada yells back, calling Hillen a fraud and declaring, I was on this side from the start. Burge explains that while the heroes failed this time, they will eventually adapt to his new methods. But here is the thing. What if their strongest hero was secretly sabotaging them? Could the humans still succeed? He holds up a swirling purple orb. He explains it is a tool for monitoring subordinates. Once inside, it attaches to the brain, letting him know of any hostility and allowing him to make it explode with a single gesture. Burze gives him the choice. If the orb does not adapt, he will consider it a rejection and kill him. There are plenty of other useful heroes. Anyway, Hillen panics, yelling that a hero as strong as him has immunity to mind control magic and the orb will just disappear. Granada chimes in, confirming that powerful heroes often disable their mental defenses. Hillen can only curse the elf for his betrayal. Double whammy. Hillen vows to never submit, but Burze is done talking. Shut up and swallow it, he yells, forcing the orb into the hero's mouth. The orb takes effect. Granada expresses concern Hillen might just endure it with the resolve to die, but Burze is not worried. He knows a greedy human who uses his comrades like consumables for money would never sacrifice himself. That's cold, Burze. And just like that, it is done. Hillen Cargill is now officially the Demon King's vassal. Later, Gordon points out a problem. Even with Hillen as a vassal, his massive 100,000 gold debt severely limits his activities. Considering the gold they have earned so far is a measly 2,000, Gordon asks how he plans to gather an amount equivalent to a small nation's annual budget. Burze just smiles slyly. It is about time for the contact. Burze's next big idea? The Tower's Harmony, a regular meeting of Demon Kings. Sounds like a book club, but with more impending doom. He never went in his past life, but now he has realized something. Those old-timers must be absolutely loaded. Gordon, of course, immediately starts freaking out, assuming his lord is just going to sell off more magic points. Classic Gordon. But as the official invitation pops up, Gordon has a moment of clarity. After seeing the heroes get completely wrecked, he finally admits the old playbook would have been a death sentence. Our boy is learning. With a wicked smile, Burze stands up. Let us go, he declares. We are going to extort some money from our seniors. Gordon's reaction? Total, unwavering trust. Guess he is finally on board. Burza makes his grand entrance into the Demon King meeting hall, fashionably late of course. He notes everyone gathered early, a slight smile playing on his lips. Was there much to discuss without me? Draxon the Beast Demon King immediately growls his name, clearly still holding a grudge. No surprise there. Across the room, Reyna Sordane, the Frost Demon, coolly sizes him up. She's heard the rumors, apparently. Then Ugar Belbeck, the Diamond Demon King, sneers. The notorious brat who insulted the playbook has finally arrived, he says. Oh boy. The host, Jason Cockmundo, the Demon King of Lies, flashes a huge welcoming grin. Too welcoming, if you ask me. Although an Irene indefinitely made sense, he can't help but troll them. Harmony meeting? Aren't you ashamed as Demon Kings? Ugar loses it, roaring. What does a rookie know about Irene? Ugar threatens to kill him. Burzy just grins back. Try it, if you can. Our boy is fearless. Just as things are about to pop off, Jason claps his hands and everyone freezes. With a calm smile, he reminds them, Lord Ugar, Lord Burza, this is a meeting for harmony. Please don't ruin the gathering. Burza is taken aback. Jason just blew away the killing intent of 2 Demon Kings. It wasn't magic. What was it? Ugar grunts and sits down. Burza cautiously backs off, realizing Jason's power is dangerous and guessing isn't going to help. Jason announces the start of the tower's harmony, encouraging everyone to speak freely. Draxon immediately puts Burza on the spot. Here we go. Leaning in with glowing red eyes, he asks the million-dollar question, where is Hillen Cargill now? Burza pauses, choosing his words carefully. Time to spin the yarn. Meanwhile, in the lieutenant's reception room, Gordon is being grilled by the other Demon King's seconds in command about the same thing. Playing his part, Gordon stammers, claiming Hillen never made it to the tower. Probably lost in the mountains, he says. The others are stunned. How could Hillen not find the tower? It's obvious, Gordon replies. Not our tower. Just as his lord instructed, he's sticking to the story like glue. He recalls Burzi's orders. Play dumb. Hillen is a spy, so secrecy is top priority. Gordon reflects. His master wasn't wrong. He knows it for a fact. And yet, he absolutely loses it, screaming internally. His Demon King is a rebellious, hard-headed idiot who never listens. A mood. But after his mental tirade, he feels an overwhelming sense of relief. Catharsis is real. His outburst prompts the other lieutenants to start complaining about their own Demon Kings. Misery loves company, apparently. Gordon realizes he just needed someone to listen. Back at the meeting, Draxon isn't buying Burzi's story. You expect me to believe that? He presses. He rages that Hillen never arrived and Burzi built his tower in the wrong spot. Are you making fun of us? He yells. I'll build my tower wherever I want, Burzi replies. Jason leans in, a too wide smile on his face. He points out the heroes are still targeting Burzi's tower, yet Burzi left the tower and came here. He condescendingly reminds the greatest top graduate in history about the miserable end awaiting a Demon King who loses his tower. Yikes. Burza remains completely unfazed. No need to worry. I'll protect my tower myself. But that calm attitude bothers him. Something about the Demon King of Lies is setting off major alarm bells. Jason just laughs and backs down, saying he won't bring it up again. For now. Draxon tries to bring up the Grand Duke Alkane. Burza casually shuts him down. What does it matter what the old man says anyway? Burza knows it's all a bluff, but there's no way they can verify it for now. Better to leave them with doubts than expose weakness. He reminds himself of his real goal, 100,000 gold. Top priority, folks. Never forget the bag. So, instead of hogging the spotlight, Burza hangs back, observing. He's looking for Demon Kings desperate for magic points. Prime targets. Then, Reyna Sordane subtly gets his attention. Oh? Burza looks up, a little confused. What does she want? They meet on a balcony high above the water, on the 13th floor of the Tower of Lies. Super romantic, I guess. Reyna says it's nothing secret. She just wanted to speak with him alone after hearing the rumors. She then drops a bombshell. I do partially agree with your opinion. Wait, what? Burza is stunned. He can't remember Reyna ever saying this in his previous life. This is new. She clarifies she doesn't despise the playbook. She actually believes in it. However, flexibility is key, especially in Aaron. She wanted to meet him because he's better than the other idiots. Big compliment. She sizes him up. First impression? Not bad, she says. Even his looks are better than expected. Burza is totally speechless. What a simp. She offers him a glowing communication crystal. Contact her for advice anytime, she says. Just don't insult the playbook. Burza asks why she doesn't just talk with the Demon King of Lies. Good question. She pauses, eyes closed. You can't see through him. Burza is better than the other 2 idiots, but still an unknown quantity. As she departs, Burza looks at the glowing crystal in his hand. What a weird encounter. He still can't fully trust her, but making a connection with Reyna Sordane is an unexpected solid gain. Strategic dating unlocked. Meanwhile, back at Burza's tower, things are a lot more domestic. Princess Ernyan offers cookies to a stunned Roger. Cookies in a Demon King's tower? Wild. She explains her lord bought the ingredients. She baked them with the help of her spirits. Roger's like, man, it's convenient to be a genius spirit mage. He gratefully accepts one. He'll just pretend and say they're good, even if they taste like ash. Takes a huge bite, and holy moly, what is that taste? The flavor is explosive. He's never eaten cookies like this. It's a taste from the heavens, or maybe hell. Utterly captivated, he asks the princess what she made. She giggles, pleased. I mixed a little spirit herb into the dough. I'm glad they suit your taste. Roger is shocked. She used something so precious on him. No wonder his mana felt like it was overflowing. Princess was cooking. Ernyan just says it's a gift to help them get along since they'll be stuck here for a long time. She wonders if Granada will like them. Roger insists he'll go even crazier for them than he did. Then, with a hopeful, blushing smile, she asks, do you think my lord will like them too? Wait, what? Back at the meeting hall, it's completely empty. Have they all left already? Berzé asks. Yep, they already left, Jason confirms. Well, that was short. Suddenly, he leans over the table with a smile. If you'd like more time with me, we can have tea, he offers. Creepy. He gets right to the point. He knows exactly what Berzé needs. Human money. Berzé is completely stunned. Where'd that creep get that info from? What do you mean by that? Berzé flares up. No use pretending, buddy. Lord Draxon already told me, he says with a knowing gaze. Then, chillingly calm, Jason leans back. Let's skip the mind games. How about a deal? His offer? Simple. Magic points for human money. A classic cheat code, really. Berzé, ever the suspicious one, takes a beat. What's your angle here, he asks, because obviously, there's always an angle. Jason breaks into a manic grin. My angle? I'm on your side, Lord Berzé. Let's be friends. That's not ominous at all. Fast forward to Berzé's tower. The deal? It went through. The first floor is literally drowning in gold sacks. Cash money? Berzé, cool as a cucumber, tells a shell-shocked Hillen to take 100,000 gold. Don't get traced, he warns. Our Demon King knows this is risky business. Jason could easily track the money and expose everything. Worst case, he'd be Jason's puppet, completely owned. Yikes. Since Jason's true motives are a mystery, Berzé decides to proceed with extreme caution. Berzé then turns to Hillen, revealing the other captured heroes, now glowing with dark energy. I made them Dark Knights and Dark Mages, he says. He points to Ammon, a merchant, telling a horrified Hillen to use these new minions to launder all that cash. A man, the former hero leader, is among them, his face a picture of pure despair. His former comrades silently beg for rescue. Hillen, ever the opportunist, sees a silver lining. His men are alive, his debts can be paid, and he can resume hero duties. With a greedy glint in his eye, he says, this works for me too. Let's be business partners. Bro really thinks he's on equal footing. His former comrades? Absolutely horrified at this shameless betrayal. The audacity. Berzé's face goes dark. Huh? Business partners? He whips out that creepy mind control orb. An agonizing jolt of pain rips through Hillen's mind. Ouch! Berzé pins the screaming hero to the floor. Speak properly, he snarls. Not business partners, but slave and master. The other Dark Knights can't help but grin. Serves you right, they mutter. Justice for the betrayed. Lesson learned. Berzé dismisses him. I don't expect loyalty. Now get out. As Hillen struggles to his feet, Princess Ernyan appears, calling his name. She holds out a purple letter. Deliver this to my younger sister, Elena, she asks. Hillen is shocked. The 13th princess? He nervously asks why she's with the Demon King. Ernyan calmly says she's not going home, then hints that, as a hero, he should know her family's dark secret. Intrigue? Hilderin royal family's secret. It clicks for Hillen. He finally gets her situation. He reluctantly agrees. What a good slave. I mean partner. Back in the throne room, Gordon wonders if Hillen will actually obey. Fair question. But Berzé explains Hillen isn't just about money. He's not some greedy commoner. In fact, during his torture session, he seemed more tormented than purely greedy. But Hillen Cargill really craves. Not honor. It's popularity. He wants to be loved. The adoration of the masses is literally everything to this dude. Berzé grins, twirling that pulsing orb. Control him with this? He'll be the ultimate spy. Gordon is blown away by his master's insight. He's got renewed purpose now. Berzé smiles devilishly. A famous hero destroying human society from the inside? Now that would be entertainment. Gordon is totally on board. Indeed, my lord. Suddenly, a knock at the throne room doors. Who could it be? It's Ernyan, peeking in with her cute little elemental spirits and a tray of cookies. Berzé warns her, bad cookies mean a month in the dungeon. She just pushes the tray closer. Try one. He reluctantly takes a bite, expecting nothing from a human dessert. His go wide. This taste, it's absolutely insane. Ernyan pumps her fists. Got a reaction, she cheers. Success. Berzé struggles to keep his cool. He forces out a grimacing compliment. For a human, not bad. Bro is trying so hard not to gush. Wait a second. He recognizes that dangerous taste. "Did you put spirit herbs in these cookies?" he asks. He realizes she's returning his previous gift. She must want something else. Ernyan giggles coyly, a mischievous look on her face. Our Demon King is like, huh? Meanwhile, Hillen and his surviving party members are safely escorted down the mountain by Krutu and his feral orcs. At the fortress city of Hortonwork, they immediately use a teleportation circle. Next stop, Hilderan. Granada, on the other hand, is back at Red Hawk Mercenary HQ to dish out some much-needed discipline. He glares down. "So you guys just ran at the first avalanche, abandoning me, your captain?" A merc cries, pleading that even heroes died, so low-level guys like them had no choice but to bail. Granada isn't buying it. He smacks the guy down. Just then, a voice calls him. He turns. A blonde-haired woman in full-plate armor. "My name is Kaede," she says. "I'm a hero." Kaede explains she missed the expedition, but wants to join, hoping to seize the opportunity. This rookie has spirit. Granada is surprised that a hero was here, and even more surprised that his men were already bribed by a round of drinks. He promptly beats his men into submission. Then he tells Kaede expedition is already over. Kaede is shocked. Sir Hillen and the others already left Horton Work? No way. Not one to be deterred, she boldly asks him to retell the story of their failure. After Granada's censored version of events, Kaede is stunned. The Demon King's tower. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. He thanks him, leaves a coin, and departs. Politeness level, expert. Granada watches her leave, a thoughtful look on his face. Amur scoffs. "Clearly a naive rookie," he says. "She'll be lucky not to get backstabbed." Granada decides to shadow this newbie knight. Soon she's joined a few more knights. Something's cooking here. He follows them to a secluded alley. Turns out it's an intervention. The soldiers call her princess and demand she return to her fiancé. "No," she declares, "I will live as a hero." Plot twist. The hero Kaede is a runaway princess. Royal family drama? Not his problem. He turns to leave. Not fast enough. A sword flashes to his throat. One of the knights confront him, demanding to know why he was spying. Uh-oh. Granada breaks into a cold sweat. If he's caught, his cover will be blown. The knight assumes he's a foreign spy and delivers a chilling verdict. Then you can't live. He's trapped and terrified. What on earth is he supposed to do now? This just got real. Things are getting dicey and Granada makes a break for it. The knight chases after him, absolutely refusing to let him escape. The other royal guards immediately spring into action, forming a protective barrier around Princess Kaede. Granada's weighing his options. Using his elven powers will definitely blow his cover, but at this rate, he might not have a choice. But hold on, the princess isn't backing down. "No, I'm a hero too," she declares, ready to throw down. With time running out, Granada finally decides. He's unleashing his true abilities. Cover be damned. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the mayhem. You can practically hear the condescension dripping from it. "So this is where you've been wasting time." Then, with a literal flash of demonic energy, Berze makes his grand entrance, complete with horns and wings. Battered and bruised, Granada can't believe Berze is calling this slacking off, but our Demon King just scoffs, dismissing his injuries as mere scratches. Classic Berze. The knights instantly panic, assuming the Demon King is here for their princess. "Princess? I did not even know," he deadpans. They accuse him of lying. "What are you doing here then?" Even Granada sees the logic in it. Berze just casually waves it off. "Oh, he was just running an errand and just passing by." Yeah, right. Nobody's buying that, not even for a second. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Turns out his errand was actually a request from Princess Ernian back at the tower. She needed something called Seniel powder, which is apparently crucial for making contracts with spirits. Berze quickly recalls its origins. An elf named Seniel defected and created the powder to help humans bond with spirits. Lore drop complete. He questions why she needs it, and Ernyan immediately puts on this weak, dramatic act. The tower has very little mana, and her spirits need it. Berze, of course, knows exactly what this is about. She's trying to contract a super high-rank spirit. Maybe? She replies. So busted. Berze remembers from his past life that Ernyan made a famous spirit contract at age 27. She's trying to pull it off a whole 7 years early. Did living in the tower really change her that much? Grabbing one of her spirit herb cookies and leaving no crumbs, Berze agrees. If it strengthens his tower, he's totally on board. With that, he sets off on his errand, promising to handle it quickly. Which brings us back to the present chaos. Back in the present, Berze unleashes a massive wave of dark magic, completely shocking the princess and everyone around her. When the dust settles, Berze is genuinely surprised they survived. "A hero is still a hero, I see," he comments, almost impressed. Princess Kaede stands, protected by a glowing aura, her resolve hardened. She declares quite dramatically that the battlefield is where she belongs. Then, she unleashes her royal family's ultimate fencing technique, the Crescent Slash. Get ready for a power-up, folks. Quick backstory. Kaede was a low-rank princess, about to be married off to some old perverted king. Gross, right? Refusing that twisted fate, she trained relentlessly, determined to be seen as a hero, not just a princess. She figures defeating a demon king is her one-way ticket to freedom from her father's absurd orders. With a furious roar, Kaede vows to carve out her own destiny with her own two hands. You gotta admire the passion. Plot twist. Her ultimate attack is stopped cold. Berze catches the energy blade with his bare hand and casually shatters it. Yikes. Kaede is absolutely speechless, utterly stunned that her best move was, well, useless. Berze's voice echoes ominously. A hero won't die from just this, right? As he unleashes his truly overwhelming demonic power. That's a rhetorical question, by the way. He grins, realizing she's both a princess and a hero, a combination he finds incredibly useful for his own schemes. As her knights desperately try to intervene, a massive explosion of demonic energy engulfs the entire area. The aftermath is pure chaos. The city's in ruins, knights are scattered and injured, and survivors are just crying out in utter confusion. A lone survivor reports the horrifying truth. The Demon King was here, and he took the princess. Back at Berze's tower, the defeated Princess Kaede lies unconscious in the underground prison. New roommate alert. Berze introduces her, Kaede Jespine, the 9th Imperial Princess. Berze tells her she'll be living with Ernyan on the 4th floor. But why this new princess all of a sudden? Well, Berze just saw her on the way and picked her up. Like getting a donut on your way to work. He explains he needs to kidnap a princess once in a while to get magic points. Immediately catches himself, realizing he's getting a bit too comfortable sharing demonic secrets with his prisoner. Oops. Meanwhile, news of the kidnapping spreads like wildfire, sending shockwaves across the entire continent. Berze's definitely making a name for himself. At Hero headquarters, a mind-controlled Hillen Cargill is debriefed by the council. This is where the real manipulation begins. He perfectly plays the part of the failed hero, shamefully admitting he just couldn't find the tower. Oscar-worthy performance, honestly. The council, ever so magnanimous, absolves him of blame. Gotta keep those hero morale points high, right? They then ask for his opinion on a new expedition to rescue the recently kidnapped 9th princess. Talk about quick turnover. Following Berze's script, Hillen confidently advises against another large army. Instead, he suggests sending small scout teams to locate the tower first. Smart. He masterfully manipulates them, arguing that a truly strong Demon King wouldn't need to hide his tower. Bro is cooking a full meal for them. The council members buy it completely, concluding this new Demon King must be a weak coward, not a major threat. Hero Council is completely fooled. Following Hillen's advice, they postpone the all-out assault until the tower's location can be confirmed. Checkmate, for now. Hillen, still at Hero HQ, internally reports his success. He's used his authority to buy Barre's precious time. Now, the rest is up to the Demon King himself. Back at the tower, Berze gets a debrief from Gordon. He orders him to keep a very close eye on things. Berze lets out a massive sigh of relief. The Hero Guild was already prepping a full-scale offensive. Making Hillen his puppet? Definitely the right call. Everything's falling into place. With Hillen and Granada manipulating things on the outside, he can stop hero expeditions before they even begin. 2-for-1 special. And thanks to kidnapping Princess Kaede, his magic points are steadily climbing. Soon he might even be able to turn Hillen into a proper fighting force. Meanwhile, Roger is busy fortifying the tower's 1st floor, and Krutu expands his army of feral orcs in the mountains. Everyone's getting to work. With all these preparations, his tower will soon be an impenetrable fortress, a place no ordinary hero would dare challenge. Only then, when he's completely secure, can he finally turn his attention outwards and begin his true revenge against those despicable heroes who killed him. Oh, the irony. But for that, he still needs one critical ingredient, the Seniel powder. His destination, Amur, the city of Magie Engineering, a place absolutely overflowing with powerful mages and heroes. He admits to himself that trying to get what he needs from there without getting caught is going to be absurdly difficult. Well, this sounds like fun. And so Berze's quest for the Seniel powder brings him to Amur, the legendary city of magic engineering. On the fringes of its sprawling magic market, he finds a seemingly unassuming shop, Jetson's Paradise. Inside, the shop's owner, Jetson, is chilling, catching up on all the juicy city gossip. Suddenly, the door jingles, announcing a new customer. The shopkeeper offers a warm welcome, but Berze is completely unimpressed by this dump. He cuts straight to the chase. Seniel powder. Berze specifically picked this backwater shop. Why? Because Amur is absolutely swarming with powerful heroes and mages practically everywhere you look. Even with his demon energy suppressed, getting caught in a bustling market would be a disaster. Jetson immediately launches into a classic sales pitch, offering Berze a special price of 1 measly gold coin. Berze, ever the diplomat, cuts him off. Stop yelling. and that's still way too expensive. Jetson's eyes dart around nervously. He claims it's a brand new, super secret formula straight from the Mage Tower itself. He leans in close, a greedy grin on his face, totally convinced he's about to scam some rich noble out of every penny. Berze sees right through this obvious scam. He realizes the guy knows he's desperate and is trying to extort him. Berze's fist clenches. He debates just ending the guy right then and there. Before Berze can negotiate, the door jingles once more. A squad of armored dwarves stomps in, with one of them groaning. Seriously? Do I really have to start at a dump like this? Then his eyes widen in pure shock. It's them. As they enter, one dwarf guard says, Roger won't show up in crowded places, obviously, so they need to start here. Well, the princess is annoyed, complaining about having to visit this literal dump to find their guy. Anyway, they start asking Jetson if he's seen anyone suspicious. Berze recognizes those signature twin tails. Yep, it's Princess Louise Verft. He's hoping she doesn't recognize him from their last meeting. Jetson, ever the scumbag, tries another trick. He claims he has a memory loss disease that can only be cured by buying something from his shop. Louise is not having it and flashes her dagger at Jetson. Hold up! Murder is forbidden in the royal capital, Jetson yells. With voice trembling, he tries to compromise. How about this? Just buy something and I'll accept any punishment. Balls of steel, this one. Louise stares, stunned for a beat, then erupts into maniacal laughter. You're quite interesting, she cackles. All right, show me what you've got. Jetson presents the same purple potion, now calling it Archa powder and tripling the price to 3 gold. What an absolute scam artist. She buys it, tossing 3 gold onto the counter. Business done, she gets back to the actual mission. Now, have you seen a dwarf named Roger? After they leave, Berze asks Jetson if he wants to join the Golden Moon Guild. The guy scoffs, claiming the guild is bankrupt. He's too good for those punks. Berze just gives him a chilling smile. Oh, you've got no choice now, because the customer you just scammed was Princess Louise Verfith. Bro drops the fake potion he just gave the princes. Oh no, consequences. Jetson's face drains of all color. He stammers her nickname. That lady was the mad dog of Verf and shakily asks Berze what he wants. Berze makes a simple offer. Join the guild for 1 gold a month. Refuse, he says, and I'll bring Louise right back here. A classic carrot and stick, but with a very large stick. Jetson puts on a pathetic show of begging before his face twists into a defiant sneer. Did you really think I'd say yes to that? He calls Berze's bluff, screaming at him to leave. No princess would ever come near his dingy shop. As you wish, Berze says calmly, turning and walking straight out the door. A moment later, an utterly furious, flame-wreathed Louise steps back into the shop. His face says it all. That was absolutely the wrong move. A blood-curdling scream echoes through the street. In another shop, Berze casually strolls away. Mission accomplished. Turns out Senile powder wasn't as rare as that scumbag trader made it out to be. Suddenly, Louise calls out, surprised he's still hanging around. She and her companion thank him for helping them get their money back. Berze asks, what exactly did you do to that miserable shopkeeper? Louise says she wanted to rip his heart out, but due to laws in this country, she could only teach him a small lesson. Berze just shakes his head. Yep, still as wonderfully eccentric as he remembers. Then her words hit him hard. Did she just say heart? Berze asks if the Roger they were looking for was a blacksmith. Bingo. Berze dangles a necklace in front of them, asking if it's connected to Roger. The dwarf guard recognizes it instantly as one of Roger's early, unmistakable works. Berze weaves a perfectly convincing lie. He met a starving Roger in the Ormus tropical forest and was given the necklace as thanks for sharing supplies. Louise is so over-the-top grateful she wants to throw a 5-day party for him. Instead, she gives him a prestigious emblem, exchangeable for the best gear in the entire Dwarven Kingdom. As walk away, the dwarf guard asks about her next move. Her face twists into a furious, manic grin. This time, Roger definitely won't escape, she vows. Watching her leave, Berze has a sudden, crucial realization. Her talk of ripping out a heart has reminded him of something he'd completely forgotten from his past life. Back in his past life, around this exact time, the Beast Demon King Droxen found and absorbed the heart of a mystic beast that gave him immense power. Right now, if he fought a heavily armed opponent head-on, he'd barely scrape by with a win. Not good enough for a Demon King. To get his revenge on those heroes and truly survive, he needs to get stronger. And he needs to get stronger fast. And now, Berze has a cunning plan. He'll send Louise straight to Ormus, to the infamous Tower of Beasts. He'll pit the Mad Dog herself against the monstrous Demon King of Beasts, Draxen Doldolf. And while those two absolute powerhouses tear each other to shreds, he'll swoop in and take the ultimate prize for himself. A bit of backstory here, folks. After syncing with the Mana Phantom, Burze's tower scored 2 sweet new upgrades. Now he can control his tower remotely from anywhere, and better yet, instantly teleport items. Burze hits up Gordon from a rooftop, telling him to keep an eye on the tower while he's out. He instantly puts his new toy to work, sending the Seniel powder to Ernyan for a modest fee. Back home, Ernyan is absolutely thrilled, cradling that supreme-grade powder. Gordon reminds her this isn't just any gift, it's from the Demon King himself, so she better use it right. Burze then drops some new orders for his other guest princess, Kaede. She can chill on the 4th floor, and Gordon was to teach her swordsmanship. The training is brutal. Kaede charges, screaming threats, but Gordon parries her easily, probably barely even trying. Burze's next move? He purchases a Hell Forge and tasks Roger with beefing up the 1st floor's defenses. New forge materializes, and Roger? Yeah, he completely loses his tiny dwarven mind. He's utterly starstruck, marveling at this ultimate gift from his Demon King. With newfound devotion, he promises to forge literally anything Burze's heart desires. Burze then checks in on his feral orcs, because gotta keep tabs on the grunt work. Gordon reports their forces have doubled, now strong enough to hunt most monsters in the mountains. Satisfied, Burze ends the call, pretty stoked about his super convenient new remote control powers. Just as he's about to hit up his puppet hero, Hillen Cargill beats him to the punch. Hillen reports the successful takeover of the Golden Moon Merchant Group, now secretly running under Burze's Dark Knights and Mages. His 10-star hero rep made the power transition seamless, proving his brand is still killer despite his failure. Burze simply replies, "Good work," then drops his next order like it's nothing. He tells Hillen to inform Granada. The merchant group will fund buying every single elf slave on the entire continent. Bro is cooking, and it's looking like a feast. To help with this, he's sending over the super shady merchant, Jetson. This, folks, is the same idiot who tried to scam both Burze and Princess Louise. What a genius. And if Jetson doesn't play ball, an assassin will be sent to take him out, no questions asked. Message received loud and clear, complete with uncontrollable trembling. The call ends, and Jetson vanishes from his totally trashed shop. Granada gets the news and is utterly floored. "You want to buy every one of my kind?" In the courtyard of Horton Walk, Granada agrees, promising to round up his people ASAP. He's relieved to save his people, but secretly boiling that the Demon King will use them as spies, just like he's doing to Granada. Meanwhile, the Red Hawk mercenaries are grumbling about Granada's brutal training regimen. Oh my, Granada looks distracted. They use it as a chance to escape. Still in his existential dilemma, Granada ponders if it's better to live as slaves to humans or dying alone. Whatever, the Demon King treats them better anyway. Decision made, he snaps his fingers, unleashes his power on the now very regretful mercenaries. Glowing green vines erupt from the ground, binding them as they scream for mercy. Too late, fellas. As if nothing just happened, he goes back to Hillen, asking what their master's up to right now. Well, even Hillen's not sure. He just said he was out hunting for treasure. Specifically, in the super humid tropical rainforest kingdom of Ormus. And guess who else is there, absolutely seething with frustration? Our twin-tail Princess Louise. Ormus has ordered her to pull her troops back, but Louise flat-out refuses to leave without Roger. She declares there's one last spot to check, the totally forbidden Mountain of Beasts. Her guards protest. "A princess, that's the Beast Demon King's turf," but she's not even sweating it. She boasts that if anyone messes with the dwarf royal family, they'll face war with every single nation that buys their weapons. Talk about leverage. She even brings up the cautionary tale of a demon king who got wiped out 200 years ago for messing with a dwarf prince. Ignoring her guard's hesitation, she barks orders to follow her, or she'll literally rip their heads off. Meanwhile, inside the Beast Demon King's tower, a subordinate is full-on panicking. He reports that the dwarven princess, Louisa, is getting close. Draxon is stunned, thinking, what in the world is that crazy princess doing here? He briefly worries she's after the mystic beast's heart he's currently digging up, but quickly dismisses that idea. Heart? A source of immense mystic power, submerged in magma, and he's this close to claiming it. Furious at this interruption, he orders his troops to stop her, no matter what it takes. But here's the kicker. They can't kill her, or even badly injure her. Man, that's going to be an insanely difficult order. You want to die? A voice thunders, stopping Princess Louise in her tracks. Max Ormus blocks her path, declaring the area off limits. This is the Beast Demon King's territory. There's a high risk of being killed by Demon Tribe. He smiles menacingly. No one would dare touch me, Louise counters. Dwarves aren't very smart, huh? The prince grins. He reminds her how, 200 years ago, the kingdom next to a Demon King's castle absolutely cashed in by selling supplies to the heroes. Max Ormus continues that if Louise dies here today, killed by quote-unquote the Demon King's army, Ormus would become incredibly rich. It finally sinks in. Son of a witch, Louise mutters. Whipping his spear around with a manic grin, Max gives the chilling order to kill everyone. Surrounded by Ormus soldiers, Louise remains totally defiant. Gripping her massive axe, she screams, "Come first, whoever wants to die, you cowardly monkeys." Meanwhile, the Beast Demon King Droxen receives an urgent report. The dwarves are in deep trouble. He knows exactly what's happening. Ormus plans to kill Louisa and frame him, igniting another war just like the one 200 years ago. It's a classic trap. He desperately orders his forces to save the dwarf princess at all costs. Back in the jungle, the battle absolutely rages. The Ormus forces are being held back, but barely. The terrain is awful, they can't win a frontal assault. Their only hope is to open a path for her to escape. Louise isn't having any of that. Roaring in frustration, she declares she'll finish them herself. Max Ormus just laughs, mocking her turtle defense. He boasts, "I'll end it all with a single blow." Before he can launch his sword, a purple aura envelops him. Are the Demon King's army here? Burzay, hidden by his mask, calmly remarks the Ormus attack definitely wasn't in his plans. Human beings were so complicated. With a cold, sinister smile, he tells the prince, "You will die here, Ormus." Prince Max orders his men to finish off Princess Louise while he deals with Burzay. This distraction is all she needs. Princess Louise, now a raging inferno, bats away spears like they're mosquitoes and beelines straight to the prince. "How dare you look away from me," she rages. "You can't believe she's so fast? Maybe he should have dealt with her first." Before Max can even blink, Burzay's demonic energy snakes out and binds him. The prince is stunned. He just got captured that easily? With Prince Max glued to the spot, Louise absolutely demolishes him like he's a cardboard cutout. After the carnage, she looks around, a bit confused. The demon who captured the prince, poof, gone. Naturally, the leftover soldiers then turn on her, calling her the prince's killer. But it's payback time for the dwarves, and they're ready to rumble. Watching the chaos from a safe distance, Burzay has a satisfied grin. Yep, all according to plan. He turns to Droxen's tower. "Now it's your turn, Demon King of Beasts." Let's rewind 5 minutes. Over at the tower, everyone's watching the smackdown in the forest. Droxen instantly clocks it. Demonic energy? He knows this isn't one of his guys. Someone is definitely invading his turf. The timing is way too perfect. With a princess and prince brawling nearby, this whole thing has to be a setup. He prepares to check it out himself, but his subordinates return with, get this, the enemy Ormus soldiers. Droxen starts to panic, fearing history is about to repeat itself. His minions explain that when they arrived, the princess was surrounded by these soldiers. They tried to help, but the princess single-handedly massacred the enemy forces. They couldn't rescue her because she didn't need rescuing. Droxen is beyond annoyed by this turn of events that he gives each of his men a bonk on the head. But wait, there's more. His men confirm that the Prince of Ormus was indeed killed by Louisa in the brawl. Droxen weighs his options. Killing the remaining soldiers would earn plenty of demonic points, but could also start a whole war. So he decides to send them back alive to report what really happened, ensuring he doesn't get framed. Smart play, Droxen. As for the demon intruder, they found no trace of him, sending Droxen into yet another fit of rage. Realizing a stealth specialist is at play, he decides to pull out a special technique, super sensory maximization. By concentrating all his demonic energy into his senses, he can detect even the faintest traces of stealth magic. Basically, he turns on God mode for his nose. And just like that, he finds it, the tracks of an unknown demon. He follows the trail, positive this intruder was after the dwarf princess. The scent points towards the volcano. He asks his scouts which direction Louise fled. It's in the complete opposite direction. It hits him like a ton of bricks. The fight, the demonic energy, it was all a distraction to keep him away from the volcano. The real target was never the princess. It was the prize hidden deep inside, the freaking heart of the mystic beast. But it's too late. Burzay, the ultimate troll, is already there, casually flying over a river of molten lava. Because this wasn't ordinary lava, Droxen needed to find a way to drain it to reach the heart of the mystic beast. But for Burzay, thanks to his scales of the black flame dragon, he can just jump in unharmed. Uh-oh, he's got company. A tiger demon beast leaps out and takes a swipe. Burzay effortlessly blocks and grabs the shocked beast. "Let's go together," he says, with maximum villain energy. He plunges back into the lava, dragging the tiger with him until it dissolves. In his past life, Droxen gained insane regeneration. He always wondered what kind of beast Droxen absorbed. Now he knows it wasn't just a beast, it was the corpse of a phoenix. He remembers reading about them back at the academy, divine beings capable of crossing dimensions. Phoenixes, he learned, reign as finalizers in their own dimensions. Pretty intimidating stuff. And any demon king who absorbs one becomes powerful enough to carve their name into history. Like, legendary powerful. He thanks past life Droxen for this find. Overcome with manic joy, he shouts, "It will finally be mine," and reaches out to claim his ultimate prize. Meanwhile, the real Droxen is absolutely furious. Who is the bastard that discovered my phoenix? Dismisses Burzy immediately. A rookie demon king could never pull off something this elaborate. His barrels past his guards, still trying to figure out who the actual culprit is. He runs through the suspects. Nah, Ugar's way too stupid. And Reyna is a frost demon. A fire phoenix would basically be poison to her. The horrifying realization he knows who's left. He arrives at the entrance, only for his subordinate to report the impossible. The Tiger Guardian just willingly jumped into the lava. That bastard is trying to steal my phoenix. Get him out now, he screams, trying to jump into the lava. But of course, it's too late. A massive fiery explosion erupts from the volcano. The pillar of light is so immense that everyone from all corners of the land sees it. Droxen screams one name in pure rage. Jason, you son of a witch, as a magnificent fiery phoenix rises into the sky. After that absolute inferno, Burz wakes up in a seriously strange, vibrant forest, totally disoriented. See, he planned to stash the phoenix's body, but its power just shot into him before he could even blink. The last thing he clearly remembers? Being blasted sky high by that massive volcano eruption. Now, for some bizarre reason, he's chilling with a full squad of super friendly woodland creatures. Talk about a glow-up, but something feels off. Like this isn't even his own body anymore, you know? He catches his reflection in a pool of water and is absolutely stunned. Who the heck is this? Meanwhile, far away in Ormus Palace, Princess Louise is busy reporting to the king. She's spinning a tale about how the prince and his warriors saved her from the Demo King's goons. It was an honorable death, the princess declares, but the king of Ormus calls it total garbage. With tears in his eyes, he orders, hit up the Heroes Guild, get an expedition ready to take down the Demon King of Beasts. Back in the forest, Burze gets a quick call from his favorite new puppet, Hillen Cargill. Hillen, totally weirded out by Burze's new look, reports that a huge hero expedition is forming up against the Demon King of Beasts. Leading this massive force, none other than Razel Sharnt, a legit top-tier 10-star fire mage. Her vice commander is Balraf Disrode, another 10-star hero who clawed his way to the peak with pure martial arts. All in, 200 heroes are part of a 500-man force, planning a direct assault on the Tower of Beasts. Burze, now back to his usual self, finds it pretty interesting that out of 200 heroes, only 2 are 10-star powerhouses. That means there's a whole shady group working behind the scenes who don't want the Demon King of Beasts dead. Of course, because to humans, a Demon King's tower is basically a goldmine, folks. Demon corpses, monster parts, everything sells for a high price. They're not about to let their cash cow get destroyed. Burzy just gives a knowing look. Humans really are something else, huh? So Burzy gives Hillen his new mission, join the expedition. He'll drop Droxen's weakness so Hillen can land the killing blow. After all, a hero who's taken out 2 Demon Kings? That's a PR win waiting to happen. Easy public trust. Hillen gets a little too big for his britches, asking if Burzy can even control him once he gets that strong. Burz's death glare is all the answer Hillen needs. You think absorbing 2 Demon Kings is enough to fight me? Absolutely chilling, folks. A terrified Hillen immediately promises to get the job done. Yikes. Just as he's about to head out, another call rings in. It's Gordon. Seeing Burze's new fiery red hair, Gordon totally freaks out. Burze quickly reminds him who's boss, Stone Cold. Gordon reports an emergency summons just blasted out from the Tower of Beasts. Burze is legitimately shocked. Droxen is calling a meeting? Yep, right at that very moment, the other Demon Kings were already popping through portals, making their grand entrance. At the door, Droxen's already fuming, wondering why Burze and Jason are late. Whoever no-shows is definitely the prime suspect here. Back in the woods, Burze takes flight. He totally let his guard down, and now he's out of time. Gordon's still on comms. Since Master is in Ormus already, I'll head on through the portal. No, don't, Burze yells. I'm heading right there now. Burze knows that showing up on foot from the nearby jungle is way too suspicious. But arriving late? That would make him a prime suspect. He needs to step through the portal with Gordon. Pushing himself to the absolute limit, he rockets through the air, but it's still not fast enough. The clock is ticking. Suddenly, the phoenix heart inside him awakens. He tries to suppress this massive power, not wanting to drain his mana, but the heart just flares to life regardless. Impossible! This thing is actually still alive inside his chest. Plot twist, am I right? This untamed power sends him absolutely blasting across the sky at an uncontrollable, blistering speed. He crashes into the side of the tower and face plants on the snowy ground. What an entrance. He made it on time, barely, but he still can't control that crazy phoenix power. He just collapses, totally exhausted. As the phoenix power fades, his demonic wings emerge instead. He barks at Gordon to get down here, fast. It's showtime. Time to head to the Tower of Beasts. Back in Ormus, the hero expedition is already buzzing with excitement over the famous mage, Razel Sharnt. They're all fanboying over her, but Razel, she couldn't be bothered less. If you're done fawning, get lost, you losers. She's got that ice-cold queen vibe, for sure. The simps love it, whispering that they'll never wash out their ears. Rosal just sighs. How is she supposed to win with this squad of absolute clowns? As the hero expedition gathers, another big shot arrives. Our favorite sleeper agent, Hillen, strides right up to Commander Rosal Charnt, announcing he's here to help out. Rosal is not impressed. With a sneer, she asks why he's not rocking his dirty ring. Hillen nervously tries to brush it off, but inside, he's totally panicking. This lady knows exactly how he pulled of that demon king of lust kill. She starts blabbing his entire rep is toast. Rosal declares she will be the one to finish off the demon king of beasts, telling him to keep his filthy hands to himself. He just flashes a big phony smile and agrees, but in his head, the demon king of beasts' head is mine. Back to Berze and Gordon. They're teleporting right into Draxon's lush jungle territory at exactly the same time as Jason. Deus, Cockmundo, you're just in time. Draxon rumbles, inviting them in. Berze is relieved. Looks like he made it just in time. Inside the Tower of Beasts, the emergency meeting is already popping off. Ugar, the rock guy, wastes no time. Why the urgent summon? He demands. Demon King of Lies casually drops in a guess. Probably the hero expedition in Ormus, he muses. Draxon cuts the small talk. Let's be real, he snarls. One of you sent a high-ranking demon into my lands, and then stole the phoenix corpse I was about to absorb. But wait, there's more. The culprit also offed a prince, and, oh yeah, started a whole hero expedition against Draxon. Talk about a hostile takeover. Reyna and Jason connect the dots, stirring up heroes and losing a mystic beast. Folks, that screams all-out war. Draxon growls, someone's trying to off me, but I'm not going down alone. To find the traitor, he's buying the key to the black box. The black box is basically an ancient digital video recorder for demon kings. It records everything. Super expensive, usually pointless, but a perfect lie detector. No deleting your browsing history here. Urza is sweating hard. If his black box gets opened, his whole scheme is exposed. Game over. Draxon springs his trap. To open a black box, he needs the owner's permission. He asks, knowing only the guilty would say no. Bro is cooking. Berze is officially cornered. One by one, Reyna, Jason, and Ugar all grant permission. All eyes land on Berze. He has no choice. Permission granted, he says, raising his hand. Draxon flashes a satisfied grin. Very good, he declares, ending the meeting. He'll share the results later. But Draxon can't drop 10 million points on the key just yet. Not with a hero invasion at his gates. He'll wait until it's over. Then he's opening Berze's and Jason's boxes. Wait, Jason too? Spicy. Meanwhile, back in his snowy mountains, Berze knows the clock is ticking. He needs to eliminate Draxon before he can open the box. First things first, a tower inspection from the first floor. And what a first floor it is. Roger has gone full-blown mad scientist and is now the official floor boss. He's cackling like a maniac perched on his masterpiece, the Inferno Catapult Mark I. He's hyped about all its features. It's a mobile tank with multi-elemental attacks, insane targeting, and condensed mana shells. His ultimate weapon, baby. Berze is stunned. He did tell the dwarf to make anything he wanted, but this is insane. Gordon confirms that the dwarf has gone cuckoo, but the weapon was legit. Fine, leave him and let's see how far he can take this, Berze commands. Next up is the second floor. Floor boss, Kade Jespini. She greets them with a furious scream and an offensive attack. Berze, cool as ice, shatters the attack with one hand. Still the same, he deadpans. But hold up, Kaide's still got something up her sleeve. Kaide leaps forward, going for her strongest move, the waning moonbreak. Berze just looks bored. Little better, still you need more training. He grins as he blocks the attack effortlessly. A loud scream rips through the second floor as Kaide is obliterated. Again. But hold up, wasn't Kaide supposed to be on the fourth floor? Gordon explains he temporarily moved Kaide. Princess Ernion is prepping a summon on the fourth floor. Summon? Berze looks intrigued. They head up to floor 4. There, Ernan, the fourth floor boss, stands in a glowing magic circle in the middle of a powerful summoning. She calls to the great spirit of water, offering her blood and soul for a contract. She begs the spirit to answer, calling its name Nairuniel. The high spirit of water appears, looking surprised. Nairuniel is impressed, a human summoning her true form inside a demon king's tower? Good, she simply says. Invoking the primordial covenant, she extends a hand. I, Nairuniel, accept Ernan Hilderan as my sole companion. Hands touch, and blinding light fills the room. Contract sealed. Ernion floats peacefully, embraced by power. The ritual drains Ernion completely. She faints, but Berze is right there to catch his princess. She stirs in his arms, still dazed, and looks up. Berze just gives a slight smile. Good job, he says. Glad the first didn't miss it. Ernion is overjoyed, thanking him profusely. All thanks to your Seniel powder. Then, with a sudden, serious look, she confesses. I love you, Demon King. Wait, what? She completely freaks out, yelling, I didn't say that. Berze is just stunned. What in the world is happening? Turns out she's right. A tiny blue spirit pops out, giggling. She loves the Demon King. This, folks, is Neil, the high spirit of water. Her hobbies? Romance novels? Her first question? So, when are you two dating? And not the post-summoning vibe anyone expected. Ernyan is completely mortified by this nosy little spirit. Dating? What are you talking about? Ernyan practically combust, but Neruniel, the ultimate shipper, just casually drops that Berze and Ernyan's love story is already legendary in the spirit realm. She just keeps going, asking when they're making it official. Ernyan practically begs her to vanish, but then Berze cuts in. He asks Neruniel, how do I look to you right now? Smooth, Berze, very smooth. Fiery feathers float down as his hair ignites, transforming into a blazing red. Neruniel is speechless. The spirit quickly realizes Berze isn't radiating demonic energy anymore. It's pure mana, like a spirit. Berze clenches his fist. If he can fool a high spirit, then other demon kings and heroes won't detect his true identity either. Grinning confidently, he thinks, at this rate, I might just take him out myself. Oh, Berze, you mad lad. Ernyan is completely dumbfounded. A demon king killing another demon king? That's definitely a new one. Berze is making his way towards his new scheme. Suddenly, Gordon's face pops up on a magic screen, and you guessed it, he's absolutely losing it. Are you serious? What kind of demon king goes out to kill another? I thought I explained already, Berze says. Flashback to when Gordon asks where he's headed. Berze calmly says, to kill Draxen. The sheer absurdity of that statement hits Gordon. Berze reminds him, I thought you stopped questioning my decisions. But Gordon insists this is a whole new level of crazy. Berze knows the stakes are high. If he doesn't take out Draxen before that black box opens, he's toast. Gordon argues it's way too dangerous. He reminds Berze hasn't overcome the dimensional energy that nerfs all new demons in this world. Lore drop, dimensions are basically hostile to intruders. It's like being crushed by dimensional energy as soon as you step into it. So a level 666 demon from their home realm, they get nerfed down to a pathetic level 1 grunt here. Insta-prey for heroes. The Demon King's tower was built to fight this. It's a bridge channeling energy directly from the demon realm. By beefing up their tower, a Demon King slowly gets their immense power back. Basically, tower height equals Demon King strength. Phallic? Sure. Gordon points out the fatal flaw in Berze's plan. Draxen's Tower of Beasts is 13 floors high. Berze's? Only 5. Inside a stronger Demon King's home base, victory is basically a meme. Good luck, Berze. Berze knows all this. He admits that with his Phoenix heart still a bit wonky, fighting any Demon King would be tough. If I were to fight alone, that is. Gordon's jaw drops. That's right. Under the alias Pale, Berze declares he's personally joining the hero expedition against Draxen. Talk about playing both sides. Meanwhile, in the jungle, a hero party is in full retreat, barely fending off a relentless horde of demons. Hillen Cargill is tending to a wounded soldier when a mysterious red-haired man approaches. Berze, in full hero mode as Pale, he tells Hillen to step back. Hillen reports they assaulted the Tower of Beasts, and as Berze instructed, he attacked Draxen's weakness, his tail. So far, so good. But then the plan went south. In the chaos, Expedition Commander Lady Roselle was overwhelmed and severely injured. The whole expedition was a bust. That's it. He is officially completely screwed. But Hillen surprises him. They actually dealt massive damage. Draxen's wounded, his forces thinned out. This means they have an opening. They just need to hit him again before Draxen recovers. The man's got a plan. Pale asks about Balraf Disrode, the hero meant to protect the mage. Hillen spits that the coward bailed right before the main assault. Just then, Commander Rosa Charnt appears. She reveals Disrode's sponsors are the ones profiting from the tower, calling them money-grubbing sellouts. Peak corruption, folks. Pale greets her, then immediately asks if she's ready to attack the tower again. No small talk for our boy Berze. Roselle, gripping her wounded eye, absolutely see this. I will kill the Beast Demon King. I absolutely cannot back down. Our girl is out for blood. Hillen despairs, saying they can't fight again since they're totally out of potions. But Pale just calls that a simple problem. He pulls out his subspace absolutely stacked with healing potions. They won't regrow limbs, but they're more than enough to get everyone back in fighting shape. Stunned by his endless resources, Roselle eyeballs him with suspicion. Who are you, and why are you going this far? Fair questions. Roselle questions the strange heat radiating from Pale, wondering how he cultivated such pure energy. Our boy's res is through the roof. He glances at the rest of the hero expedition, seeing them completely demoralized and defeated. Potions won't fix that. Berze knows broken morale needs more than a few healing potions. So, he decides it's showtime. A tiny, chirping firebird materializes from his cloak. He tells it to follow him quietly. Suddenly, the heroes are bathed in a warm, surprising light. A glimmer of hope, perhaps? Rosal and Hillen jump to their feet, absolutely stunned by this sudden burst of intense energy. Jaw-dropping stuff. Who am I, you ask? Berzé says, levitating as a colossal, fiery phoenix erupts behind him. I am Pale, owner of the Phoenix. What a show, my friends. He turns to them, eyes blazing with purpose. And I have come to kill the Demon King of Beasts. Rosal is completely speechless. A phoenix? She realizes this must be that overwhelming energy that covered the sky earlier. She can't believe it. With pure mana, this guy rivals 10-star heroes. She wonders where this absolute Chad came from. But seeing this insane power, the other heroes' faces shift from despair to grim determination. That's how you rally the troops. Rosal realizes that with him on their side, they might actually stand a chance against the Beast Demon King. Let's go! Meanwhile, the Beast Demon King, Drexen Duldorf, is absolutely fuming. Turns out, reclaiming his tower cost way more demonic energy than he expected. Because of that huge expense, he could only snag one black box key. He shoves the glowing key into a mysterious black cube, growling, I'll open the other one later. For now, it's your turn. The ancient box whirs to life, projecting ethereal film-like strips of light, ready to spill all the secrets. The purple film strips swirl wildly. Droxen demands to see every hidden secret of his target. But what he sees leaves him sweating bullets and in utter disbelief. This is the truth, he stammers. The black box cannot be manipulated. A horrifying realization dawns on him. He knows he has to warn the other Demon Kings immediately. Just as he's about to act, a terrified subordinate bursts in, screaming, Demon King, the heroes have invaded. And this time, the vanguard is being led by a brand new absolute unit of a 10-star hero. A powerful warrior with flowing blonde hair and massive golden shields steps forward. It's Ralph Schmitz, captain of the block party. Alright, let's rewind 1 hour. Back in Ormus, Berzé, still rocking his red hair, stands before the hero expedition. With their morale completely restored, the heroes are absolutely fired up. One shouts, let's try this again. We have the legendary Phoenix on our side. They raise their weapons to the sky, ready for battle, chanting, let's slaughter all the demons. Berzé watches them, internally noting that while their morale is back, he's still unsure if they can handle his Phoenix mana in a real fight yet. Approaches Commander Rosal, saying, since 10-star heroes alone aren't enough, I'd like to reinforce our forces, if possible. Rosal calmly replies, it's fortunate because a decent hero has just requested to join their ranks. Berzé turns, his eyes widening slightly. He instantly recognizes the newcomer. It's the 10-star hero Ralph Schmitz, widely known as the strongest powerhouse among the Shield Masters. Oh great. As the vanguard of the attack, Ralph stands alone against a charging pack of snarling demonic wolves. Effortlessly blocks their vicious attacks with his twin shields, sparks flying from the brutal impact. Then, the face carved into his shields begin to glow with a terrifying, ominous power. He unleashes a massive shockwave, instantly vaporizing the entire wolf pack into dust. The ground is left scorched and empty, with nothing but dust remaining of the monsters. Berzé watches, internally noting that Ralph is indeed the second strongest tank among the 10-star heroes. His weapon is an ultimate shield that reflects any impact it receives. And our boy knows better than anyone how truly troublesome Ralph is to deal with. Because Ralph was one of the heroes who brought him down and absolutely mocked him in his previous life as a Demon King. He clenches his fist, wanting to rip Ralph to shreds right now, but he forces himself to calm down. Drexen has to come first. Rosal sighs in frustration. Ralph arrived only after the expedition ended. Just like you. If I'd waited just a little longer... She grits her teeth, convinced that with the two men combined, they could have won without any casualties. As the heroes cheer that the first floor is cleared, Berzé offers a stern warning. Confidence is fine, but do not underestimate the Demon King. Rosal glances back at him, confused by his sudden caution. Berzé explains, a Demon King always leaves a trump card. You pull out your last resort right before you're about to die. Classic villain move, am I right? He thinks to himself that if Drexen has already reclaimed his tower and purchased that key, he won't have enough demonic energy to stop their expedition. In that case, Berzé might just get to see it in this life too. Drexen's ultimate trump card. Back in the present, the hero party finally reaches the 13th floor, the Beast King's throne room. The heroes are instantly confused. Where are all the demons? This place was crawling with them last time, but now it's just the Demon King. Drexen slowly rises, his claws crackling with red energy. Bug-like clowns, he snarls. I couldn't handle other matters because I was preparing this. Rosal's eyes widen in shock. She senses a massive lump of demonic energy density and instantly realizes why there are no other demons here. Drexen's voice drips with malice. That's right. To finish you all off in one go, I've gathered all my vassals into one place. The energy in his body solidifies into a terrifying paw print-shaped crest. Burzay instantly figures it out. Draxen found a sneaky loophole by absorbing the power of an entire floor of monsters. Pretty clever for a demon. The malevolent gleam in his eye, Draxen roars, "Foolish hero clowns, I will kill you without leaving a trace so you can never climb up again." The top heroes prepare for the absolute worst. Ralph stands at the very front, ready to defend them all. Burzay's eyes narrow grim. He knows exactly what's coming. Draxen lets out a monstrous roar, opening his maw wide to unleash his devastating ultimate attack. A colossal beam of demonic energy erupts from his mouth, aimed directly at the hero party. Burzay shouts a warning, but two heroes ignore him, thinking this is their chance to attack. "What are you saying? This is the time to attack." They don't get far before the blast wave hits, instantly sending them and other heroes flying. Only Ralph stands his ground, his massive shields taking the full brutal brunt of the cataclysmic attack. The impact is so powerful it nearly knocks him off his feet, but he holds firm, as expected of him. Then, just as Burzay predicted, Ralph's ultimate shield ability activates, absorbing the attack and preparing to reflect it. With a massive boom, the shield unleashes the stored energy, sending it rocketing right back at Draxen. But from within the smoke, two glowing red eyes appear, absolutely filled with primal rage. Smoke clears, revealing Draxen unharmed. Hillen and Razel look on in absolute horror. His magic! He deflected it that easily? They gasp. This new form, this is the true, unadulterated Beast Demon King. Unleashes an overwhelming wave of demonic energy that floods the entire throne room. The heroes feel the raw power choking them like a toxic poison. Unable to even breathe, they collapse one by one, gasping for air and pleading for help. Just as Draxen's suffocating aura crushes the heroes, Burzay unleashes his own immense power. He casts high-rank defense magic, Phoenix version, instantly creating a massive, brilliant protective barrier. The party is absolutely ecstatic, thanking Burzay for the life-saving barrier with all their might. Burzay knows that Draxen can't be allowed to gather any more demonic energy. The stakes are too high. He tells them to stay put, bluntly stating that from now on, they'll only get in his way. He turns his attention to the ones still standing, noting one of them has a particularly annoying aura. Guess who that is, folks? His eyes lock onto his true target, Draxen. The Beast Demon King glares at him, demanding, "You, who are you?" Burzay just flashes a wide, sinister, and utterly confident grin. Game on. Draxen, the Beast King, absolutely loses it, roaring Burzay's name. "Stealing the Phoenix wasn't enough, Burzay? Now you dare step foot in my tower?" He snarls. His world-shaking roar, suddenly cut short by a shimmering protective barrier. Burzay, still disguised as pale, just raises a finger. "In this domain," he states, "every sound is under my control." Commander Roselle is thoroughly impressed. "Excellent," she says. Burzay didn't just silence the roar, he also hid their spell chants from the Demon King. Talk about multitasking. With that opening created, the heroes unleash their attack. High-rank binding magic, Sage's chains. Glowing magical chains erupt, wrapping tightly around Draxen's massive form. Draxen just scoffs. "You pathetic insects, you think a petty trick like this can work on me?" With a surge of raw power, he instantly shatters the chains, sending fragments flying everywhere. Draxen immediately targets Burzay, declaring this isn't a fair fight but a one-sided hunt. But as rubble floats around them, Burzay remains unbothered. "Can't hear you over all that barking, you know?" Burzay taunts, smiling. His silence magic is still active, specifically targeted only on the Beast King. Draxen growls in frustration, totally unable to use his powerful roar attacks. The other heroes, including Hill and Cargill, watch in shock. Draxen gives up on roaring and just charges, while Burzay leaps into the air with his Phoenix wing. The two clash in mid-air, a devastating impact that shatters the surrounding rock. The mages try to support Burzay, but he's moving too fast. "He's fast! I can't get a lock on him," Razel shouts. Hillen, however, has absolute faith. "It doesn't matter. Just follow Lord Pale's orders." Draxen unleashes a flurry of dark energy claws, questioning why Burzay is even bothering with this stunt. Now that Burzay has revealed his true fangs, Draxen vows he won't be leaving alive. Oh, but wait, this was all part of the plan. Rewind to Burzay laying out his strategy before the fight. "Most important thing in killing the Demon King of Beasts is speed," Burzay explains. He explains that despite Draxen's size, his reflexes are incredible, so they need to bind his feet and hit his weakness. Hillen worried even his lightning dash couldn't keep up, but Burzay reassured him, promising a signal. Hillen was confused, wondering what kind of signal he meant. Back in the present, Draxen finally gets a lock on the high-speed Burzay. "Got you bug-like jerk," he snarls. Just as Draxen attacks, Burzay reveals a mysterious purple orb of magic. Ahriman's orb. Draxen scoffs at the orb, thinking it's just another attack. Burzay, with a grin, clarifies. "It won't work on you. Ahriman's orb lets the vassal know the master's location. Draxen is baffled, asking what difference his location makes. He has no vassals here, right? Suddenly, a bolt of blinding blue energy, Hillen's lightning dash, erupts, aimed right at Draxen. The orb's signal floods Hillen's mind, causing him immense pain. It feels like my head is going to explode, he screams. Through the pain, he screams, never use that orb again. Draxen realizes the terrifying truth. Deus, you crazy fiend, you really took a hero as a vassal? Berze just smiles. You should try it sometime. It's quite useful, if you survive, that is. With the signal finally received, Hillen unleashes a devastating strike. That lightning-fast attack slices deep into Draxen's body. The Beast King just sneers at the wound. You were acting cocky over just this much. How pathetic. He's suddenly bombarded by a barrage of magical blasts from the other heroes. Berze turns to Rosal. When Hillen creates a split-second opening, it's your turn next, Rosal Charnt. Tells her to put everything she's got into it, channeling that grudge for her lost eye. Rosal faces the Demon King, remembering her past defeat. Demon King of Beasts, you dared to do this to my eye. She screams, gathering all her mana to wipe him out in a single blow. She unleashes her ultimate spell. Top-tier fire magic, satellite cannon. A colossal beam of pure energy descends, striking Draxen directly. Berze and Hillen stand back. Ralph Schmitz deploys his massive shields, while Rosal stands beside him. The entire area is consumed by a titanic explosion of fire and light. The smoke clears, a massive crater has been carved into the landscape. Draxen is still standing, battered and burned, but alive. These bug-like bastards, he growls. Berze watches, thinking to himself that Demon Kings don't go down so easily. Draxen, pushed to his absolute limit, unleashes his final desperate attack. Who do you think I am? He roars. He erupts with colossal energy, moving faster than anyone can react. In an instant, he tears through the entire hero party, slashing them all down. He boasts that he is Draxen Doldaf, the Demon King who will conquer this dimension. He turns to face Berze, vowing that his true opponent won't leave alive. But Berze is unimpressed. The imposing Beast King is now just a mad dog. Right now, Berze thinks, I will make you shut that snout of yours. He grins confidently. I haven't shown you yet, have I? The power of the phoenix you cherished and hid. The orb of pure phoenix energy detonates, unleashing an explosion that slams into Draxen. The blast engulfs him, a pillar of flame and power erupting from the crater where he stood. Miraculously, Draxen still stands, body shredded and bleeding, but roars in defiance. Not yet, I won't die from just this. Seeing the Demon King stumble, the Shield Master Ralph Schmitz spots a critical opening. They now have the key to victory. His weakness, the tail. Commander Roselle, bloodied but determined, seizes the opportunity, declaring, I won't miss it. She casts high-rank binding magic Sage's Chains. Golden chains erupt, completely ensnaring the Beast King. The target is locked down. The team calls on the final piece of their assault. Healer. Hillen Cargill answers the call, powering up as blue lightning crackles around him, ready to deliver the finishing blow. Trapped and facing his end, Draxen realizes the truth. His eyes burn with hatred as he roars out the name of his true enemy, Berze. Deaz. Breathed in lightning, Hillen leaps high into the air and brings his weapon down in a final devastating strike. Watching the scene unfold, Berze just grins, thinking he'll make good use of the Phoenix's power. His plan perfectly executed, he bids a silent farewell to his rival. Farewell, Draxen. With a sickening crunch, the Beast King's head thuds onto the forest floor. His reign? Over? Done. The heroes can barely process it. They actually won. The whole crew erupts in cheers for Hillen Cargill. He did it. He defeated the Beast King. Hillen's face splits into a manic grin. He's absolutely soaking in the adoration, already envisioning himself as the greatest hero of all time. But hold up. Chaos erupts as the tower starts collapsing. Everyone scrambles, grabbing loot and potions on the way out, because priorities, right? Amidst the destruction, our boy Berze stands over Draxen's head. Dude's casually wondering if a fool like Draxen even deserves a second chance. He just turns and walks away. Doesn't matter anyway, right? Draxen was stuck following the Demon King's standard playbook until his very last breath. Later, Roselle confronts a bandaged Hillen. She's accusing him of trying to snag all the glory for the final kill. Internally, she admits she was super suspicious of Pale joining the fight. But hey, he helped her survive, so she can't exactly complain, can she? She casually mentions that she claimed the corpse. A flustered Hillen agrees a little too quickly, insisting he has no objections. Thoughts get cut short. A soldier yells, pointing to something they found in the tower's wreckage. It's the kidnapped prince and princesses, all alive, just a bit dazed and super exhausted. Rosal's shocked when she recognizes one of them, Lavinia Akan, the third princess of the Akan kingdom. Roselle completely freaks out, demanding to know what Lavinia is doing here. Turns out the princess was trying to get monster parts to make a chimera. Classic princess move, right? As other heroes stare, Berze shows up. Roselle asks if Draxen hurt Lavinia, but the princess just says they traded monsters for cash. Totally normal. Burr's sighs. Ah, that's where Droxen got all his cash. He thinks Lavinia is a totally reckless princess, just as unhinged as she was in his past life. Some things never change, folks. Meanwhile, in a fancy pants hall, the Hero Guild elders are having a meeting. They're discussing the fall of the Beast Tower. They're super annoyed. Their whole plan to control the 10-star heroes got torpedoed by some mysterious new guy, the owner of the Phoenix. Even worse, this new hero isn't even guild affiliated. So, obviously, they decide it's time to tighten the leash on all heroes. Bureaucracy, am I right? First order of business, figure out who the heck this Phoenix owner really is. At a victory banquet in the Ormus Royal Hall, the king tearfully thanks the heroes. Then he shuffled off to get some rest. Razel, with her cocktail, observes the gloomy party. Hillen approaches, attempting to make small talk. She brushes him off, looking for Pale. She wants to ask him about the Phoenix. That name instantly gets everyone else's attention. Suddenly, a crowd forms, all eager to meet and thank the mysterious hero who saved their butts. Ralph Schmitz cuts through the noise. The owner of the Phoenix, well done. But then Hillen drops the bomb. Lord Pale already left. Major bummer for everyone. Back at his icy tower, Burr's is greeted by a very relieved Gordon. Gordon just can't believe it. You didn't actually kill the Demon King of Beasts, did you? Burr's just gives him a look. I did it. Obviously. Gordon has a full-blown meltdown, screaming internally about how his crazy master is going to handle the fallout of, killing another Demon King. Dude is cooking. Burr's tells him to chill. He came back right away because he knows the other Demon Kings will be calling. Wouldn't want to look suspicious, would we? But despite the big win, Burr's reflects on the battle. His realization? I am still weak. Droxen was already beat up from the first hero attack, and his big desperate final move didn't even do that much damage. What a letdown. His conclusion, he needs to pump up both his demonic power and the Phoenix's power. Gotta grind harder. Just then a holographic call from Jason pops up. Perfect timing. He's calling an emergency Demon King meeting. Jason solemnly delivers the news Droxen Doldorf has passed away. Burr's internally thinks, yeah, I know. I'm the one who did it. Talk about self-control. Burr's puts on a shocked act. Jason then adds, a new Demon King has already shown up to take Droxen's spot. Talk about fast-tracking. Burr's is actually surprised. A replacement in half a day? That's way too fast. He suspects Archduke Alkane is behind this. But without the black box, there's zero evidence linking him to the crime. Confident he won't get busted, he strolls into the meeting. A pink-haired succubus with massive horns sizes him up. So you are the famous Burr's Deus, she purrs. This is Vivian Blunt, the queen of the Blood Moon clan. Burr's calmly takes his seat. No time for pleasantries. Grand Duke Alkane declares Droxen's death suspicious and orders a full investigation. He tells Vivian to keep a very close eye on Burr's. Vivian agrees, thinking the guy who dissed the playbook is the main suspect. She licks her lips, convinced a prickly type like him will be easy to manipulate. Oh honey, you are so wrong. As Jason starts the meeting, Vivian just abruptly stands up and walks away. Rude. She finds all their political squabbling super boring. What she actually finds interesting is Burr's Deus. She reappears directly in front of him, legs crossed, with a sly grin. Bold move. She leans in close, asking what kind of demon he is to cause so much chaos. Then, she cuts right to the chase. You're quite handsome. How about tonight? Burr's slaps her hand away with pure disgust. Don't touch me. You're unsightly. Ouch. Vivian is absolutely floored. A succubus queen, rejected and insulted in the most brutal way imaginable. Our boy Burr's just broke the internet. Just as Vivian tries to recover from the ultimate burn, the Frost Demon Queen, Reyna Sordain, steps in like a total buzzkill. She tells Vivian to get back to her seat. Reyna lays down the law, reminding everyone they're here to figure out who clapped Droxen, not to watch a reality show. Jason is shocked that Reyna is even running this whole circus. Vivian, being Vivian, immediately accuses Reyna of wanting Burr's for herself, but another Demon King, Jason, wisely gets everyone back on track. Drama averted, the meeting finally kicks off. Their main agenda, the 10-star heroes leading the current expedition. The meeting is a snooze fest, but then they hit the real hot topic. The mysterious powerhouse, known only as the owner of the Phoenix. Opinions are split, but everyone agrees, investigate this new threat and stay vigilant. Burr's, though, he's chilling. He knows they have no clue it was him, disguised as Pale during the hero expedition. Still, he keeps one eye on Vivian Blunt, Archduke Alkane's personal spy. Vivian responds with a flirtatious kiss, but Burr's just rolls his eyes. Not a threat, he decides. Meanwhile, back at Burr's swanky tower, Princess Kaede sees a golden opportunity to bail. With Princess Ernyan also nowhere in sight, Kaede knows it's now or never. She bolts for the massive front doors, freedom just a few feet away. Suddenly, a foot slams down, blocking her path. A voice asks, where do you think you're going? It's Princess Ernyan, flanked by her elemental spirits. She's here to stop Kaede for the peace of the tower. Kaede isn't having it. She draws her sword, declaring she's ready to fight her way out. The two princesses stare each other down. Get ready for a royal rumble, y'all. Suddenly, Gordon pops up, casually telling Kaede, go if you want. He adds with zero emotion that he won't care what happens to her. Classic Gordon muttering about frustrating humans. Kaede is completely blindsided. Kidnapped 1 minute, then told to just leave the next? What is this place? She suspects a trap, but honestly, this is her best shot. YOLO. She charges for the door, planning a straight dash to Horton Walk for backup. But the second her hand touches it, the gate erupts with crackling dark magic. A massive invisible force blasts her backward, sending her careening across the room like a rag doll. Gordon just sighs, completely unfazed. Yeah, this usually happens, he deadpans. Gordon explains the tower's simple rule. No one leaves without the Demon King's permission. Like a 5-star hotel, but with more magic. Ignoring Gordon, Ernyan places her own hand on the gate, and just like that, the massive doors creak open. Wait, what? Gordon is shook. Even Ernyan is stunned, muttering that she just felt like she could open it. Flustered, she immediately tries to slam it shut, but a black-gloved hand catches the heavy gate, stopping it cold. It's Berze, standing in the doorway with a scowl. Are you finally attempting an escape? He asks. Gordon welcomes him back as Berze, covered in snow, takes in the chaotic scene. What in the demon world have you guys been doing? Later, after hearing about Kaede's escape attempt, Berze's solution is classic Demon King, lock her up in the underground dungeon. Gordon then brings up the real head-scratcher, Princess Ernyan opening the main gate. Berze calmly explains the tower already recognized Ernyan as a member. Gordon's face screams, what? Berze knows with her high-rank spirit, Ernyan could have bounced long ago. He's been gone. So why is she still here? Meanwhile, down in the dungeon, Ernyan pays a visit to the newly imprisoned Kaede. Kaede immediately starts scolding her, insisting Berze is just scheming and his kindness is fake. But Ernyan calmly turns and drops a bomb. I came out on my own. Berze, who's been watching on his magical screen, is totally blindsided. She knew I was watching her. Ernyan confesses she hated the palace, her family, her father. After being kidnapped, she just lost all desire to go back. Berze is stunned silent. Is this whole confession for him? Kaede explodes, yelling that Ernyan is the most talented royal, destined to be the future queen. She can't fathom why Ernyan would toss that brilliant future away to become a Demon King's lackey. The Ernyan drops a bombshell. Hilderin has 62 princes and princesses, but only her is known by her name, Wild. Kaede stammers, remembering that officially there are only 28 royal children. Talk about a population boom. Officially, that is, Ernyan says ominously, telling Kaede to ask her own emperor about the dark secret if she ever makes it back. Horrified, Kaede grips the bars, realizing the absolute scandal this secret implies. Someone's getting impeached, but Ernyan just grins, calling her out. A princess who ran away to avoid getting married shouldn't be lecturing anyone, right? The jab hits home hard, leaving Kaede red-faced and absolutely seething. To casual, I'm joking, Ernyan turns and leaves, bidding her goodnight. Mic drop. Back on his throne, Berze mulls over Hilderan's dark royal secret. He makes a decision. Gordon, prepare Ernyan. I'm going out to find spirit herbs. Out in the snowy Ergest Mountains, the high-water spirit Nerunio, matchmaker supreme, cheekily tells the other spirits to give the Demon King and Princess some privacy. Ernyan happily tells Berze she's stoked to finally be outside again, especially since he's been gone so much. Berze cuts her off, addressing her by her full name. Uh-oh. He gets straight to the point. I don't believe everything you said is the truth. A demonic flame erupts in his hand. He demands she spill all her secrets, or else. Two stand locked in a tense standoff, the glow of his dark magic lighting up the falling snow. Super dramatic, but they're not alone. A mysterious hooded figure in a gas mask watches them from a distance. Found him, he whispers, holding a pair of binoculars. The Demon King of Ergest. Looks like Berze just got a new fan. Berze isn't messing around, demanding answers from Princess Ernyan. She's sweating, clearly hiding something juicy. But Berze is done with the games. His eyes flare. Fine, he says. Then I have no choice. Suddenly, he unleashes a massive blast of dark magic right into the snowy woods. I'll take care of the intruder first. What an entrance. That hooded figure, stalker alert, is caught completely off guard. He noticed me? Well, duh. You're watching the Demon King, bro. The blast obliterates the figure, but Berze just scoffs. Turns out it was only a clone. Ernyan asks if their stalker is a hero. Berze confirms it, calling him a total nuisance. Apparently, this guy's been bugging him for a while. She immediately identifies him. It's Daphne Filane, a 10-star hero. Pretty big deal. Berze remembers the name all right. In his past life, Daphne was the snitch who leaked all his info to the heroes, Talk about a grudge. Ernian gets all worried about the tower, but Berze, chill as always, reassures her there's zero problem. Meanwhile, the real Daphner, still out in the cold, is scouting the area. He's totally baffled. The tower should be right here, but he can't see anything. Turns out Berze activated his Mana Ghost remote control, making the entire tower completely invisible. Smart move, Demon King. This invisibility cloak drains 10 mana points per second, but as long as Berze has mana, no one's finding them. With the intruder handled, or so he thinks, Berze turns back to the princess. Let's continue our talk, spill the tea. He delivers a truly brutal ultimatum. Otherwise, no more tower access for you. The horror. Her expression hardens. She lowers her head for a moment. Fine, I'll tell you the truth about me. She leans in, eyes intense. Do you know a magic called Child of the World Tree? Sounds ominous, doesn't it? Elsewhere, Daphner is watched by ogres. They're looking down from a ridge towards a distant palace. Back with Berze, a system alert confirms the clone has left the mountains. He tells Ernian to find and tail the rest of Daphner's crew. His mana points are still draining, and he's not thrilled. The tower is strong, but definitely not ready for a full hero expedition. He has to take care of Daphner. Ernian, our resident guesser, figures her father probably sent the hero to find her. Berze connects the dots. Is this related to the Child of the World Tree you just mentioned? He's on fire with those deductions. She admits it's a long story. We love those. Berze just calmly replies, I have time to listen. Our Demon King is all ears. Ernian reveals that her father, King Hilderan, aka Dad of the Year, wanted to restore their kingdom's power. So, he looked for a genius mage to turn the tide of war. But true geniuses aren't just made in school, right? And naturally born ones are super rare. Classic dilemma. Berze starts to connect the pieces. Don't tell me. He's getting that bad feeling, folks. She confirms his worst suspicion. Child of the World Tree is forbidden magic. It's used to create augmented humans, like her. Talk about a plot twist. The process involves injecting massive amounts of mana into a fetus to artificially create a magic genius. Humans do some pretty demonic things too, huh? He then asks about the mothers. Ernian coldly states that many died during childbirth, and even if the mothers survived, the children were often born with deformities or just died shortly after. A truly grim tale. Just as she mentions the successful ones being revealed, a horrifying monster shows up. We're talking a colossal floating eyeball surrounded by writhing tentacles. Oh no! Berze powers up, assuming his earlier mana surge attracted it. Step aside, princess, he commands. He's ready to fight. Ernian steps in front of him. Bold move. Among those successful ones, I was created as an overwhelming genius, she states. Oh, now this is getting good. The Sky Beast fires a massive red energy beam directly at them. This thing means business. With a calm expression, Ernian summons a glowing blue magic circle, effortlessly blocking the devastating attack. Berze is probably rethinking his damsel in distress comment. Then, she unleashes her own power, summoning a tidal wave of massive ice shards. They rocket straight towards the creature. The shards impale the monster from every angle, obliterating it in a single devastating blow. Wow, Berze just got outclassed. Berze is absolutely stunned. To think a human could kill a top-tier monster in a single blow, he marvels. No wonder the king won't give up on you. Ernian trembles, calling her abilities a blood-stained power. Berze questions why she'd abandoned such incredible power and her place by the throne. What's the catch? He leans in, his face full of suspicion. Do you honestly expect me to believe everything you said? Berze isn't easily swayed. He insists it's the truth, even telling him to use his orb. But he says it's useless against an elementalist's mana. Tell me your true intentions, he warns, his hand sparking with dark energy. If you try to deceive me again, I'll show you what a real Demon King is. Fed up, Ernian, our fiery princess, puffs her cheeks in anger. Then she grabs his demonic hand and presses it firmly against her own chest. Now that's a move. Berze is completely stunned. What are you doing, he stammers. She yells back, listen to my heartbeat. I only spoke the truth. Suddenly, the phoenix heart inside him reacts to the contact. Its ethereal form glows brightly within his chest. A little heart-to-heart, literally. Through the phoenix's power, he can feel everything. Her heartbeat, her pulse, a storm of anger, sadness, and shame. It's a full emotional download. Ernian blushes, explaining that through pure mana, they can actually feel each other's hearts. She insists again she was telling the absolute truth. Berze feels the raw sincerity of her emotions. He has no choice but to accept it. It's the truth. She continues, remembering the first time she saw him. She knew at a glance he was different, that he could help her. Help? Berze helping someone? Berze is completely lost. Help? What on earth are you even talking about? Our Demon King is stumped. With a burst of passion, Ernian's eyes glow. She makes her true desire known. Help me, Demon King. I want to destroy Hilderan. Whoa, plot twist squared. Berze is absolutely speechless. The Phoenix confirms it. Even these words are sincere. Guess he just got a new BFF. Yep, the phoenix heart doesn't lie, so Berze, bless his heart, looks at Ernyan and just sighs. Fine, I'll trust you. But before Berze can question his life choices, Nairunil, our resident water spirit drama queen, bursts out. She's absolutely fuming. What in the actual heck is going on here? What were you two doing, you sneaky little kitten? Acting all innocent, huh? But Ernyan is adamant. No, it's nothing like that. It's the spirits communicating, she explains. Nairunil is absolutely not buying that excuse. Oh, sure, communication happens with the body, right? She mocks. This spirit is a menace. Berze, tired of the shenanigans, shuts them down. Look, you two can sort out your drama later. Let's get back to the tower and talk about Hilderan. He has that mischievous glint in his eye. First, though, we're using the spirits to track down Daphne Felian's real body. We're gonna bag him. Meanwhile, far away in the snowy mountains, our hero Daphne is already on the move. He's got a mission. He activates a fancy device using cloning magic to split into two identical hooded figures. Talk about efficient searching. More clones mean weaker clones, but it lets him cover a massive area simultaneously. Smart, but risky. His clones spread across the magical map, but Daphne is totally stumped. How can they not find a 50-meter tower in this small area? He remembers both Wharton Kolo and Hillen Cargill successfully used his method to find the tower. So what's different now? One clone finally arrives at the supposed location. It sees a faint, shimmering outline of a tower. It has to be around here, but there's nothing solid, just empty air. What in the heck is happening? Suddenly, his magical map starts beeping. One of his search markers turns into a red skull. Not a good sign. Daphne is horrified. His clones are designed to avoid monsters, yet they're being picked off one by one. Someone's definitely cooking. And who's doing the cooking? None other than Krutu, feral orc chieftain, reporting to Berze. We found and eliminated the clones. For a 10-star hero, this guy isn't that strong. From afar, Berze gives a cold, calculated order. All right, destroy everyone you find. I've got plenty of points left over. Berze's plan is classic. Wipe out the clones, make Daphne his subordinate, then boom. Instant continental control. Simple, right? But his plotting is rudely interrupted by a frantic call from Gordon. Demon King, we have a major problem with the tower. Gordon reports the Mana Phantom device is overheating, like about to explode overheating. And in the background, Roger is in full panic mode. System alerts flood Berze's vision. Invisibility is failing. Energy costs are skyrocketing. He's got about 10 minutes. Tick-tock. If he doesn't catch Daphne in time, the tower's cover is blown. And then, folks, it's hero-apocalypse for Berze. Gordon confirms the absolute worst news. The area around the invisible tower is now absolutely crawling with Daphne's clones. Irony much? Daphne is closing in, convinced his calculations are spot on. The tower must be right here. I will find it no matter what. Famous last words? Berze unleashes his feral orcs. They summon a wave of spectral skulls, wiping out even more of Daphne's clones. Get 'em, boys. Time is ticking faster than a speedrun. Berze frantically calls Gordon. Send me the locations of all the destroyed clones stat. He pulls up a tactical map, analyzing the destruction pattern. Clones can't stray too far, so he can triangulate Daphne's real position. Big brain move, Berze. Finds it. So the real body is located right in the middle of all those destroyed clones. Gotcha, hero. Daphne is caught totally off guard. The Demon King is here. I knew it. The tower is right here. Daphne thinks he's won the lottery and just needs to report back. But then Nairuniel, our mischievous water spirit, materializes directly in his path. Oops. Real body found, she declares, unleashing a massive ice attack. Go, Nairuniel, go. Daphne barely dodges the attack, much to Nairuniel's fury. He escaped, she yells. Bro is fast. Berze shouts at Ernyan for Daphne's location. Ernyan channels Nairuniel's power, firing a tracking beam of water magic straight into the sky. Teamwork makes the dream work. The magical tracker homes in on the fleeing hero. Daphne looks up just in time to see his very angry pursuer descending upon him. Berze descends, surrounded by glowing phoenix feathers. He offers the now cornered hero a choice. Daphne Felian, here's your simple choice. If you want to live, you obey me. Tough guy Berze is back. Daphne is absolutely stunned. A demon king with phoenix power? He thought the phoenix owner was someone close to Hillen Cargill. Major plot twist for him. The horrifying truth hits him like a ton of bricks. It can't be. Farah is the Demon King, and Hillen Cargill is his lackey? Mind blown. It all clicks into place. The spirit, the princess. They're all working for the Demon King, just like Hillen. The conspiracy runs deep. A new thought hits him. A scandal this huge would make him rich for life. He just needs to escape and spill the tea. But too bad his feet are suddenly encased in ice. Trapped. Berze's voice echoes, cold and hard. Idiot, I told you I'd give you a choice. Now, vanish. The clones are obliterated. Daphne just can't believe this raw power from a demon king who hasn't even been around for a year. This guy is built different. He curses his superiors for sending him on this suicide mission. He should have bailed on this trap ages ago. Live and learn, I guess, or not. Burzé's magic shatters the ice prison. A dark, spectral bird flies out, carrying Daphne's final report. Dude found out too much. The messenger bird arrives at the kingdom of Hilderan. A royal messenger immediately bursts into the throne room, carrying the urgent intel. The king is pleased to hear from Daphne, but the messenger delivers grim news. The mana bird burst into black flames and vanished the moment it arrived. Yikes! The king's face falls as he understands the implication. His advisor confirms it. A dead mana bird means Daphne suffered the same fate. Gone, reduced to atoms. In the throne room, the king's hand trembles with absolute fury. He finally realizes he completely underestimated this new demon king. Majorly underestimated, to be clear. His voice booms through the hall. He demands his council contact the Hero Guild immediately. Time for a major power play. He wants a general summons of all 10-star heroes. He roars, vowing to kill this demon king and bring his princess back. It's on! This is gonna be epic! After Burzé annihilated that royal spy, the landscape around him is now a massive crater of molten rock and smoldering ash. Even a demon king has limits. Burzé is absolutely drained, panting and struggling for breath. That kind of power doesn't come cheap. The Phoenix's power is no joke, mind you, but the hangover is just as brutal. It's like an all-nighter of arcane blasting. He's barely conscious, and then boom, he collapses right there on the scorching earth. Ernyan rushes over, catching him just in time. "You all right, Demon King?" she asks, totally concerned. Then he mentions how her knees are literally burning on the superheated ground. "Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark." "Isn't it hot?" he chirps. "Don't worry, healing is my thing. I can handle a little crispy knee," the princess reassures him. She realizes something. Our boy Burzé can't show weakness, not with his feral orcs potentially watching. Gotta maintain that Demon King aura, right? Burzé gives her a silent, defiant glare, but eventually gives in. "Yeah, don't worry," he grumbles, reluctantly agreeing to a brief rest. Meanwhile, across the land, things are going absolutely wild. A newspaper headline screams, "Dozens of succubi invaded the royal palace. Classic demon shenanigans." The public naturally is losing its mind, demanding every single demon king be hunted down. We love a good witch hunt, don't we? In a lavish office, we meet Jason, the demon king of lies, a real schemer, angrily crumpling that very paper. "Lady Vivian," he growls, "I told you to lay low." But Vivian Blunt, the new succubus queen, full of herself, just scoffs. "I'm a queen," she says. "I give the orders." Jason tries to explain how her little stunt has put all humans on high alert, but Vivian couldn't care less. Heroes? Pfft, nothing to worry about, apparently. She sips her wine, cool as a cucumber, declaring heroes are just prey. Her underlings running into them? Just bad luck, folks. Nothing to see here. Totally fed up, Jason just sighs. "Why on earth did you send down such a brainless seductress?" Vivian strikes a dramatic pose, indignant. "Not just a seductress," she declares, "but the ultimate seductress. I am the succubus queen." Jason, completely ignoring her tantrum, gets right to business. "Lady Vivian," he asks, "how many heroes do you think are actually in this dimension?" Vivian guesses maybe 10, like in her previous dimension. She's baffled why he's making such a fuss over a handful of heroes. Jason just gives a knowing look. "You really haven't heard anything from the Archduke, have you?" he says. "If you had, you wouldn't be here." Then he drops the bombshell. 4,732. That's the number of heroes currently registered in the Hero Guild. Vivian is absolutely floored. She shrieks out, "There has to be a limit." Jason coolly replies, "If this dimension had a limit, it would already be conquered." He tells her flat out, "It's not bad luck. Encountering heroes is just a random Tuesday in this dimension." Vivian's face contorts in pure terror. It finally hits her. The Archduke completely played her like a fiddle. Flashback time. We see the Archduke, a real snake, promising Vivian the next Archduke seat if she conquers Arene. Classic bait and switch. The one condition, keep a close eye on Burzé. The plot thickens. Back in the present, Jason's smile just widens. "Did you also get a secret order to spy on Burzé?" he asks, all-knowing. Vivian starts to stammer, but he cuts her off. "Oh, I know all about it," he says. "It's a method I use myself from time to time." He raises a finger, purple energy crackling around it. "Usually when I'm using a disposable informant," he explains, "and plan to discard them. Safe to say, the job has terrible benefits. Before Vivian can even blink, he moves with blinding speed. Yikes. He slams her face onto the ornate table with a brutal crash. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Looming over her, he snarls. "In other words, you've been discarded, you stupid succubus queen." His eyes glow with a terrifying green light. "Just obey whatever I say, without question. Got it?" Broken and completely terrified, she can only whimper, "Understood." A bit later, Jason sits alone, calmly reviewing the news. What a psycho. Headlines are a hot mess. Daphne is dead. Burzé's tower is exposed, and the world is basically trembling in its boots. This isn't the picture I wanted, Jason mutters to himself. Vivian? Just a minor problem he can easily manipulate. The real issue for Jason is someone else entirely. Yeah, the real problem is Berza, that arrogant black flame dragon. Our main character, folks. Wanted to leave Berza alone for a while longer, but hey, circumstances change. His hand is forced. His expression turns deadly serious, a sinister glow in his eye. I have to get rid of him. Yeah, somebody just got moved to the top of the hit list. All right, let's jump back to Berza. He blinks awake and his fiery red hair is on full display. Where is he? Leanne is right there, ladling some soup, her elemental spirits cheerfully floating around. Demon King, you're awake, she chirps. Soup's ready. Berza, ignoring the food, asks where they are. Is this even his tower? She proudly confirms it's the 4th floor, now completely redesigned as her own cozy little house. Of course it is. He was only out for like 10 minutes. Ernian assures him she snuck him in while Gordon was away. Nobody saw a thing, apparently. Berza is completely shocked. He should be wiped out, but instead his body is overflowing with strength. What just happened? Suddenly, Neiruniel appears, explaining she shared her mana with him. Berza can barely believe a spirit just healed a Demon King. She explains that because he absorbed the Phoenix, his body can now actually accept spirit mana. That's how he used their spirit comms earlier. Convenient, right? Neiruniel then totally freaks out, blushing like crazy. Not only touching my chest, she yells, but now a hug too. I'm gonna die. Typical anime reaction, y'all. Berza, completely ignoring her, tells Ernian his collapse is now their secret. A Demon King can't show weakness after all. Gotta protect the brand. Ernian agrees to keep it secret, but of course, she has one condition. Always a catch. With huge sly smile, she says, grant me one wish next time. Oh boy, what's she gonna ask for? Berza casually agrees as long as it doesn't cause trouble. Ernian celebrates with a cheerful, yay, this will absolutely cause trouble, we all know it. Just then, the moment is totally interrupted by a frantic call from Gordon. Demon Lord, we have a big problem. Ah, here we go again. Gordon spills the bad news. Hilderin knows their location, and they're launching another massive hero expedition. Uh-oh. He pulls up a newspaper article from Helen. It reports Daphne revealed the tower's location in his final report, before his death. Berza is absolutely furious. He specifically targeted any carrier pigeons, so Daphne must have sent the report before their confrontation. Clever boy. He then realizes Daphne never got to report his identity as Pale, the Phoenix owner. Maybe a blessing in disguise? Our boy is already strategizing. Ernian reviews the grim report. This isn't just another attack. This is the largest hero expedition ever planned. Ever. Like ever. All 10 of the 10-star heroes are gathering, and they've got a full 6 months to prepare for the assault. Talk about a super team. Berza knows exactly what this means. His tower's location is out in the open, and his usual cheap tricks won't cut it anymore. He's cornered. Avalanches? Luring monsters? Forget about it. Those won't even scratch an army of this caliber. They're basically walking plot armor. In just 6 months, they'll be at his doorstep, fresh and ready to rumble. Tick-tock, Demon King. He's hit with a chilling memory from his last life, being completely toyed with, then brutally killed. That's a rough flashback, my friends. The pressure is immense, sweat drips down his face as he desperately searches for a way out. Any way to break this insane predicament. Just as he's about to spiral into despair, Ernian pipes up. Demon King, I have a way, something only one of your subordinates can do. Oh, she's cooking. Berza is completely thrown. She's calling him her dark egoist. The name is so utterly ridiculous. His phoenix red hair literally reverts to black. Gotta love that reaction. He can't help but laugh. The name is so absurdly childish, all his tension just melts away. That's one way to relieve stress. Completely calm now, he tells Ernian they'll start planning immediately. He vows he won't fall again before getting his revenge. This Demon King is ready for round 2. Ernian lays out her master plan. The way to stop this massive hero expedition is by kidnapping her younger sister, Elena. Berza is completely blindsided. What? Our Demon King is shook. Princess Ernian, all fired up, grabs Berza's hand. Hey, she declares. Let's save Elena and end this hero journey. Berza, still processing, realizes something important. Elena is the 13th princess of Hilderin. Wait, isn't that who he was originally supposed to kidnap? Ernian confirms it. Elena is her younger sister, and they're practically inseparable despite different mothers. She just heard the news. Elena was abducted by the adamant Demon King. Ernian is super worried about her little sis. Berza, ever the realist, points out that Demon Kings aren't usually known for their gentle touch, but Ernian quickly cuts him off. That's not it. Then she drops a bombshell. Elena is also a child of the World Tree, born from the same forbidden mana-boosting magic. But here's the kicker. Elena's mana sensitivity is too intense. She's got a super fragile body, can't even go outside, let alone learn magic. We got modern Rapunzel over here. Ernyan's got a genius plan though. In Berze's tower, where mana is super scarce, Elena could finally learn to control her immense power. She could become a total powerhouse, Ernyan says, radiating confidence. I guarantee it. Berze weighs his options. Another powerhouse like Ernyan? That would be a game changer. But there's a catch. Rescuing a princess is totally a hero's job. Ernyan just gives him a knowing look. Then why don't we just have a hero do it? Berze breaks into a nervous sweat. This girl is a natural at giving orders. Ernyan just winks playfully. Hey, I am a princess after all. Fine, he'll play her game. Berze contacts Gordon, ordering him to tell Hillenkargel to organize a hero party to rescue the 13th princess. Gordon, naturally, completely loses it. Saving another princess? Can this dude catch a break? Meanwhile, at the Tower of Adamant, a hulking demon king Ugar, the titan with a tiny brain, confronts Berze. He's heard another hero party is headed straight for his tower. Ugar sneers down at our demon king. Did you come here to beg for help? He booms. You idiot who insults the Demon King's standard? Berze, now rocking his demonic horns and wings, calmly corrects him. He's not here for a favor. He's here to do Ugar a favor. Turns out, a hero's journey is targeting Ugar's tower. After Ugar's initial, what? Berze lays out his simple solution. Just move the 13th princess to the first floor. The heroes will grab her and bounce. Easy peasy. Ugar calls BS, claiming he hasn't heard a thing. Berze coolly fires back. And that, Titan, is why your intellect has its limits. That does it. Enraged, Ugar activates his Titan magic, growing to a colossal size. He's ready to crush this arrogant piece of trash. Berze remains completely unfazed as the giant looms. He just starts listing the names of all the royals Ugar has kidnapped. None of them, he explains, are important enough to trigger a hero's journey. No one is ever coming to rescue them. Talk about a reality check. Ugar starts sweating, completely shocked. How the hell do you know that? He stammers. With a wicked grin, Berze mentally drops the bomb. These are the exact same royals Ugar kidnapped in his past life. Then he asks if Ugar's tower isn't his top priority. He dismisses the fake hero journey story. Berze casually tells Ugar it won't hurt him to just keep one princess on the first floor. Ugar is still suspicious. Why are you trying to help me? What do you want? Berze's expression turns sinister. Gotcha, he thinks. He knows Ugar is way too weak to face the heroes alone in this dimension. He knows Ugar is secretly terrified, which is why he only kidnaps unimportant royals. It's the exact same cowardly behavior from before Berze regressed. And Berze knows exactly what that big coward is going to do next. Try to cling to a certain man to survive. A man who will become Ugar's light, Jason Kokmun. Out loud, Berze claims he wants nothing. He just thinks a great demon king like Ugar deserves to live a little longer. The simple-minded giant is left completely speechless. But his true plan is now in motion. He'll take Jason's place as Ugar's savior, pull the giant to his side, and neutralize one of his rival's pawns. Bro is cooking. With that settled, Berze teleports to the Golden Moon Merchant Guild headquarters. Now rocking his red hair and pale disguise, Berze confirms Ugar is dealt with. He asks Hillen if everything is ready for the hero's journey. Hillen, brimming with confidence and surrounded by his party, declares they can depart at any moment. Archmage Roselle is also there. She mentions she only took over the map because Hillen asked, and she's climbed the Tower of Adamant before. The Scarlet Hawk Mercenary Guild is totally fired up, cheering that their savior is here and vowing to show their true strength. Berze reassures them they'll be enough. It's just a first-floor mission, after all. Then he turns his attention to Granada, asking about the elf slaves. He also spots Aman. Granada reports that all the elves have been rescued and sworn loyalty to him. Jetosun, meanwhile, is already angling for a bonus. Of course he is. Berze tosses a bag of coins to the greedy merchant and formally announces the mission. We're going to rescue the 13th princess of Hilderan. Later, in a massive underground warehouse, Berze stands before his newly assembled army of elves. He confirms with Granada that they all swore an oath of loyalty in the name of the sacred world tree. One of the rescued elves speaks up, expressing her gratitude. She says it's an honor to serve the great Granada. Berze gives a wicked smile. Good, he says. Congratulations on becoming subordinates of the Demon King of Blazing Fire. He unleashes his demonic aura. The elves scream in terror. Berze dryly asks Granada why they always have the same reaction. He supposes it's just weird to see a Demon King casually walking around. The elves turn on Granada, completely outraged. He calmly admits he's already sworn his loyalty to the Demon King, in the name of the World Tree. Outraged, one of the elves screams, accusing him of betraying their sacred oath. Bro's reputation just fell off a cliff. Granada roars back. This is all to get revenge on the humans. I can never forget the disgrace I suffered. The word revenge hangs heavy in the air. The other elves fall silent, remembering the horrors they endured. Flashbacks show them being tormented, scarred, shivering in cold, dark cells, all at the hands of their human captors. The shared memory of that cruelty spreads like wildfire. They did the same to me. Me too. Their anger shifts from Granada to their true enemies. One by one they stand, eyes burning with hatred. I stand with Granada. Let's get revenge on the humans. Burzu watches coolly. Even the purest elves can be corrupted once they've tasted the cruelty of humanity. With his new spy network secured, he contacts Gordon, orders him to create a route for the elven women to infiltrate human society. The clock is ticking. In 6 months, the 10-star heroes will gather to kill him. He has to strengthen his tower and gather allies. Sowing chaos to delay the heroes is vital. With only 6 months left, Burze hardens his resolve. I will survive, no matter what it takes. Alright, Burz made his move, but what about the so-called heroes? Deep within the Tower of Adamant, a hero party led by Hillen Cargill is making their way through the first floor. They casually stroll past piles of monster corpses, clearly unimpressed. Suddenly, a shout echoes, Hillen Cargill. I found her. And who did they find? None other than Princess Elena Hilderan, the 13th princess, unconscious inside a cage. Princess secured, Hillen orders Granada to carry her out. As they leave, the heroes can't help but wonder, why would the Demon King leave such a high-value hostage on the first floor? It's almost like he wanted them to take her. Hillen, ever the humble hero, just boasts that the Demon King is clearly terrified of Razel and they should head back. Rosal Sharnt, the party's one-eyed mage, isn't buying it. Hillen Cargill, she says, you're acting a bit strange. She points out his attitude is a 180-degree turn from when he was in her raiding party. Back then, Bro was a glory-hungry maniac, always pushing to the Demon King's throne room, no matter the cost, just for clout. Now, he's surprisingly calm, even level-headed. What gives? Hillen tries to laugh it off, but inside he's absolutely panicking. He wonders if his newfound calm is because the Demon King already spoiled the entire plot for him. Roselle just gives a small, knowing smile, admitting it's not a bad change, whether it's her imagination or not. Later that night, the Hilderan Kingdom throws a grand banquet, all in the hero's honor. The King of Hilderan, a real politician at heart, declares Hillen Cargill prevented a catastrophe and saved the royal family's dignity. As such, the king declares Hillen worthy of a royal reward. He piles on the praise, calling Hillen the true hero of Hilderan. Hillen, for once, humbly deflects the praise, crediting Razel's assistance for the mission's success. The king, loving the optics, commends his humility, calling him a fine example for the masses. When Hillen asks about Princess Elena, the king assures him she's resting in her chambers, under Titan's security. But the king, ever the schemer, misinterprets Hillen's interest, already wondering if the hero has feelings for his 13th princess. The king's imagination is working overtime today. A chilling smile spreads across his face. Marrying them off would bind Hillen to the royal family, making the princess far more useful than he ever expected. Bro is already plotting. The king raises his glass for a toast, declaring this a day to remember. He dramatically announces that Hillen Cargill crushed the terrifying Tower of Adamant and rescued his beloved daughter Elena. He roars that no one shall underestimate Hilderan, for it stands above the heavens. The crowd erupts in cheers. May Hilderan prosper forever. Long live Hilderan, long live the king. While the heroes are busy partying, a very different plan is being set in motion. Across town, at an annex tower separate from the main palace, something is brewing. Our girl Ernyan, in a very conspicuous disguise and a face recognition interfering mask, seizes her chance. With the heroes distracted, it's go time. She moves like a shadow with Burze, swiftly and quietly disabling guards to avoid detection. Their stealthy approach is cut short. Intruder! A guard screams, and an alarm bell begins to ring. Ernyan, ever the dramatic one, yells, "Don't underestimate me," and blasts the guards with a massive wave of water. The guards are swept away by the water spirit. Their commander, horrified, yells, demanding to know who they are. Ernyan strikes a ridiculous pose. I am serving the Demon King of Blazing Fire, the Dark Spiritist. Burze, as always, is deeply unimpressed. Then she blunders, mentioning her companion is from Ergest. She panics, realizing she totally flubbed her intro and was supposed to introduce her king. Burze, thoroughly annoyed, decides to step in. The commander recognizes Burze from Ergest, identifying him as one of the 4 heavenly kings. He demands to know if Burze is here to kidnap the princess again. Did Burze seriously think no one would notice the powerful magic surrounding the windows? He also correctly assumes Burze can't unleash his full demonic energy without alerting the heroes at the banquet. Burze casually agrees, admitting it would indeed be a pain if the heroes noticed. Then, a menacing glint in his eye, he asks, "But do you really think you can take me? You dare?" Before they can react, an unseen force blasts through the guards, knocking them all unconscious without a single fatality. Casual Demon King flex, you know? The sudden chaos awakens Princess Elena in her chambers. Berze stands calmly amidst the fallen bodies, explaining he controlled his power to avoid collapsing the tower. He then turns to the last man standing, the commander. The commander is utterly terrified, realizing the royal family's best guards were no match for Berze. He tries to make a break for it, hoping to retreat and call for a hero. His escape is cut short when the very stones of the stairs reassemble, magically trapping his feet. Ernion, beaming, apologizes as her spirits pin the commander down. The Dark Spiritist has got this covered. With all guards neutralized, Ernion can't help but muse about the kingdom's dignity. Imagine, the princess kidnapped again less than a day after being rescued. Berze grabs the door handles. I'm really looking forward to this, he says. I've come to kidnap you, 13th Princess, Elena Hilderan. But as the doors swing open, he's greeted not by fear, but by a high-pitched shriek of pure joy. Ernion! Princess Elena launches herself through the air, tackling the disguised Ernion in a desperate sisterly hug. Ernion! It really is you. The sisters have a tearful reunion. Berze is just standing there like, what the heck? He is utterly baffled. I'm wearing a jamming mask. How did you know? This man is clearly not used to emotional nuance. Elena looks up at her sister. I read the letter you sent. I knew the only person who would bring me back to the Demon King was you. Berze can only wonder if everyone in the Hilderan family is this strange. He then asks about the letter she gave to Hillen, which surprises Ernion. He just dryly states that of course he knew it all happened in his tower. Plot twist. He wasn't worried about the letter's contents because he was the one who ordered his mind-controlled vassal Hillen to read it in the first place. Mind blown. With the princess now securely unrescued, Berze sprouts demonic wings enveloped in a purple aura. All right then, let's head back, he says, ready to go. Back at the banquet, the festivities are interrupted as a panicked messenger stumbles in, barely able to speak. The king's golden goblet clatters to the floor as the terrible news hits. He roars in absolute fury, you useless fools, she's been kidnapped again? Oh, the humiliation, he screams, canceling the banquet, absolutely enraged at the double insult and the Demon King's sheer audacity. The king's rage echoes, but Berze is already back at his tower. He introduces his newest captive, Princess Elena, to the first floor. Elena, however, is completely unfazed by being a prisoner. She's just starstruck by the giant mana cannons, gasping, holy crap, did you really make these yourself? Roger the dwarf puffs out his chest with pride. Exactly! The blacksmithing on this floor is the work of none other than me. Elena eagerly asks if she can try making one. Roger immediately agrees to take her on as an assistant. Just like that, folks, another recruit joins the Demon King's army. She lets out a triumphant, yay! Just then, Princess Kaede, our favorite muscle-headed knight, walks in carrying a broken training scarecrow. She stops short, noticing the newcomer. Elena, however, is completely captivated. Why is the knight here so pretty? You can even tell how toned her body is under that armor. Oof, that's one intense compliment. Ernion chuckles. This is my younger sister, Elena. Kaede is stunned. What? Your sister? Ian explains that Elena was completely serious. Having been bedridden her entire life, she's experiencing everything for the first time. This means her compliments are genuine, which leaves Kaede thinking, so, I really am pretty? Well, at least someone thinks so. Meanwhile, Gordon is losing his mind. He can handle elves and heroes, but a child in the Demon King's tower? That's just too much. Berze dryly tells him, I didn't ask you to raise her. Suddenly, Elena's small voice asks, are you the assistant, Gordon? Gordon freezes, internally panicking that having a child around will tarnish the Demon King's image as a symbol of terror. But Elena continues, saying her sister told her all about him, how he prepares delicious meals, takes care of the whole tower, and works the hardest behind the scenes. Thank you so much, she says with a deep bow, for always helping my sister. Completely disarmed, Gordon's stunned into silence. Looks like the Demon King's top enforcer just got hit with a kindness attack. Elena turns back to her sister, ecstatic. Sis, I think I fit in perfectly. No monsters, everyone's kind, and I don't feel sick at all. Berze can only think she's already won them all over. This kid is a natural. Berze decides to test her. He asks what Ernion wrote about him in her letters. Elena stammers, trying to think of what to say. Before she can answer, a blushing Ernion shakes her head frantically and blurts out, she didn't say anything. Way to spill the tea, Ernion. Berze changes the subject, asking why Elena is suddenly healthy when she was supposedly too sick to stand. Ernion smiles. Ah, that's thanks to your tower, my lord. Berze is completely baffled. Wait, what? Ernion explains that Elena suffers from mana overload. She was born with a vast amount of mana just like her, but her body is too weak to handle it. However, the tower's high-density demonic energy naturally drains mana, just like it contaminates and weakens spirit herbs. So, the Demon King's pollution is actually good for her? Peak irony. Berze puts it together. Elena's mana was being drained in Ugar's tower too, which is why she was always coughing. Exactly, Ernion confirms. If she stays here, she can make a full recovery. Looks like Bears' tower is the new sanatorium. The 10-star heroes arriving in 6 months, Berzy asks Ernian if she can get Elena ready. She replies that while Archmage might be tough, turning her into a high-level mage is no problem. That will be enough, Berzy declares, assigning the 13th princess to the 3rd floor under Ernian's care. Ernian has one last request. Please don't let Elena participate directly in combat. She's still too young to see blood. Sis basically said, the PTSD update can wait. The real reason Ernian wants to destroy Hilderin, it was all for her little sister. Another layer to Ernian's character. He agrees. Make sure you raise her well, so I can make that happen. Later, Berzy shows Gordon the brand new 5th floor strategy meeting room. Talk about a glow-up for the Demon King's HQ. He explains he used the points from kidnapping Elena to expand the tower. To deal with the 10-star heroes, they need a more systematic approach. He gives Gordon permission to expand the room further if needed. Gordon is so thrilled he can barely contain his excitement. This guy is just a big nerd for blueprints. Berzy lays out his two-pronged strategy: strengthen the tower and delay the heroes' gathering. He asks about the elf spies, and Gordon confirms the plan is proceeding without a hitch. Their meeting is cut short by an urgent holographic call from Krutu. My lord, we have a problem. At that very moment, in the distant Akan kingdom, panic erupts. The princess has disappeared again. In the throne room, the king is presented with a letter found in his daughter's room. He sighs, looking at a childish drawing. Our princess Lavinia is at it again. She went looking for ingredients for her chimeras. The king realizes there's only one place she could have gone. He orders a search party sent to Ergest immediately to bring Lavinia back safely. In the snowy mountains of Ergest, a brutal battle is already underway as a massive skeletal beast slaughters Berz's feral orcs. Yikes, that's not a friendly welcome. Riding atop this terrifying chimera is Lavinia Akan, the 3rd princess of the Akan kingdom. She's here for one thing: ingredients, not world domination, just some monster parts for her hobbies. She looks out over the valley, seeing a massive horde of orcs, and thinks, there are so many. Perfect for her collection, no doubt. Krutu's report comes in live. A human mage is leading monsters invading their territory, and she's proving very difficult to stop. Berzy recognizes her instantly, Lavinia Akan. Gordon adds that she's the only chimera creator in Aren, a skill not even common in the demon realm. Berzy knows she's on a whole other level. He saw her power himself before his regression. In his previous life, she kidnapped almost all his vassals, and her solo invasion nearly caused his tower to collapse. Talk about a one-woman army. She single-handedly led a legion of chimeras against him, earning a fearsome nickname, the One-Woman Hero's Journey. Bro is facing a whole new kind of threat. The problem? She's supposed to be 3 years away from starting her rampage. Berzy suspects Draxon's death unleashed her ahead of schedule. He knows she'll never stop until she gets the ingredients she wants. He wonders why she's targeting Ergest. Gordon gives him the bad news: her rank is high. If they kill or kidnap her, the entire Akan kingdom will invade. Oopsie. Facing the Hilderin hero's journey is already overwhelming. If they have to fight the Akan kingdom too, they'll never win. This is a real lose-lose situation. Berzy makes a quick decision. He orders Krutu to lure her away from the tower, forbidding a full-scale battle, while Gordon assists from the command room. As he walks away, a chilling thought occurs to him: an untouchable princess invading his territory. This is exactly how Draxon died. He stops dead in his tracks. The situation is way too similar. Could it be? Someone sent Lavinia Akan after him, just to screw him over. Bro, you just got played at your own game. Bro, Berzy just figured out he's in a trap. So as Princess Lavinia's monster army rolls up, he tells Krutu and the feral orcs to peace out, head east. No way Lavinia found him alone. Someone's definitely pulling the strings here. And Berzy knows exactly who it is: Jason Kokman. Berzy glares, making a mental note that Jason is going to pay if he's behind this whole mess. Meanwhile, Krutu isn't running. He's squaring off against this giant skull-headed chimera, buying his tribe precious time. Sure, his tribe got away safely. He pictures them happy, out of danger, sacrificing himself for his people. A small price, he thinks. But then, the chimera blasts him with this insane red energy. As he goes down, Krutu murmurs an apology to Berzy, begging him to protect the tribe. Suddenly, kaboom! Purple flames erupt, swallowing the whole battlefield. Krutu looks up, totally shocked. He knows those flames. Berzy swoops down, demonic wings spread wide. Did I give you permission to die? He asks. Krutu can barely choke out "my lord" as Berzy lands, ripping into him for trying to off himself. Krutu apologizes, ready for a beating, but Berzy just tells him to keep his head up. He tells Krutu that loyal dudes like him are super rare. Krutu's speechless, tearing up. From a distance, Princess Lavinia Akan, the material girl herself, is staring, whispering, "Demon, King." Berzy eyeballs the massive Chimera Legion. Okay, new plan. This is a perfect chance to thin them out. Just then, a shout cuts through the blizzard. "Sister!" A search party rolls up. Berze realizes they're here for Lavinia. Leading the charge is Kane Akan, 5th prince of the Akan kingdom, still yelling for his sis. Berze ain't trying to beef with a whole kingdom. He drops a final warning. Next time, you won't be so lucky. With a final burst of demonic energy, he and crew 2 vanish. Lavinia is left staring at empty snow. Prince Kane's crew arrives where the magic went off, but finds nothing. Well, almost nothing. A tiny doll-like chimera holds up a note. It says, "Don't look for me." Classic Lavinia. Kane loses his mind, screaming in frustration as his retainers tell him to retreat. He grudgingly agrees, convinced his sister wasn't beaten or snatched by the demon king of blazing fire. Right, bro. Back in his tower, Berze thinks about Lavinia. Dude knows from his past life that this psycho is obsessed with Demon King flesh, so she won't quit. Gordon reports the Akan scouts bounced. Berze instantly figures out Lavinia, obsessed with materials, must have ditched her own search party. Gordon realizes this means if Lavinia disappears now, the Akan kingdom can't blame them. Loophole. Gordon's eyes gleam with a sudden, wild idea. So, we launch a full-scale attack right now. Berze is totally caught off guard by his usually panicky subordinate's sudden bloodlust. Whoa, Gordon. It's logical, but a weird feeling makes him hesitate. Finally, he decides, no, I'll face her myself. But Lavinia is not alone. Jason Kochman is watching, unseen, through tiny chimera eyes hidden in the beast's fur. Jason thinks Berze is more cautious than he expected, coming out personally. This guy thinks he's so smart, but Berze calls him out directly. You're listening, aren't you, Jason Kochman? Berze says he can sense Jason's aura. He realizes this other demon king gave Lavinia his own demonic flesh for the chimeras. From his fancy throne, Jason is impressed. But even if you realized, what can you do? Berze is now staring down a chimera army, each beast as tough as a high-ranking monster. Talk about being outnumbered. As he preps for battle, he senses something else, a second aura from the lead chimera. Uh-oh. Gordon breaks in with urgent intel from Hillen. Droxen's corpse, the demon king of beasts, was given to Lavinia Akan. The horrifying truth hits Berze. Even Droxen's corpse was used as material? Holy moly. Jason confirms it, boasting that the chimera can briefly copy Droxen's insane speed. That's just cheating. Figures since Berze converted most of his magic points to cold hard cash, he's too weak to win this fight. Pay to win, literally. Worse, Jason has spies on the other chimeras. If just one gets into the tower while Berze is busy, he can map it, making a perfect strategy. He's using the exact same playbook heroes use against demon kings. What a hypocrite. He issues a final challenge. Now, what will you do, Demon King of Blazing Fire, Berze Deus? Our guy knows he's been completely played. He's in the exact same impossible spot Droxen was. No turning back now. It's all or nothing. Gordon absolutely loses it, screaming through the communicator that disarming himself in front of those chimeras is straight-up suicide. Watching from afar, Jason is floored. What on earth is Berze planning? Instead of fighting, Berze stands before the massive chimera and talks directly to Princess Lavinia. He offers her a deal. He tells her to ditch her contract with Jason, the Demon King of Lies. In exchange, he'll give her his own horn. Wild. He's dead serious, swearing an oath on the Demon King's standards. Talk about a power move. Princess Lavinia, never one to waste time, snatches up the deal right then and there. Berze, maybe a little surprised by her sheer enthusiasm, nervously seals the pact. Poof. A swirl of dark magic, and they're back outside Berze's snowy tower. Lavinia immediately demands her new horn. Berze just tells her to chill and follow him in. She looks suspicious, but he confidently reminds her about his binding oath on the Demon King's standard. No way he'd back out, right? He then leads the princess and her giant chimera right through his fortress gates. Talk about a grand entrance. Meanwhile, over with the Demon King of Lies, Jason, he's absolutely losing his mind. He's cackling like a madman, knowing Berze just pulled the ultimate prank, treating the sacred standard like a total joke. Berze's been a pain, sure, but Jason's unfazed, already cooking up his next move against him. Back at Berze's tower, his crew is busy getting ready for the inevitable battles ahead. As Berze tours Lavinia through the tower, she's totally confused, asking about her chimera ingredients. Priorities, folks. Berze cheekily informs her that he never actually promised any other ingredients, just that one horn. The other tower residents are completely dumbfounded, the infamous princess just strolling through their home, wild. In the throne room, Berze casually tosses a massive horn her way, saying, "Here's that horn I promised." But Lavinia absolutely blows up. "This isn't Berze's horn," she screams. Berze just smiles, admitting he cares zero about the standard. No way he's giving his actual horn to a human. Feeling utterly betrayed, Lavinia snaps. Her monstrous chimera army floods the room as she screams, "Die!" Her anger management class clearly got cancelled. Gordon leaps to protect his master. Berze, cool as a cucumber, just tells him to stand down. He explains to the furious princess, it's not his horn, sure, but he infused it with equally potent power. Golden energy erupts from the horn. Lavinia's eyes light up, realizing it's a perfect chimera ingredient. Rage vanishes instantly, replaced by childlike glee. She immediately starts begging for more. Classic Lavinia. Birze offers a new deal. More power, but she has to swallow a mind control orb, an Armani sphere. After a brief moment of defiance, she eagerly accepts. Just like that, she's his new subordinate. Birze is honestly a bit overwhelmed by her wild enthusiasm. He agrees to give her the ingredient and she celebrates big time. And just like that, Princess Lavinia Akan, a seriously powerful force, has joined Birze's squad. With her Chimera army and his other allies, Birze is finally ready to tackle those overwhelming hero expeditions. Krutu erased all battle traces. No way the Akan kingdom comes looking for their wild princess. To tie up the last loose end, he makes Lavinia send a letter home. Her dad gets a crude drawing. She's found lots of ingredients and not to look for her. Typical kid stuff. Completely used to his daughter's eccentric chaos, the king decides if she's happy, he'll just let her be. He even takes full responsibility for whatever havoc she's about to unleash in the Urgest Mountains. What a dad, right? Meanwhile, in the frosty tower of intense cold, Reina Sordin is genuinely surprised Birze actually helped someone. She's talking with Ugar, who reports Birze warned him of a hero attack. This makes her wonder if Birze is more trustworthy than Jason. Ugar agrees with Reina. Jason has history, but admits there's just something he can't trust about the guy. You know the feeling. Reina explains, they, plus Draxon, only survived the Demon King graveyard because of Jason. He's got credit. But then she drops a chilling fact. All rookie Demon Kings were easily wiped out by heroes. Jason could have saved them, but didn't. The horrifying implication hits. Ugar connects the dots, asking if Jason was behind Draxon's death too. Reina tells him to use his own brain. She doesn't trust Birze either, but she's got a plan to find the truth. Her plan involves Vivian, the Demon Queen of Lust, currently flying invisible over a dwarven city. Sneaky. Reina contacts Vivian, tasking her with kidnapping the dwarf princess to finally uncover Draxon's killer. Vivian arrived after Draxon died. Reina explains, making her the perfect neutral investigator. Solid logic. Vivian cockily accepts the job, but demands Reina say the magic words first. You know how some people are. A mortified Reina is forced to beg, sending Vivian into a fit of triumphant evil laughter. She really loves this. With her ego stroked, Vivian gets serious. Her own secret Archduke mission, find Draxon's true killer. She wanders through the dwarf royal palace, totally confident her invisibility makes her completely undetectable. Foreshadowing, much? She boasts no one, unless it's a top-tier hero, could possibly notice her. As she rounds the next corner, bam! She's face-to-face with Hillen Cargill, the hero himself. She stammers, asking how he can see her. Hillen just smiles, sword crackling with electricity, calling her out by name. Busted. He immediately blasts her with a powerful lightning attack. Vivian's left wondering why a hero of his caliber is on simple guard duty. She finally snaps. Vivian roars in pure frustration. I can't take this anymore. This filthy dimension. Turns out, Hillen Cargill knew exactly who Vivian was. He's a hero after all, and intel from the Demon King himself confirmed his mission. Guard the dwarf princess, because an abduction was definitely on the menu. And look at that, right inside the palace he finds his target. Time to take down the Demon Queen of Lust and pad my hero record, he declares, electricity crackling. Vivian is not having any of it. You think I'd lose in a dump like this? She retorts, already scheming. She smashes through some massive doors, screaming for the dwarf princess. Then a fiery voice booms from behind her. Were you looking for me? Vivian freezes. She definitely was not expecting this. Because this isn't just any royal. Princess Louise immediately brings a crackling axe down. This thing is a princess? What do you take me for, brat? Vivian yells, clearly in over her head. Just as Vivian tries to process that, Hillen pops back up. This place will be your grave, Demon Queen. Oh, you know, just typical hero stuff. Vivian just can't catch a break. A hero guarding a princess, and the princess is swinging an axe? What the heck is wrong with this screwball dimension? She screams. We feel you, Vivian. Trapped between a hero and a raging dwarf royal, she dodges like crazy. This is so annoying. Hillen, ever the professional, grinds his teeth, refusing to let her escape. With a flash of blue light, his blade slices through her shadowy escape attempt. The dust settles, and just like that, the Demon Queen of Lust is gone. Vivian has officially left the server. Louise, however, is absolutely beside herself. What? She escaped? Is that all you can do? Just stand there? She rages at a very calm Hillen. But Hillen just gives a subtle, knowing look. Mission accomplished. Later, back at Birze's icy tower, Hillen reports in. Just like you predicted, the Demon Queen of Lust showed up. Birze, unfazed, confirms he knew it all along. So, how's it looking over there, he asks, ever the strategist. Hillen admits he didn't quite take her down, but he did secure the loot. And what glorious loot it is, the Demon Queen of Lust's actual tail. Talk about a souvenir. Meanwhile, in the stormy Eastern Triangle Strait, a colossal four-armed sea monster, Crutalord, rises from the depths. And facing it, Pallav Disrod, the pink Speedo Chad, a 10-star hero laughing maniacally. "This is just the beginning," he screams. But that confidence quickly evaporates as a massive energy blast descends on Crutalord. Wait, stop," Pallav stammers. Too late, the beast is instantly vaporized in a colossal explosion of golden light. The attack came from 10-star hero Razel Charnt. She sighs, "Job done," clearly saving Pallav's pink Speedo. Pallav, of course, is furious. "Roselle, why'd you butt into my fight? I was right in the blast zone." Roselle just calmly tells him they've been summoned to Ergest. He gets excited to fight calamity-grade monsters. Roselle snaps back. "Don't get your hopes up, you crazy freak. We're only there to bag the Demon King." Roselle calls him a masochist for fighting without mana. Pallav just grins. "You have no idea how good this feels. Some guys, huh?" He notices her magic got stronger and immediately challenges her to a duel. Classic Pallav. Pallav then asks how she found his secret spot. Someone ratted him out, apparently. "Naturally," she says with a grim look, "the Hero Guild Master." Speaking of the devil, back at the Hero Guild, a mysterious silhouetted figure addresses Hillen Cargill. The Guild Master praises Hillen's rapid rise, defeating Draxon, stopping the Hilderan kidnapping. Bro is cooking, for sure. After careful consideration, the guild appoints him an Argan. This is a small, powerful council that shapes the guild's entire future. Huge deal, folks. Hillen can barely believe it. An ordinary boy from a backwater village, now this high up the ladder. He reaches for the ceremonial sword, ambition burning. Just a little further, he vows, "I, Hero Hillen Cargill, will fulfill my duty as an Argan. I will become the greatest hero in history." Okay, big words, Hillen. His grand moment is cut short by a gruff voice. Since when did that rookie become such a big shot? It's Pallav and Roselle. Pallav immediately pats Hillen's shoulder. "Congrats on 2 Demon Kings, rookie. How about a spar?" The guildmaster's voice cuts in. He's gathered them for a grave mission. Pallav, ever the charmer, points at the screen. "This better be one hell of a mission or don't expect to see tomorrow." The guildmaster is totally unfazed. "Don't worry, Pallav Disrod. This mission will definitely satisfy your urges." Their mission, forcibly recall 7 10-star heroes stuck in the Gispain Empire's brutal war of succession. "Do whatever is necessary," he commands. "The guild will cover them, because the hero's journey always takes top priority." Pallav is absolutely thrilled. "So you're saying we can beat the crap out of other 10-star heroes?" Razel just calls him gross, which, fair. Hillen, though, is straight up panicking. All 10 stars gathering? This means the hero's journey is starting way too early. Demon King is his ticket to becoming the greatest hero, and he cannot let him lose before then. Back at Berze's tower, he gets Hillen's report. The hero's journey schedule is moving up. Hillen confirms the guild gave no reason for the sudden, massive shift. Berze processes this. Too sudden, too manufactured. He immediately suspects his rival. "Don't tell me. Has Jason made his move?" Hillen explains the acceleration plan. Interfere directly in the Gispain Empire's war of succession. The war is a brutal, decades-long tradition where royal heirs hire mercenaries and heroes, fighting for the crown with their lives on the line. It usually lasts 6 months, and 7 10-star heroes are already recruited as mercenaries. Yikes. But with a powerhouse like Pallav Disrod involved, this war could be over in weeks, gathering all 10 stars way ahead of schedule. Jason or not, Berze knows he's out of time. He has to act now. Next phase. Build a golem. Roger is floored. An ancient weapon? Berze reveals he fought golems in his previous life and knows their weakness. He assigns Lavinia to help Roger, but she's confused why. Reason? A very special reward, the Demon Queen of Lust's tail. Lavinia is instantly, ridiculously on board. Go figure. With that sorted, Berze checks in on the princesses, asking Ernyan about her sister Elena. Ernyan happily reports Elena's mana is draining steadily and she'll start basic magic training tomorrow. On it! As Berze's plans accelerate, fiery phoenix feathers drift down, a symbol of his rapidly growing power. With grand phoenix wings, Berze tells Gordon, the panicking retainer, to hold down the fort. Gordon is naturally losing his mind. Berze turns, grim-faced, revealing his new plan. He's diving headfirst into the Gispain Empire's war of succession. Alright folks, Berze just declared war, and guess what? The Gispain Empire is already a mess. Utera Island is absolutely swarming with undead. This undead apocalypse, it's just the final boss stage of their bloody war of succession. Defeat Utera Island's high-tier necromancer. The battle rages on, with the undead army closing in fast on the first prince's forces. He coldly orders his retainers to their deaths, clearly viewing the throne as a blood-soaked prize. His 10-star hero, Naya Diaphron, warns him he'll run out of retainers. dude chill. But first Prince Rufus Jaspain, completely unfazed, asks if she dares to oppose his genius strategy. Yeah, no, she backs down. Smart move, Naya. Meanwhile, somewhere else, another royal is literally begging for their life as swords clash around. Second Prince Floan consoles his distraught sister, claiming he'd never ever harm her. 1 second later, his subordinate stabs her from behind. Brutal. Floan Jaspain grins, saying he'd never dirty his own hands on his way to becoming a noble emperor. He then orders his muscle, the 6th-star hero Ralph Schmidt, to clean up and track down the other heirs. Meanwhile, another royal contender is absolutely going ham, pulverizing undead with her bare fists. Meet Tiran Jaspain, 4th princess. Her plan: purge all her scrawny siblings when she becomes emperor. Her hero, Gillian Eint, is totally on board. Only the strong survive, apparently. As these brutal battles rage, the number of heirs quickly drops from 17 to 15. Oof. Deep in the forest, a terrified young boy is running for his life, screaming for zombies to stop following him. This is Noah Jaspain, the 17th prince. He's all alone, his retainers slaughtered, and his heroes, they dipped. All he has left are some random artifacts from his siblings, which he has no clue how to use. He trips on a vine, sending his precious loot scattering everywhere. As the groaning undead shuffle closer, he struggles to get up. He can't fall here. Not now. He knows if any of his ruthless siblings take the throne, a bloodbath will sweep the empire. Remembering his retainer's sacrifices, he clenches his fists, suddenly determined to stop his awful siblings. Because to him, an emperor is someone who protects everyone. But that hope is short-lived as a zombie faces him and the horde closes in. He's thinking, well, this is it, folks. He apologizes to his family and just gives up. He can't go on. Suddenly, a blinding flash of blue energy erupts, obliterating the zombies around him. A figure lands amidst the crackling electricity, clearly relieved he didn't miss the party. He asks Prince Noah if he's hurt anywhere. The kid looks up, stunned and teary-eyed. It's none other than the 10-star hero, Hillen Cargill. What an entrance! Just then, a single fiery feather drifts down from the sky. Uh-oh, another dramatic entrance incoming. A second figure descends in a swirl of fire and feathers, offering to help. For a price, of course. Desperate, the young prince screams, "I'll hire you, please." The man grins. Then it's a deal, kid. So, what's Burz's deal? A little while ago, he laid out his simple plan for Hillen. The goal: keep the 10-star heroes pinned down here, stalling so the war of succession never ends. To do that without getting any backlash, they need an employer. And Burzi knows just the perfect puppet prince. The 17th prince, Noah, a low-ranking crybaby and a coward. Literally the ideal puppet. Noah laments he has zero cash for famous heroes, only some random artifacts as payment. But Burzis smoothly tells him money isn't an issue. All he needs is Noah's pure sense of justice to save the empire. So wholesome, right? He echoes Noah's own words back. An emperor is someone who protects everyone, right? Total manipulation 101. And just like that, Phoenix Master Pale and Hero Hillen Cargill are officially employed by the 17th prince. Easy peasy. His plan is perfectly in motion. Humans are just too easy, my friend. An inspired Noah vows to protect everyone, while Hillen internally apologizes to the clueless kid. Oh, you sweet summer child. Elsewhere on the island, Raziel Sharn suddenly senses a powerful energy. Uh-oh. Phoenix's flame? Someone's playing with fire? Palav Disrod joins her, agreeing that someone interesting has just landed on the island. He stands triumphantly, stating this is way more fun than dealing with fledglings. What a Chad. He is annoyed. Why would Hillen call in reinforcements when he's already here? Rude. Rosal glares into the distance, wondering what on earth Hillen Cargill is even thinking. Deep in the forest, an isolated cave drips with moisture, hiding a dark, dark secret within. Burze leads his new recruit to this dripping, ominous cave. He remembers it from his past life, a secret spot for powerful familiars. And there he is, chilling on his throne, the necromancer of Utera Island. Yep, the final boss of this royal deathmatch. But Burze isn't here to help Noah win. Of course not. And so he drops the disguise, bye-bye Phoenix Wings, revealing his true demonic form. His plan: snatch the necromancer and drag this war out forever. The reveal sends Prince Noah into a complete tear-filled meltdown. My guy just hired a demon king, bro skipped the background check entirely. And get this, the necromancer looks just as shocked to see him. Inside this dripping cave, Burze faces down the necromancer, the self-proclaimed king of the undead. The necromancer just sneers, boasting about how he'd been hiding from demon kings. He didn't want to be anyone's puppet, you know. Declares, I don't serve anyone. I am the king of the undead. Then, a massive wave of Burze's demonic energy floods the chamber, completely dwarfing the necromancer's little light show. The necromancer is utterly stunned, literally stammering in disbelief. Burze, now cloaked in that same dark energy, just glares with pure contempt. So, he asks, do you want to die? Without a moment's hesitation, the necromancer drops to his knees. He's frantically pledging undying loyalty like his life depends on it. Burze just scoffs. He tells the guy that acting tough will only get him killed like a dog. Meanwhile, Hillen holds up a terrified 17th Prince Noah. Our guy is just now processing this horrifying truth. Noah realizes the owner of the Phoenix is a freaking demon king. And get this, the hero, Hillen Cargill, is his subordinate. Burzay then turns his attention to the prince. He offers Noah a chance to become his familiar too. Burzay thinks this could be a useful tool against the hero guild. I mean, making a prince his familiar? Solid move, my friend. But Prince Noah yells, "Don't make me laugh." He refuses to betray his subjects, the Empire, and all of humanity, no matter what. Noah screams he'd rather die than bow to any demon king. In a flash, Burzay forces a mind control orb straight down the prince's throat. Burzay smiles, saying he totally expected the refusal. Dark magic tendrils erupt from the prince's body as he collapses in pure agony. He sadistically tells Noah that more hate equals more pain. Just give up and swear loyalty, he urges. Even through the excruciating pain, Noah grits his teeth. He gasps, "I'd rather die than bow." The orb inside him glows intensely, completely overwhelming his will. The young prince finally passes out from the sheer strain. Hillen asks if the prince is dead. Burzay calmly replies he's keeping him alive. Killing him now would be a total waste. He then turns to the trembling necromancer. "It's time to work," Burzay says. Burzay orders him to prepare for the heroes. The necromancer is utterly bewildered, obviously. Meanwhile, another group of heroes is tracking a trail of dark mana through the jungle. The twin heroes, Beam and Bong, just laugh. They say tracking the necromancer is easy, like he's begging to be caught. They and their employers soon arrive at the mouth of the necromancer's cave. A girl declares they need to subdue their target before anyone else even notices. Their leader is revealed to be the 11th princess of the Gispain Empire, Sierra Gispain. Inside, they find the necromancer chilling on his throne. Sierra warns her men to be careful. He's a high-tier monster, she says, but the twins just laugh it off. They boast that for heroes about to become 10 stars, this is easier than taking candy from a baby. Suddenly, all three of them are instantly frozen solid. Massive blocks of ice just appear around them. Welp, winter arrived a little early. Necromancer gloats, marveling at the power buffed by the Demon King's mana. He claims he's now stronger than a Calamity rank monster. Burzay appears beside him, telling him not to overdo it. "Move the frozen heroes to the freezer immediately," he orders. In an icy cavern, undead servants move the frozen blocks of heroes into place. Talk about cold storage. Burzay observes his work, confident. With the necromancer's sealing magic boosted by his mana, not even a 10-star hero will be a problem. By freezing all the princes and princesses, the war of succession won't end. And the 10 stars? They'll be stuck here indefinitely. But Hillen warns him, some heroes won't go down that easily, boss. Burzay already has a plan. He asks for the situation outside. Hillen replies, "It's not good." He reports that the 10th star, Wharton Kolo, has already been taken down by Pallav Disrod. That leaves only 6 stars left, folks. Burzay is shocked. It hasn't even been half a day, and the numbers are already dwindling this fast. He worries if the King of Hilderan changes his mind. If only 7 or 8 stars gather, they might launch the hero's journey anyway. Then it would all be over. Realizing he needs more time, Burzay makes a bold declaration. "I'll go deal with Pallav Disrod myself." Hillen is horrified. "You're going to face him personally?" he yells. Hillen desperately tries to talk Burzay out of it. He insists Pallav is a monster. Even his lord, strong as he is, can't win, he argues. He shouts that Pallav could have taken down the Demon King of Beasts by himself. A one-on-one fight is impossible to win, he warns. Change setting? We see the aftermath of Pallav's fight with Ralph Schmitz. The ultimate shield lies shattered on the ground. The battleground is a massive crater, showing the sheer force of that blow. Pallav, radiating pink energy, had challenged the Shield Master directly. He was totally eager to fight him. Ralph, legendary for turning even a broken door into the strongest shield, was challenged to show his power. But Pallav's strike was overwhelming. Even the legendary shield is giving up on him. A massive, green-tinged explosion rips through the landscape. As the smoke clears, the devastation is absolute, just utter chaos. Ralph stands amidst the rubble, hands up. He immediately surrenders, much to Pallav's shock. He tells the second prince, his employer, that this is as far as he goes. He hopes the prince can handle the rest. Second prince, Flown Gispain, can only stare in disbelief. What a mess. Pallav tries to encourage him, saying he can just switch shields. But Ralph explains his power isn't the shield itself, it's granting abilities to shields. He admits no shield in the world can stop Pallav. He's just too strong, period. With that, 2 10 stars are disqualified, leaving only 5. Burzay watches as one of the heroes start leaving the decimated battlefield. He thinks to himself, so that's Pallav Disrod. Exactly what Hillen warned me about. He's in disbelief. Pallav shattered Ralph's shield, something even Draxon couldn't do. This hero's strength is totally insane. Birze asks Hillen why, if such a strong hero exists, any demon kings are still alive. Hillen explains their towers are vital resources for humans. That's why there's a hero guild rule. No hero can slay a demon king without the guild's permission. Birze finds this rule incredibly arrogant. He asks who Palav really is. Hillen admits nobody knows, which is pretty sus if you ask me. First record of him. He appeared out of nowhere with just a sword. Then he soloed a calamity rank monster. Where he was born, how he grew up, how he got his power. It's all a complete mystery. Hillen's advise, just leave him alone. Back outside, the man himself appears right in front of them. Birze addresses Palav by name, asking, who is your employer? Before he can answer, Razel Charnt also appears. She identifies Birze as Pale, an ally of Hillen. Birze realizes their true employer must be a prince or princess. He accuses the Hero Guild of plotting to control the Empire with a puppet. What a scandal. He grins menacingly. Does the guild really think the Empire and other kingdoms would let them get away with this if the scandal was exposed? Razel realizes he isn't acting on guild orders. She demands to know what he wants. He gives them a simple ultimatum. Stop interfering and go back, or he'll blast this scandal across the entire continent. Lav tells Roselle they've been played hard. Furious, she vows to find that Hillen Cargill. Birze reflects on his new approach. He's no longer solving everything just with raw power. Instead, he'll use the very order the humans built to tear them down. Oh, the irony. Birze's true goal? To completely tie the hero's hands. This guy is a master strategist. Someone says, that won't be a problem for me. The standoff is quickly interrupted by a new player. Second Prince Floan Gispain appears, smugly declaring he's the one who hired these powerful heroes. Talk about showing up late to the party. Birze is surprised for a split second. Floan should have been disqualified, right? He quickly plays it cool, claiming he totally knew the prince would show up. Everything was done under your orders, Second Prince. Roselle pipes up. Palav's had enough of these political games. Cracking his knuckles, he declares it's time to settle things with a real fight. He lunges forward, shouting, Phoenix, as he prepares to throw a devastating punch. Birdsey sighs, seemingly resigned to the fact that it's finally come to this. But it's just an act, y'all. He summons his own fiery power, ready to challenge the so-called greatest hero head-on. Palav, hyped as ever, yells, let's settle this, Phoenix. He's ready to rumble. Birze, cool as a cucumber, just shrugs. Guess it's finally happening, he says, totally unfazed. Conjures a massive orb of Phoenix fire. Time to show this greatest hero who's boss. Palav suddenly flashes back to the day he first saw the Phoenix erupt in pure flame. He was stuck on a cliff, wishing he could have been there. Gotta love those sponsors' orders, right? Bro has been absolutely dying for a real fight. He's so excited he's literally weeping tears of joy. Staring down Birze's insane power, Palav is practically vibrating with pure, unadulterated hype. He begs for Birze to go all out. Give me everything you've got, Phoenix. I don't want to die of boredom. Birze, meanwhile, can't recall this Palav Disra dude from his previous life. Back then, he was blinded by arrogance, believing strength was the only thing that mattered. He looked down on heroes. But this time, this life is different. He's ready to face Palav with absolutely everything he's got. Birze unleashes a truly massive sphere of scorching fire, but Palav just stands there. He feels the heat, realizing it's not an attack, no debuff, just warm, calming flames. What? With a ridiculously wide grin, he gladly accepts. The sphere of fire then engulfs the entire area in a blinding, explosive inferno. Birze reveals he's trapped them both in a pocket dimension. Only we can be here, he declares. Talk about privacy. Birze, the stakes are crystal clear. Lose and he'll be killed by heroes all over again. He tells Palav he's free to leave whenever, all while a monstrous golden phoenix manifests behind him. Subtle. He vows he won't be killed before he conquers the entire world. Big goals, my friend. Palav, of course, finds this anything but cold. He's completely fired up, yelling he won't let Birze go until he's satisfied. With a final, explosive, let's play, they clash. The world explodes in light and shadow. Miles away, the shockwave from their epic clash rattles the Necromancer's cave. Men panic, but their leader, Evan Gispain, the 12th prince and a real gem, barks at them to shut up. He screams this is their one chance. Fail to catch their target and they're dead anyway. Yikes. But it's too late. The Necromancer's magic washes over them, instantly freezing the entire party solid. Ice, ice baby. Elsewhere, Helen and the Necromancer observe their handiwork. That's 4 frozen royals, easy pickings thanks to the tremors. Still, no 10-star hero has been caught. Helen wonders if their ice magic is even strong enough for one of those guys. He heads off to bring snacks to the captive Prince Noah, guarded by 2 expressive zombies. But when he opens the door, the prince is just gone. Prince Noah managed to slip out during the earthquake thanks to a handy magical invisibility cloak. Sneaky. Helen totally loses it, yelling at the Necromancer for letting Noah escape. But the Necromancer just shrugs. I was busy casting spells, dude. Panicking, Hillen tries to contact the Demon King. No answer. Yeah, it turns out Burzy is a little preoccupied at the moment, like in the middle of a life or death battle. No biggie. Hillen realizes he can't wait. He orders the necromancer to keep freezing intruders while he hunts down the prince himself. He has to find the 17th prince before Noah spills all their secrets. Shortly after Hillen zooms out, a shimmering, transparent figure in white approaches the cave entrance. One of the zombies finally gets the necromancer's attention. It saw something transparent leave the cave. Why are you only telling me this now? The necromancer freaks out. It's been trying to tell him this the entire time. Classic. The necromancer just shrugs it off. Doesn't matter much, he says. He is the king of the undead after all. He never actually swallowed that magic orb. No need for excessive loyalty to some demon king. So he grabs his pack, tells his undead squad it's time to bounce. Peace out. But as they're leaving, a pair of fancy shoes steps into their path. Uh-oh. The necromancer sighs. Another hero? He groans. What an unlucky guy. As a parting gift, the necromancer unleashes his ultimate move, Ice Age. Take that. New guy, however, calmly puts his hands together, easily nullifying the entire spell. The necromancer is absolutely floored. His magic is being nullified? Who is this guy? A sinister grin spreads across the face of the newcomer. Miles away, Burz's fiery battle still lights up the horizon with massive explosions. First Prince Rufus watches the distant battle from his throne. His retainer, Nea, identifies the combatants as Pale and Palav Disrod. Rufus scoffs, calling out the Hero Guild's arrogance. He explains the royal rumble. Jaspain Empire princes and princesses must hire their own help. It's all about wealth and connections. It's a brutal competition that started the moment they popped out. Talk about a tough childhood. Despite his birthright advantage, Rufus says the best he could snag was a 3-star hero like Naya. So how could anyone hire the number 1 and 2 ranked heroes at once? He concludes it's impossible without the Hero Guild's shady interference. The other royal siblings are also catching on. 5th Prince Nicola suspects the guild was bribed to manipulate the war. 6th Prince Grey plans to capture the necromancer. Then he'll expose the guild to the emperor. 7th Princess Marilla thinks this achievement could give them a huge edge over the others. Always thinking ahead. Meanwhile, 4th Princess Tioran and her hero Gillian just want to go smash the necromancer. Simple goals. But Rufus just scoffs at his moronic siblings and their tiny little brains. Charming. His plan is way simpler. Find who hired Balaf and Rosal. Then, kill them first. Efficient, if a bit morbid. Then, he'll be the one to use those 2 ridiculously powerful heroes for himself. He wonders who could have hired them. Naya suggests they're hiding with someone seriously good at staying out of sight. At that exact moment, a branch snags Noah's invisibility cloak. The terrified young prince is revealed. Talk about bad timing. He stumbled right into the path of Rufus's royal procession. Oops. Without a moment's hesitation, Rufus gives a simple, chilling order. Kill him. Noah panics, trying to explain that now is not the time for family squabbles. Rufus sees it as a pathetic attempt to buy time. He coldly repeats his order. Kill him. Noah is filled with despair. Of all the people, it had to be his cruelest, most ruthless older brother. What a nightmare. Suddenly, a streak of brilliant blue lightning flashes through the forest. Hillen determined that the Demon King can't die. Not until he becomes the greatest hero anyway. He has to find the 17th prince first. But his path is suddenly blocked by a massive, blazing wall of magic. Rude. Rosal Charnt stands there, arms crossed. She demands to know what Hillen thinks he's doing. She accuses him of defying the Hero Guild. A frantic Hillen tries to explain it's not what it looks like. He brushes off her questions, claiming he has no time to argue. He tries to leave, but Rosal is not having it. She effortlessly binds him in a weakened sage's chain, stopping him cold. She's had enough of his games. She reminds him that he always snatches all the glory, whether it's the Demon Queen of Lust or the Beast King. She stares him down, demanding he reveal what he's hiding. Now, trapped and sweating, Hillen can only grit his teeth. He has to find a way to find the prince. Meanwhile, in a dark chamber, someone observes all the chaos in his scrying orb. Everything is proceeding according to plan, he says. There's a new dude on the throne, and it's certainly not the necromancer. He smiles evilly at the orb. Shall we move on to the next round, Lord Berzedeus? Oh, snap. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.